On day 1, I spawned in as Iron Man. And look, I'm not a baby. I'm all powered up. I flew around firing lasers. This was really cool. These zombies have met their match. Time to say goodbye. I blasted the zombies out of the way. They were no match for the might of Iron Man. Once they were all destroyed, I was floating over the forest, scanning the area. Suddenly, something hit me out of nowhere. What was that? I didn't see who it was, but I heard a voice.
Say goodbye to your power.
I had hit the ground, but managed to survive. But look, now I only have 5 hearts. I had to hurry and leave the area though. Whoever that was could come back. Later, as I was escaping through the forest, a group of zombies came running up to me. I know how to handle these guys, but that was when I had my suit and powers. I didn't stand a chance now. I had no choice but to run away. I can't believe someone caught me off guard. They better watch out, because I'll stop at nothing to get my power back. But that was another day, so I settled in for the night. On day 2, I woke up all alone, still feeling weak without my powers. I had to figure out who was out to get me. I've got quite the mission ahead of me. I'm going to be building and making all kinds of really cool things. But before I can do that, I need to start with the basics. I went outside and got right to work planting trees. With the wood I had collected, I then made a crafting table. Using the crafting table and my leftover wood, I made myself some wooden tools, including a sword. Time to find some lunch. I went outside and soon came across a rabbit. That's going to have to do for now. I chased it down and got its meat. I might be trapped in the wilderness with no powers, but that doesn't mean I have to eat raw meat. As I took a look around, I soon came across a village. In the middle of the village was a campfire. Let's get cooking. I laid down my rabbit meat and let it sizzle. Soon, I had some cooked meat. I took a bite and was feeling much better. Suddenly, I realized what kind of village it was. It was a pillager village. Uh-oh, time to run. Pillagers chased me, but I managed to get away without losing my life. Later that evening, I took the simple supplies I had collected to start making myself a house to stay in. If those pillagers found me, at least I would have some walls to protect me. Soon, the hut was complete, and I settled in for the night. On day 3, I awoke to a knock on the door. Who could that be? I opened the door and saw it was Captain America. Or well, I guess it was just Steve Rogers. He wasn't looking so good. Steve, what's wrong? You're not looking like your normal fit self.
I was worried something had happened to you. I see now I was right. Your friend Ironmonger is to blame for this. I was minding my own business when he suddenly came out of nowhere. I don't know how he did it, but he managed to take away all of my powers. We might not be strong enough to help him right now, but we need to hurry and warn the others he's coming for him.
That's a good point. Let's stick together while we figure this out. Steve agreed, and so we figured it would be good to start building a proper base. We did some scouting around and soon found a nice cliffside that would work perfect. I didn't have my powers, but I could still get shipments of stuff sent to me. After a bit, an express delivery with all the supplies we'd need showed up, and we got to work. Building a house on a cliff like this reminded me of my mansion in Malibu. It wasn't going to be quite like that, but I was hoping to eventually make something just as impressive. Soon, the beginning of our base was complete. Thanks for your help, Pete. We'll let you know if anything else comes up. On days 4 to 5, Steve came over to talk. He wanted to know if I knew where any other superheroes were. Sorry, buddy, I don't. I really wish I did, though.
Well, you're a pretty smart guy, right? Is there something you could invent?
I thought it was a good question, but nothing came to mind. I stared at my empty crafting table when suddenly I had an idea. Oh wait, maybe that could work. I headed out to the caves to gather the materials I would need. If I could just get everything I would need, this special item would be the perfect solution to our problem. By the time I had made it into the deepest part of the cave, I had already managed to make myself some iron gear. It was about to come in handy as I was suddenly attacked by a bunch of magma cubes. Alright, boxheads, you're just what I was looking for. I swung my sword and managed to take a few of them out. As they disappeared, they dropped some charged coal. Once the threat was taken care of, I also found some nearby palladium, which I happily mined up. Alright, that's everything I'm going to need. Let's make this special item. I soon arrived back at the house and got right to it, smelting down the palladium into ingots. I also needed a compass, which Steve gave to me. At long last, the final pieces were starting to come together. I went to the crafting table and used the palladium, charged coal, and compass to make my special item, a superhero radar. Sure hope this works. Steve and I headed into another room, and I set the radar down in the center. I placed a lever on the wall and flipped it. The radar started to make a sound, and a purple line came out of it. That line is pointing us to a nearby superhero. Now we can help them. On day 6 to 8, I checked the radar again to get a clear direction of where to go. I told Steve to hang back at the base and keep an eye on the radar, just in case anyone else popped up on it. Let's go see who it's gonna be. I left the base and ran off in the direction the radar had indicated. Hopefully I could get to them in time. After a bit of traveling, I soon reached a village, but it looked like the place was abandoned. Hello? Is there anyone here?
Thought it was you stomping around.
Black Widow had come out of nowhere. Natasha, I can't believe I found you. There's no time to explain, but I need you to come with me.
Listen, I don't trust anyone that much, even you. You're gonna have to give me some kind of explanation.
Okay, Steve is back at my base, and you see neither of us have our powers anymore. So we've got to hurry to get out of here, or the same will happen to you.
Don't have your powers? Who or what did that to you?
Ironmonger! It was an answer to her question, but also an exclamation. He had popped up out of nowhere. Black Widow had sprung into action, trying to fight him off. I was still too weak though, and had to run away. Hang in there, Natasha. They continued to fight, but it was no use. Ironmonger was too quick, and managed to hit her with a special gun. He had taken away all of her special abilities.
I don't know what you two are up to, but knock it off. Go live normal lives like the ordinary people you are.
Before he could do us any more harm, we ran away. I couldn't believe he was able to do it again. On days 9 to 10, Black Widow and I arrived back at the base. We met up with Steve.
Natasha, it's good to see you. Wait, did something happen?
It was Ironmonger. I had gotten there in time, but he showed up and was able to steal her power.
Oh no, did you see where he went?
No, we had to get out of there. I hate this feeling. I've never felt so useless.
It's okay. Keep your head on straight.
I need some time to clear my head. I decided to get to work, building Natasha her own place to stay at the base. It was good to have a project to keep my mind busy. I couldn't believe I was beaten by my own friend. Soon, Natasha's room was complete. On days 11 to 12, I went to check the machine and saw there was a new signal, but this time it was different.
What is it? What does it mean?
Not 100% sure. It's a new invention that even I don't understand completely.
Well, if it's pointing to a friendly, it's worth a shot trying to save him.
Yeah, I'm not so sure, Cap. What good are we as rescuers if we can't really rescue someone? Ironmonger is just going to show up again.
You don't know that. And come on, you know there's more to this than just being the strongest.
That's certainly something coming from you. I'll see what I can find. I left the base and headed in the direction the radar was pointing. As I looked around, I felt like I wasn't seeing anything. That's when I realized I was back at the place I had crashed on day 1. Suddenly, I noticed something nearby on the ground. I picked it up. Jarvis, is that you? What are you doing out here, buddy?
Hello, sir. I'm delighted to see you have found me.
So am I. How are you?
I am here, but I am damaged. I am sorry for the loss you have suffered.
So am I, buddy. But hey, do you think you can help? You've got all that information from my suit stored in your memory, don't you?
I do, or rather I believe I do. My memory banks have been damaged, but it seems plausible they can be recovered. We will need to find the correct materials in order to recover it.
Sure, we can do that. I built a suit once, I can surely do it again. What's on that materials list of yours? Jarvis gave me the list of what I needed, and I headed off, right away. On days 13 to 15, I arrived at some caves, and headed on in to gather up the materials Jarvis had mentioned. First, I gathered up a bunch of iron, which was one of the main things I would need. Then I found some titanium, which was also going to come in handy. Alright, that should be everything I need from here. I then left the cave and found myself in a herd of cows. I took some of the cows out in order to get some leather. That was all the ingredients I was going to need. Time to get back to the base. On days 16 to 19, I made it back to the base and went into my garage. It was crafting time. I put the iron in the furnace and started smelting iron ingots. Then it was titanium's turn, which started smelting into titanium ingots. While the ores were smelting, I then opened a nearby chest and grabbed some glass I had. Then at the crafting table, I added the glass to some iron and palladium to make myself a new arc reactor. At last, power! With my new palladium arc reactor, I could start to put together a new suit. I grabbed the ingots I needed out of the furnace, then used iron, titanium, leather, and the arc reactor to make myself a chest plate. Oh yeah, here we go. With the chest plate finished, I then used the rest of my materials and made the leggings, boots, and of course, the helmet. This isn't the best suit I've ever made. In fact, it's just as good as the first one I built in a cave in the desert, but it'll be better than having nothing.
Hey, what have we got here?
Steve and Natasha had walked into the garage.
You built a new suit. It's gonna be so good for you. How did you pull it off?
It was with the help of Jarvis. I found him at the crash site. His memory is damaged, but he remembered enough to help me build the suit.
Think that's a good idea?
Do you think it's not?
No, it's great. It's just that you said Jarvis was damaged. I'd hate to see something go wrong.
I assured him that Jarvis was working well enough to help me make the suits again without putting any of us in danger. That seemed like an excuse though. Steve was probably just jealous I was getting my powers back and he wasn't. Before I could say anything else though, Natasha mentioned that she and Steve had gotten more food and stored it in the kitchen. All that crafting had made me hungry. I went over there to cook up some steak. This is going to be much better than wild rabbit, that's for sure. When the steak was ready, I scarfed it down. Delicious! I then went and started to make some more upgrades to the base. I was a man of luxury, so I decided the house needed a swimming pool. I picked a good spot and got the thing installed. All this building has given me an idea for one more big project. I headed out and got to work building a statue. These were dark times, and there was always one thing that could be a light in the darkness. Let me know what you think I'm building. Soon, the first part was complete. On days 20 to 22, I heard a notification go off on the radar, telling me another superhero had been found. I went and told Steve and Natasha the good news. They both wanted to come with to find who it was, but I told them it might be good for just me to go, given that I was the only one who had regained any of my power. As I put my suit on, I saw my health increase to 8 hearts. I was also stronger and had a flamethrower attack. It was time to help our fellow superhero. As I got closer to the place the radar was pointing me to, I saw a large tower in the middle of the forest. I knew just who I would find inside. As I reached the top, I could see Dr. Strange was there. Steven, be on your guard. Ironmonger is running around stealing everyone's power.
What?
He immediately got ready to fight. It was just in time too, as Ironmonger came flying over, firing down on us.
Huh, the good doctor. I think you've got just what I'm looking for.
Dr. Strange was ready though, and he started to put up a good fight. Ironmonger was going to have a much harder fight this time. I may have spoke too soon though, as Ironmonger managed to land a hard hit, knocking out Dr. Strange. Ironmonger lifted his weapon and started draining Dr. Strange's power. I had to do something. Oh no you don't. Even though I wasn't super strong, I charged in and managed to stop Ironmonger from taking all the power. Problem was, he was now focused on me. Dr. Strange was back in the fight though, and together we put up a good fight. In the end, we managed to hurt Ironmonger enough that he backed down.
down.
This isn't the last you've seen of me.
He flew off. Steven, are you okay?
I still have some of my powers, but I'm definitely weaker than before. I need to go rest.
Dr. Strange opened a portal and walked through it. Well, that was a quick exit, but at least we could stop him from losing everything. I better get back to the base and see who else we can help. On days 23 to 26, I was on my way back to the base when Jarvis piped up with some helpful information.
Sir, my sensors are indicating a lot of silver nearby. I think that could help.
Jarvis then told me what direction to go, and I headed there right away. As I arrived at the location he was sending me to, I didn't see anything. Are you sure this is the right place? There doesn't seem to be anything here.
The silver may be beneath something, but I'm 99% sure it is here.
Well, guess I better start breaking blocks. I started breaking things as I looked around and soon saw an entrance to a dungeon. What is this all about? As I went deeper into the dungeon, I ran into a bunch of piglins. You piggies better watch out. That's when I noticed that they had all kinds of materials stored down here. Hope you guys don't mind if I use some of this stuff. As I fought my way through the gang of piglins, I noticed that they dropped silver ingots.
There, sir. The silver I was detecting.
I happily picked the silver up and continued to fight the piglins. There were hoglins around as well, and they were a tough challenge. But I was up for the fight and soon made it to the dungeon's boss, a piglin brute with armor. You look strong, but I'm stronger. It turned out I was right. The piglin brute was really strong after all. He knocked me back, but I stayed in the fight. He wasn't going to get the better of me. After a long fight, I finally took him out. He didn't drop anything. But look, a chest. I went over to the chest, which was filled with silver. This should be more than enough. I hurried back out of the cave. On days 27 to 31, I arrived back at my base. I met back up with the team to tell them the good news. Guys, I was able to find Dr. Strange, and together we were able to fight off Ironmonger. Dr. Strange was weakened, but he was able to keep his powers. Everyone was really excited to hear the good news and couldn't believe Ironmonger had shown up again. Everyone, that is, except Steve.
He kept his powers, huh? Well, good for him, I guess.
I didn't know why Steve wasn't excited like everyone else. He really must be jealous someone else got to keep their powers. I left the room and went to work on a new set of armor. With all the new silver I'd collected, I was going to be able to build an even better suit. I took my time making each set, and soon I had a full set of Iron Man Mark II armor. Oh yeah, now this is what I'm talking about. With my new suit on, I noticed I had more health than before. I still couldn't fly yet, but I could jump a little higher and felt stronger too. I showed it off to the gang, and everyone was really impressed. If I kept finding more materials, I would be back to full strength in no time. I had to find more materials. On days 32 to 35, I decided to see what else Jarvis could find for me. I'm thinking of adding some more weapons to the suit. What do you think it can handle?
Scans show it is not strong enough to handle your repulsor cannon, but there is something else that might work. We'll have to travel far away, but I believe it will be worth it.
Show me the way. Jarvis explained the way to go, and eventually we made it to an entirely new biome. All right, Jarvis, what direction?
Down, sir.
It looked like it was time to dig. I think I knew what he had in mind. I kept digging and digging and soon made it into a magma chamber. Let me guess, we need some lava.
No, sir. We're searching for a very specific mob. It should be here.
I started to explore. Could you tell me what I'm looking for? Just then, I almost ran into a monster. It was a mutant blaze. Yikes, thanks for the warning.
Sorry, sir, but my sensors aren't quite as sharp down here.
The mutant blaze's fire attacks were strong, but my new armor was doing its job. I was taking much less damage than I normally would have. I'm gonna put you out, Firehead. I kept on swinging, and at long last, defeated the blaze. As he disappeared, I saw he had dropped a blaze core.
The blaze core. That is just what we need, sir.
On days 36 to 39, I made it out of the hole and headed back towards the base. As I arrived back at the base, I went to the crafting area and got right to work on the new suit attachment. Using the blaze core, I was able to make myself a flamethrower. Oh yeah, I'm starting to heat up now. I called the others over and showed them my new toy.
Whoa, that new flamethrower is so hot right now.
Natasha was really excited about it, but Steve less so. No surprise there, he was just jealous. On days 40 to 43, I heard the power detector going off again. It must have found another superhero. Maybe with my new gear, I can even defeat Ironmonger this time. I let the others know that I would head out by myself again. Until they could get their powers, it just didn't make sense to put them in harm's way. I would handle everything. I set off in search of the superhero, and soon found myself in a thick forest. Hello, is there anyone around here? I kept shouting and looking around, but couldn't find anyone. All I saw were a bunch of bats flying around. Suddenly, they attacked me. What the? Get away from me! Using my new attacks, I managed to fight off the bats, but then I was attacked by some wolves. This forest is crazy! What's going on around here? The wolves snapped their teeth and swung their claws, but I was able to keep them away and knock them out. I still don't see anyone, but it's starting to get late. I better build a shelter for the night. I soon found a nice clearing and got right to work building a shelter. After a bit, my camp was set up. Time to get some sleep. I'll keep looking in the morning. On days 44 to 49, I woke up in the middle of the night to a rumbling sound. What was that? I ran outside and saw there was a huge castle that had appeared out of nowhere. Well, nothing else to do but take a look. I ran into the castle and was suddenly attacked by a whole bunch of spooky mobs. There were bats and all kinds of skeleton creatures. I had to fight for my life. Back off, you undead creatures. You'll never take me alive. I kept fighting my way through the castle until finally I saw something different than the mobs. It was Blade. Blade, what are you doing here?
What are you doing here? I've tracked a vampire to this castle and I'm so close to finally beating him.
I've come to warn you. Ironmonger is going around stealing power from superheroes. You've got to get out of here.
Thanks for the warning, but I've come too far to quit. I don't see Ironmonger anywhere, so I think I have time to finish my mission.
Well, let me help. Together we can get it done even faster. We soon noticed a coffin and walked up to it to take a look. We opened it, but it was a trap.
Oh no, what is this? I can't move.
Me either. Jarvis, clear this gas out of my suit. Jarvis got right to work, but he wasn't quick enough. Ironmonger had shown up.
Huh, stay still. This won't hurt at all.
Ironmonger used a special item and was able to take away Blade's powers. Jarvis had just cleared the gas from my suit though, and I was ready to fight.
I thought I told you to keep out of this.
Ironmonger didn't stick around to fight me, but instead released the vampire before flying away. Without his powers, Blade was in for a real fight. Come on, Blade, I'll help you. Blade and I got to work swinging at the vampire. Even without his powers, Blade was a good fighter, getting lots of hits in. He wasn't good enough though, and the vampire was able to really hurt him. You'll pay for that! I started attacking him even more than before and could tell I was starting to win. When he was at his weakest, Blade jumped forward and knocked him out with a stake for good.
Thanks for your help. I couldn't have done this without you. Here, take this stake. You never know when it could come in handy.
Thanks, I'll be sure to keep it close. I'm sorry about your powers. How about you come back to my base with me and we can figure this out?
That sounds like just what I need right now.
On days 50 to 53, Blade and I returned to the base. Then we met up with Natasha and told her what had happened.
I'm sorry to hear it didn't work out this time. It sounds like he's getting smarter.
I'm sorry too. But hey, where's Steve?
Oh, he said he had some errands to run and left. He didn't tell me what those errands were.
That's odd. Just then, Steve came back to the base.
Sorry about that. I was just collecting some more materials to upgrade the base. I thought you could use some new materials for our new guest.
That was a fair point. He was right too. Blade needed a place to stay. Using some of the materials Steve had gathered, I was able to put together a room for Blade. Steve had also mentioned wanting a training room, so I got to work on that. Just because they had lost their powers didn't mean they couldn't stay in shape. Soon, everything was complete. On days 54 to 57, I couldn't shake the feeling that something wasn't right. I decided I needed to talk to Natasha in private. Hey, I wanted to ask, has Steve been acting strange to you?
Now that you mention it, he has. I haven't seen him do anything strange specifically, but he doesn't seem like he's been his normal self. I usually try and let people just do their own thing.
You see, the thing is, Ironmonger always seems to show up right around the same time I do. I'm not saying Steve is somehow tipping him off, but I want to be sure he's not involved.
Say no more. The next time you guys go, I'll keep an eye on him. That would be strange, but we'll feel better if we can rule it out.
Thanks, Nat. I appreciate it. I then reached out to Jarvis to help with the next stage of rigging up the superpower detector. If Steve was really tricking us, I needed to get the super detector to trick him. Jarvis said he knew what I needed to get, but there were some special items I needed to collect first. Let's get exploring. On days 58 to 62, Jarvis led me to a cave that was filled with spiders. I was pretty strong at this point, and these spiders were no match for me. I easily knocked them out of the way. Aha! There's the gold ore you wanted me to get. I quickly mined up all the gold I needed, then hurried back to the base. There, I crafted some special wiring out of gold and took it to the superpower detector. After I attached the new wiring, the detector started to go off. Everyone came running into the room. The detector found another super. Hang tight, guys. I'll go get them and help them out. Everyone agreed, and as I went to leave, I gave Natasha a nod to let her know the plan was on. She nodded back. I soon reached a mountaintop where the detector was pointing me to. Of course, no one was here, but I needed to put on a good show. Oh, hey, Thor. I can't believe you're here. Just then, Ironmonger popped out.
Aha! Huh?
I was ready for him and gave him a good hit.
What the? There's no Thor here. I can't believe I've been betrayed and tricked like this.
What do you mean betrayed? How did you know I would be here?
I've said too much.
Ironmonger flew away. Something was definitely going on. I hurried back to the base. As I arrived, I could see Natasha was waiting for me.
You're not gonna believe this.
What happened?
After you left, I followed Steve just like you asked. Once he had gotten far enough away from the base, I saw him pull out a communication device. I got close enough to hear who he was talking to. It was Ironmonger.
You're right. I can't believe this. We've got to confront him right away. On days 63 to 66, I headed into the base to find Steve. I soon found him.
Hey, you weren't gone for very long. Did you find anyone?
There was no one there, but you probably already knew that.
What do you mean? How could I have known that?
Because you've been in contact with your friend, Ironmonger. Give it up, Steve. We know.
You don't know anything.
Just then, Steve started to transform. Suddenly, Steve was gone, and Mandarin was standing there. Mandarin! So it's been you all along. I should have known it was someone evil trying to trick us.
Well, you just aren't very smart, are you? You've been leading us to superheroes this entire time.
What do you want with us?
I've been absorbing all of the powers. Soon, you'll be unable to stop me. I was hoping I could wait for you to build another super suit so I could steal its powers too, but no matter. You'd never stop me.
I leapt forward to attack him, but he was right. He was really strong. He knocked me out of the way and was able to escape. He wasn't fully powered up yet, but if he was this strong already, we were going to be in real trouble. On day 67 to 70, I went to talk to Natasha and Blade. I couldn't believe I had been tricked. I apologized to them for leading Mandarin right to them.
Don't worry about it. You were trying your best. Now that we know who we're really up against, we have a better chance of stopping him.
Thanks, Nat. I appreciate the support. And speaking of support, I appreciate all of you watching too. After this video, search for more Zozo. Z-O-Z-O.
Sir, I'm sorry to interrupt, but I've managed to repair my memory banks and unlocked a new design for another part of the suit.
Oh, that's great news. What do we need to build it?
It looks like we'll be needing some diamonds, but I'm not detecting any on my scanner.
You need diamonds? I haven't seen any underground, but while I was tracking the vampire, I stayed in a village full of them. I'll tell you where to go.
Blade explained where the village was, and I set off to find it. I soon arrived and saw that Blade wasn't lying. There were diamonds everywhere here. The villagers had all kinds of diamond tools and armor. Hey there, nice armor. Do you guys have any extra diamonds you could spare?
I might have some, but I can't just give you them for free.
That's understandable. How much do they cost?
You know, we've had quite a bit of a problem here, and if you can solve that problem, I'll give you everything we can spare.
Sounds like it must be a pretty big problem then.
Yeah, there's a monster that has started living in our diamond mine, and we haven't been able to go in there for weeks. Take care of that monster for us, and we'll give you our spare diamonds.
Okay, I'll do it. Tell me where to go. On day 71 to 74, I arrived at the diamond mine, but the place looked abandoned. I guess the monster really cleared this place out. Better see what I can find. I went into the cave but didn't see any diamonds. I didn't see anything for that matter. The place was super dark. As I went deeper into the mine, I placed torches to help me see. The mine kept going deeper and deeper. I was starting to wonder if it would ever end. At long last, I reached what seemed to be the final room. There's nothing here. Maybe the monster left or something. Just then, I noticed that the torches I had placed along the wall were starting to go out. One by one, they broke, getting closer and closer to me. Suddenly, the vampire from before appeared. What? I thought we defeated you. The vampire smirked and then attacked. He was even stronger than before, and this time he had some tricks up his sleeve too. He burst into a ball of smoke, summoning a group of bats. What in the world? This is crazy! The vampire had disappeared. I had to defeat these bats. I ran around trying to cut down as many as I could. Suddenly, I felt a hit. The vampire had reappeared. Get out of here, Dracula! I still couldn't believe this guy was still around, but I guess it's true. Vampires can never really be defeated. That's when I remembered. The stake! The vampire was getting weak now, and it was time to finish him off. I grabbed my stake and hit him, finishing him off. He would be back eventually, but at least I could get my diamonds in the meantime. I hurried back into the village and met up with the villager. It's done! The monster is gone! Now let's see about those diamonds.
Amazing, you saved us. Here, you can have everything we have to spare.
The villager tossed out a single diamond. I gave him a look. I thought you said you were going to give me all the diamonds you have to spare.
I did. We only have one diamond to spare.
Jarvis piped up.
That should be all we need, sir.
Thanks. Well, here, you guys might need this. I tossed him the stake and headed off, back to the base. On day 75 to 78, I arrived back at the base. It was time to make what Jarvis had remembered. As I went to the crafting table, Jarvis told me what I needed to do to craft a new repulsor. It wasn't my full suit, but at least it was a stronger weapon than before. Just then, Natasha came into the room.
You've got your repulsor up and running? That's great.
Yeah, problem is, I don't know where to go to find Ironmonger or Mandarin.
Yeah, I was thinking about that. When I heard Steve, or I guess Mandarin, talking to Ironmonger, I thought I could hear some machines in the background.
Blade came into the room.
Machines? There's a factory not too far from here. Maybe he's hiding out in there.
It's worth a shot. I'm not sure where else to look. They all agreed, and I decided that before I would leave, I would go ahead and finish the statue. It took a lot of hard work to get it done, but I soon had it all finished in no time. So what do you guys think? Did you guess what it was correctly? On days 79 to 84, I soon arrived at the factory Blade had told me about. I'm not sure if this is right, but we'll find out. As I got closer, I was suddenly attacked by a group of zombies. If there were zombies around here, there was a good chance Ironmonger or Mandarin were around too. I managed to fight through the wave, but avoided using my repulsor. In case Ironmonger was watching, I didn't want him to know I had it. Soon, all of the zombies were defeated. On days 85 to 89, I entered into the base. That's when I saw Ironmonger standing amongst a bunch of zombies trapped in cases of liquid. What are you doing?
I knew you would show up here eventually. I'm doing what needs to be done. You superheroes think you can just do whatever you want. Zombies can be controlled, so I'm taking your powers and giving them to them. Then I will control all the powers on Earth.
Oh, I see. You don't want to stop superpowers. You just want to be in charge of them yourself. I won't let you get away with this.
Huh. You've been trying to stop me this entire time and have never beat me. Today, I will finish you for good.
We'll see about that. Ironmonger flew up in the air as a door opened, letting zombies into the room. There were a ton of them. Uh-oh, I better take care of these first. I ran around the room trying to take out as many zombies as I could. This was a tough fight with so many things going on at once. I had to defeat Ironmonger though. My friends were going to need all of their powers back. Where is Mandarin hiding?
You'll never find him, because you'll never leave here.
Ironmonger and I were now fighting each other directly, and it was getting intense. He hadn't expected all of my upgrades though, and I was really hurting him.
How did you get so strong? I thought I took everything away from you.
A suit isn't a brain, and that's what's going to defeat you. I fired my repulsor at him and took him out for good. As he disappeared, I saw he had dropped some unique parts, which I picked up.
Sir, we can use these materials to remake your strongest suit.
Yes, now we just need to find Mandarin and get everyone's powers back. Let's do this. On days 90 to 94, I made it back to the base. I ran right over to Natasha and Blade to tell them the good news. I was able to defeat Ironmonger. The bad news is that he was trying to inject zombies with your powers.
That's horrible. It's a good thing you beat him, though.
Speaking of, any way to get our powers back?
Before I left, I saw he had some kind of machine that must be storing your powers. If you guys go there, you may be able to get them back.
Right on. Thanks for all of your help.
You've got it. Now I've got to get to work returning to my final form. I rushed over to the garage as the others set off for the factory. Using the materials Ironmonger had dropped, I got to work building my final Mark III version of my armor. After a lot of hard work, my armor was restored. Yes, it's going to feel so good to fly again. I ran up the stairs of the house and over to a balcony. Here we go. I jumped off and nothing happened. I landed in the water below. Jarvis, what's going on?
Sorry, sir, but while your suit has been restored, the flying capabilities still need some repairs.
Don't you think you could have told me that before I jumped off the cliff?
My apologies, sir.
It's okay, no harm done. Now where do we need to go? On days 95 to 97, Jarvis instructed me that we would be heading to the Nether, so I got to work building a Nether portal. I hadn't been able to get a diamond pickaxe, so I had to get creative. By using lava and some water, I managed to fashion a Nether portal together. It took a bit to get it all done, but soon I had my own Nether portal ready to go. All right, Jarvis, show me the way. I stepped into the portal and soon found myself in the Nether. This place always gives me the creeps. Let's make this quick. There was some quartz nearby, so I quickly ran over to it and mined it up. Luckily, that was all I needed, so with my pockets full, I jumped back into the portal. Back in the garage, I got right to work, crafting the flight module. It didn't take too long, and soon, it was all complete. I walked back towards the cliff, jumped off, and it worked. Yahoo! I'm a flying man once again. I took some time flying around, feeling good that I was finally powered up. Just then, Jarvis delivered some interesting news.
Sir, the superhero detector at the base is going off. The signals are off the charts.
I hurried back to the base and went into the detector room. The machine was going crazy. This signal is way too strong for it to be Natasha and Blade getting their powers back. Mandarin must be up to something. It was time to take him down. On day 98, I headed off in the direction the detector was pointing. Not too much later, I saw a giant base rising out of the ground. This has to be Mandarin's base. Just then, I was attacked by a bunch of zombies. Oh no, he must be trying to do the same thing Ironmonger was. I've got to get to him, and quick. I was so strong that I knocked the zombies out of the way, no problem. But there was still a lot of them. I also couldn't help but notice some of them were stronger than others. I had to hurry and get to the top. Out of the way, zombros. I kept firing my repulsor cannon until at long last, all of the zombies were defeated. I ran over to the stairs and started heading up to the top. As I got close, I passed a sign in the distance. Oh, subscribe! You should do that right now. And once this adventure is over, go look up some more of my other ones. Just search Zozo, Z-O-Z-O, to find them. On day 99, I reached the top of the tower and saw Mandarin floating in the sky. Wait, how are you floating?
Impressive, isn't it? You're too late. I've absorbed your friend's powers, and now you'll never be able to defeat me.
No, I don't believe it. I'm going to knock their powers out of you.
Bring it on, rich boy.
Mandarin started firing energy blasts at me, causing some big explosions. I returned fire, launching attacks with my repulsor cannon. I had to be careful though. Getting caught in those explosions really hurt.
The time of the superheroes is over, and the time of the supervillain has begun.
I managed to get a hit in with my repulsor, which stopped his monologue. But suddenly, a bunch of yellow smoke appeared, and Mandarin was gone. Where did he go?
Looking for me?
Mandarin reappeared, launching more energy blasts. He could teleport now. This wasn't looking good. I had started to fly around, but this was tough. I was hanging in there, but I didn't know how long I could last.
What's wrong? Am I too strong? Let me make this easier for you and finish this.
There was another plume of yellow smoke, and Mandarin copied himself. I was getting attacked from all sides. Oh no, he's too strong. I was taking out some of his clones, but there was no way I could keep this up. I finally took out the clones, but took a heavy hit. One more hit, and
and it was all done for me. I removed my mask.
I'm going to enjoy this. You have been a thorn in my side for too long.
Suddenly, a portal opened, and all of my friends came running through, including Doctor Strange and Captain America.
Thought I ought to pay you back. This guy stole my face. That's America's face, not his.
We were able to get our powers back.
All thanks to you. Now let's return the favor.
Well, aren't we all just one big happy family? Well, you're too late. I'm not just as strong as all of you. I'm stronger.
Mandarin cloned himself again, and we all started to fight. It was on now. He was still strong, but there was no way he could take us all down, because even though we might be equal in power, we had something he didn't. Friendship.
No, it can't be. How can I be losing?
We had defeated all of his clones and surrounded him in the center of the platform. Well, thanks for playing. Tell Ironmonger we say hello.
No!
I blasted him with my repulsor, destroying him for good. My friends and I all gathered together. Steve, I was wondering what had happened to you. Thanks for showing up.
Yeah, the doctor here came and found me. By the time we met up with the other two, they had just gotten their powers. We came here right away.
Just in time, too. Suddenly, another portal opened, and Hulk came through. Wait a second, this isn't where I was trying to go. Where's Abomination? Uh-oh, that Hulk sounds like me. Looks like me from another video somehow wound up here. Can you help him get back? After this video is over, go watch my Hulk video. On day 100, we had all arrived back at the base. The world was safe once again, and everyone had their powers. But we would stay vigilant and keep an eye out. You never know when trouble could strike again. On day 1, I spawned in as a witch. I'm so small, but it looks like I'm a witch. I only have 4 hearts. I better be careful while I figure out where I am and what's going on. I looked around the forest where I spawned in. Hello? Any other witches around? Where are my witches at? But there was no one around, just the tall trees. I was so busy looking up at the tall trees, I didn't see a man appear from behind one. He was huge, and he looked angry.
I've got you now, evil witch. You won't attack my village.
Why is he calling me evil? I don't feel evil, but I am a witch, and usually witches are bad. I was confused, but I didn't have time to figure out my confusion. The man was rushing at me with a sword. I started darting between the trees, trying to get away from him. Maybe I could climb a tree and get away. I quickly made it higher than the man. I thought I was in the clear until I ran into a beehive. Bees swarmed out of the hive and flew right at me. Oh no, they think I'm attacking them. Bees, I don't want to hurt you. Don't attack me. They didn't listen. I had to escape before they stung me to death. I quickly looked around and realized the tree I was in was right next to a lake. Bees won't follow me into the water. I have to dive in. I dove into the water and the bees stayed out. They knew better than to try and follow me in. The man was still waiting on the shore though.
Evil witch, I see you in the water there. I don't have a boat with me, but I'm coming back with one and I'll get you.
The man was waving his sword at me from the edge of the lake. There was no way I could swim to shore, but I saw a tiny island in the middle of the lake. I have to get to that island. It's my only hope of safety. I swam to the island and crawled out of the water. I was exhausted. The island was quiet and I didn't see any creatures. I saw a tree with an opening into the trunk. I crawled in. What a rough first day. I have to get more powerful if I'm going to make it in this place. Wherever I am. I fell asleep immediately. On day 2, I woke up and crawled out of my tree hole. It's quiet here. Maybe I can take some time to figure out why that man called me an evil witch. I don't feel evil. I thought about it for a while. I realized it made sense that he called me evil because witches are always evil. So why do I feel good? Is it possible that I spawned as a good witch? It seemed crazy, but it also felt true. I felt better after figuring this out, but then I realized I had a big problem. All the good people are going to think I'm evil because I'm a witch, but I can't go to other witches for help because they'll know I'm good. What am I going to do? I felt hopeless for a moment, but that was a waste of time. First, I need a safe place to live. Second, I need to protect myself and prepare in case I have to fight.
Oh, I don't know if I can help you with the fighting part, but why don't you live right here?
I looked around, trying to figure out who was talking.
Look down, silly.
I looked down and saw a frog sitting on a rock on the edge of the lake.
Hi there. I can tell you that this island is a safe place to stay. You can live in that tree you slept in. The only thing is...
Before the frog could finish talking, I felt something land on my head. Ah, a spider is on my head!
No, don't attack it.
The frog's warning came too late. I had made the spider angry. It rushed at me to attack. How was I going to defend myself?
Grab the potion behind you.
I spun around and saw a small bottle on the ground. I had no idea what it was.
Throw it at the spider, quick.
Threw the potion at the spider and took it out. Thanks, buddy. I need to know a lot more about potions and what I can do as a witch, but right now, I need to rest.
Go ahead. I was going to tell you that the spider was the only thing to watch out for, but you got it. You should be safe, but I'll keep an eye out.
On day 3, I needed to learn more about potions, since they seemed like a pretty great weapon to use, especially for a witch. I walked back to the shore and found my frog friend. He was sitting on his lily pad. Thanks again for your help, buddy. Can you tell me more about potions?
I don't know much about potions. I'm just a frog.
Then how did you know I should grab one and throw it?
Because another witch used to live on this island, and I watched her a lot. She never noticed me, though. Look around. I think she left a lot of stuff here when she left.
I decided to explore the island and see if the frog was right. I walked towards the middle of the island, into the trees. In the middle of the trees, I found a big magical-looking purple tree and what looked like a rundown house. I wonder if this is where the witch lived. I decided to go inside and explore some more. I walked in. Suddenly, a bat flew at my face. I was about to fight back when I realized it wasn't squeaking. It was talking.
Get out of my master's house. You don't belong here.
Sorry, I was just exploring and trying to figure out how to be a witch. I'm really new to this. My name is Zozo.
Oh my gosh, you're a witch too. Hi, Zozo. I didn't even realize. I thought you were that crazy guy coming back to destroy everything.
Oh yeah, that must be the same guy who attacked me as soon as I spawned. What's the deal with him?
He's a villager who lives on the other side of the lake. He's always been weird, but a few years ago his son disappeared and he became convinced that a witch took him. Now he's hunting down and hurting every supernatural creature he can find.
What's a supernatural creature?
It's basically any creature that has magical or weird powers. Witches, zombies, you get the idea.
But aren't all those creatures bad anyway?
No, that's just a myth. Most of them are bad, but there are some good ones too. I mean, look at you. I can tell you're not evil.
I wanted to keep talking to the bat about good and evil creatures, but it was getting late and I hadn't found any potions or anything else to defend myself. Hey Bat, thanks for the info, but it's getting late and I should get back to my shelter.
Why don't you just sleep here?
Well, the house is kind of falling apart. There's no roof, walls.
Yeah, but you'll be safe here. The witch who lived here before cast a spell on this spot.
Okay, sounds good to me. Tomorrow I can start rebuilding the house. On days 4 to 5, I found an old stone axe outside stuck in a tree. It was in bad shape, but it'd do. It broke when I was on the second tree, but I had gotten all the wood I needed. I worked on rebuilding the witch's house so that I would have a sturdier shelter and made good progress. Then I realized I hadn't eaten anything since I got here, and I was running out of energy. Hey Bat, do you have a name?
The witch always called me Batty.
Okay, Batty, do you know where I can find food around here?
Oh, I forgot to tell you. The witch always had to leave the island to find enough food. She had a boat, but she took it with her when she left.
Alright, I guess I'll have to swim across to find food.
Here, take a couple of potions with you. The witch left some behind, and you might need them until you learn how to make your own.
I wasn't worried because I already knew I was a strong swimmer. I walked back to the shore and got ready to swim.
Are you going to swim across the lake?
My frog friend was back. Yep, that's the plan. I need to find food and Batty told me there's none here for me.
Batty is right, but are you sure swimming across is a good idea? Crazy Man is out there, and he said he would come back with a boat.
The frog had a good point, but I really didn't have a choice. I had to find food fast, and building a boat would take too much time. I jumped into the lake and started swimming. On day 6 to 8, I was swimming across the lake. It was a long distance, but I had to find food.
I told you I would be back, evil witch. I'll get you now.
Oh no, the crazy guy is back, and he has a boat. The crazy guy was coming right at me, and his boat was fast. I knew I couldn't let him get close enough to use his sword on me. I haven't had a chance to craft any weapons yet, but I have to defend myself. What are these potions Batty gave me? I started treading water so I could get the potions out of my pocket. I pulled out one bottle. What does this say? Potion of harming. Sounds like what I need. I was so focused on the potions that I completely forgot I had stopped moving. But the crazy guy hadn't stopped. He was coming right at me.
You foolish witch. You're no match for me. Take that.
How could I have been so silly? I let the crazy guy get too close, and he hit me with his sword. Ouch, that hurt. He had really brought down my health, and I didn't have that much health to spare. Okay, here goes nothing. Watch out, crazy guy. It's potion time. I threw the potion right in his face.
The evil witch has used her terrible magic on me, but your silly potion is no match for my sword.
I wasn't going to last much longer if I didn't do something fast. I frantically grabbed another bottle out of my pocket. Exploding potion. I guess I know what this does. I threw the potion at the back of the boat, and the end just blew up. The boat started sinking. The crazy guy jumped out of his boat, but I didn't wait around to see what happened. I swam as fast as I could to shore. When I reached the shore, I was exhausted. I turned around and saw the crazy guy bobbing in the water, moving so slowly towards the shore. Does this guy even know how to swim? Doesn't look like it, which is good to keep in mind.
You can run now, evil witch, but you know I'll find you again, and next time, you won't be so lucky.
I ran into the forest. I was so tired, but my hunger bar was getting really low. I had to eat something now or I wouldn't be able to keep going. I wasn't looking where I was going, and I ran right into a tree with some apples. It's not much, but this should be enough food to keep me going until I find more. I ate the the apples and felt better, but I was so tired. I decided to hide out for the night and keep searching for food in the morning. On days 9 to 10, I left the forest and walked into some fields. Are those farms? There must be food on farms. I ran toward the first farm I saw. The fields were full of vegetables. I grabbed as many carrots and potatoes as I could fit in my pockets.
Hey, who are you and why are you stealing my crops?
I looked up to see the farmer on his front porch, and he looked angry.
Hey, aren't you that evil witch my neighbor told me about? Get off my farm.
He grabbed a crossbow and started shooting arrows at me. Okay, I can take a hint. I'm getting out of here. I wasn't fast enough, and one of his arrows hit me. Oh no, I'm almost out of hearts. I realized there was one more potion from Batty that I hadn't used yet. I pulled it out of my pocket and read the label. Potion of healing. Sounds like what I need. I gulped down the potion and suddenly felt a ton of energy jolt through my body. I looked down at myself. I was bigger. I don't know what's in that potion, but it gave me 10 hearts, and I turned into a bigger witch. I feel so much stronger and faster. I was so fast that I was able to dodge the rest of the arrows the farmer was shooting at me.
I better not see you back on my farm, witch, and I'm gonna tell my neighbor I saw you. He's coming for you.
I kept running into the fields. On days 11 to 12, I was still running through the fields. I had so much energy. I saw mountains in the distance. How far had I gone? I better not get too far from the lake. I need to get back to base soon. As I got closer to the mountains, I decided it was time to turn around. I had grabbed enough food from the farmer to last a while. Then I noticed a little hut at the bottom of the mountain. Did someone live there? Someone came out of the hut. It was another witch. Aren't witches usually bad? I better run again.
Wait, come back. I want to help you.
I didn't know if I should believe her, but I felt strong enough to find out. If she was lying to me, I could run or fight.
Won't you come inside? You're the first good witch I've seen in so long, other than myself.
You're a good witch too?
Yes, come inside and I can explain everything.
I walked behind her into her hut. Inside, I saw shelves full of bottles, a large table, a huge cauldron with smoke coming out of it, and a door leading to another room.
It's so amazing to meet another good witch. It's been so long I worried I was the only one left. You see, good witches are incredibly rare. So much so that people don't even know or believe we exist. That means most people hunt us down and hurt us before ever finding out we're good and want to use our magic to help them.
Oh, that's a bummer, but at least I know I wasn't crazy for thinking I was a good witch.
You are good, I can tell. I want to teach you everything I know to help you survive.
The witch started to tell me about being a good witch. She told me about all the different types of potions I could brew and the materials I needed to brew them. She also explained about the different types of weapons I could build to defend myself and how to get food. Suddenly, we heard the sound of yelling in the distance.
Did someone follow you here? No one has ever come this close to my hideout until now.
Oh no, I stole some crops from a farmer and he got angry. He said his neighbor was hunting me. I think he was talking about this crazy guy who keeps trying to hurt me. They must have seen where I was heading.
The man hunting you isn't some crazy guy. He used to be a wonderful person. He was a successful trader, friendly to everyone. He had a son who came with him on all his trading missions. He was teaching his son the business. I knew him. You see, I didn't always live here. I used to live on a beautiful island with my bat friends.
Wait, you're the witch who used to live on the island? That's where my base is. Batty has been helping me.
Oh, I'm so glad my old home is helping someone. Batty is a good friend. I loved living there, but I was chased away. One day, the trader's son disappeared.
I know. He thinks a witch stole his son and now he's hunting all supernatural creatures. I've heard the story. I need to get out of here so your hideout stays a secret. The witch tossed out an item that looked like a bag for me, and I grabbed it before running out the door.
But wait, you don't know the whole story.
I have to get out of here before they find you.
Come back when you can. I haven't told you the most important thing.
I took off, running across the field, and just hoped the farmer and the trader wouldn't follow me. On days 13 to 15, I kept running across the fields towards the forest. I knew I had to get back to base so I could start brewing potions and making weapons. As I was running, I realized there were little holes all around me. What is up with these holes? I better be careful so I don't step in one. A rabbit popped out of one of the holes, and then another one. Pretty soon, the field was full of rabbits. Oh, aren't they so cute? I wish I could stop and pet them, but... What are you doing? The rabbits were jumping up and biting me. Aren't you rabbits supposed to be nice? What are you all doing? Stop biting me! I really didn't want to hurt the rabbits because something didn't seem right, but I also couldn't let them keep biting me. Maybe there's something in this witch bag that can help me without hurting them. I pulled out a bottle. Potion of slowness. Sounds good. Sorry, rabbits, but something is wrong with you, and I don't know what it is. I threw the potion and ran. The rabbits were too slow to follow me. I wonder if this is what the witch was trying to tell me, that the animals are acting strangely. I reached the edge of the forest and ran in. Suddenly, a squirrel jumped on me and started biting me. What is going on with all these animals? Why are they attacking me? By that point, I had been bitten so many times that I was was losing health. I saw more squirrels running through the trees after me, but I had reached the lake. I dove into the lake, and the squirrels didn't follow me. I swam across the lake and made it back to base. On days 16 to 19, I had planned to start making potions and weapons, but I had forgotten that my house wasn't built. I guess my weapons will have to wait. I need to build my house for protection, especially with all these animals behaving so strangely. I might not be as safe here as I thought.
Hey, Zozo, you're back. What you doing?
Oh, hi, Batty. I need to build up my house, but there's hardly any wood or stone around here. Any suggestions on where to find materials?
Sure, go that way and you should find everything you need to get started.
I made a wooden pickaxe before I started heading in the direction Batty was pointing. It was part of the island I hadn't explored yet. Batty was right. There was an abandoned lumber mill, so I started grabbing as much wood as I could find. But I also needed to find stone. Batty said there would be everything I needed, so there must be stone somewhere. I came out of the other side of the trees and realized I had reached the lake again, but I hadn't explored this beach. Wow, there's tons of stone here. Batty was right. Most of the stone was closer to the water, so I walked down to start collecting it. A drowned came out of the water and towards me. I didn't have any weapons or anything with me, but I felt so much bigger and stronger. When the drowned got close, I just started punching. Take that! I'm sick of being attacked. Go away! The drowned backed off and went back into the water. I grabbed all of my materials and went back to the house. Now I was ready to get started making things. On days 20 to 22, it was time to cook up some potions and make some better tools and weapons. Let's see what good stuff she gave me. I used the bag item the witch had given me and saw that it filled my inventory with cobblestones, a blaze rod, glass bottles, and lots of things that looked like dust, creams, and more. There was also a small book. Good witch, here's what you need to get started brewing potions. First, you need to build your brewing stand. That's what the cobblestones and blaze rod are for. Once you've built that, take a glass bottle and some of the nether wart. Combine them and you'll have an awkward potion. The book had more pages, but I was excited to get started. I followed her instructions. Cool, a brewing stand. Alright, let's cook up some awkward potions. I got a little too excited and made a bunch of bottles. Once you have an awkward potion, you can take the different ingredients in my bag and add them to it. That's how you make different types of potions. I spent hours grabbing ingredients and combining them into potions. When I was almost out of glass bottles, I decided to take a break.
Wow, looks like you made a ton of potions. Good job, but you should probably also make a weapon.
Why? Look at all these great potions I have now.
Yeah, but what happens if you're attacked and run out of potions? You should have a weapon just in case, like a sword or an axe.
Alright, I guess I need to go back out for more materials to make a sword. I decided to go back to the beach where I found all the stone. Maybe there would be other materials there too. I walked over to the beach and started digging, but then I heard a noise. I looked up and there were 3 more drowns coming at me. Ugh, these guys again? And there's more of them. At least this time I remembered to bring some potions with me. Those drowns moved fast, and before I could grab a potion, they started attacking me. I finally found my potion and threw it, and they went away. Hey, looks like one of those weirdos dropped something. What is this thing? I picked up what looked like a giant fork. It looked sharp, so I thought it could be a weapon. I decided to stop searching and bring it back to Batty.
Whoa, Zozo, you found a trident. Did a drowned drop it? Those are so rare. Cool.
I decided to take my new weapon and walk down to the other beach to see if my frog friend was around. When I got there, I heard a strange noise coming from above me. I looked up.
You may have destroyed my boat, but I'm back and ready to destroy you, evil witch. Just try throwing your potions up here.
It was the crazy trader again, and this time he was wearing a crazy outfit that looked like armor, flying right above me, getting ready to swoop down with his sword. The way he was moving around, I knew it would be hard to hit him with a potion.
Throw your trident!
That sounded like my frog friend.
How did you get a trident, evil witch? Do you even know what to do with it?
I didn't have time to look around. I just aimed and threw the trident as hard as I could. My trident was a direct hit, and as it dropped back down, I caught it.
Ouch, that hurt. Hey, you dented my armor. How did you get so strong?
I threw my trident again, and pieces of his armor started falling.
No, you're destroying my armor. How could I have known you had a trident?
I knew that with one more hit I could take him down, but he knew it too.
You may have won this battle, witch, but I'll still win the war.
He flew away, and I felt confident I could beat him next time. On days 23 to 26, I went back to the base and decided to go inside and check on Batty.
What happened? You look like you were in a fight.
Yeah, that crazy guy came back again. This time he was flying and he had armor, but I fought him off with my trident.
That's a relief. You should probably prepare in case he comes back.
He was right. I needed to make this place more secure. My house was nice, but I needed something bigger and stronger. I decided to build a fortress around my house. Batty had helped me out by bringing a huge pile of wood. I started building up the walls, working as fast as I could. Eventually, the walls rose up around my house, and it was starting to look like a fortress. But there was something else missing too. This island needed some decoration. I've got it. I'll build a nice big statue. That'll liven the place up. I got to work on the statue. I didn't have much in the way of materials, but I at least made a good start. I know it's not much to look at yet, but do you have any guesses what it will be? Suddenly, Batty flew up to me.
Hey, you know you didn't finish going through the witch bag. You should see what else is in there.
I reached into the bag and pulled out what looked like a diary. It had a lock on it, but the lock fell open when I touched it. I guess it was a witch thing. I opened the diary and read the first page. The Good Witch Diary. Top secret. But if you are liking the video, make sure you search for other videos. Just search for Zozo and see the other great adventures Zozo has been on. On days 27 to 31, I wanted to make sure we had enough food. In a perfect world, I could get some animals, but my base was on an island, and I had no idea how I could get animals there. Well, the easiest way to get food here is probably to farm some vegetables. Just then, Batty swooped in, and he had other bats with him.
Hey, Zozo! Meet my family. Now that we have a fortress, I decided it was safe to go get them. They've been hiding ever since that crazy guy made the first witch leave. They're excited to help us out.
That's great, Batty. I was actually just thinking about planting some crops. Could your family go out and find me some seeds?
Sure thing. We'll be back.
Once the bats flew off, I decided to explore the part of the island I still hadn't visited to see if there was a good place to farm. After a couple minutes, I found a clearing in the trees that got a lot of sun. It looked like the perfect place to plant seeds, except that I noticed something strange in the shadows. Is that slime? Gross. As I looked closer, I realized there were slimes all in the shadows, and they were jumping closer to me. I heard a loud splat. Gross, a slime attacked me, and also, that hurt. I had no idea if potions would work against slimes, so before wasting any, I decided to go back to the fortress and see what Batty knew about slimes when he got back. On days 32 to 35, Batty and his family came back with lots of seeds. Thanks, Batty and family. These seeds are awesome, but we have a problem. I found the perfect spot for a farm, but it's filled with slimes, and one of them attacked me. How can I get rid of them?
Oh man, I was afraid of that. I forgot to tell you that there's a little swamp on the side of the island, and I've heard rumors about slime sightings, but I never saw one, so I thought maybe we were safe.
Great. That swamp must be right next to the spot I want to put my farm. Is there a potion or something I can use to get rid of them?
You can defeat slimes and they'll drop slime balls, but actually maybe it's a good thing they're here. You can use slime balls to make all kinds of useful stuff.
When I heard that, I decided to go back with my trident that instant. After all, I didn't want the slimes to disappear, and I wanted those slime balls. When I got to the swamp, I saw the slimes were still there. They were different sizes. One was huge, a couple were medium, and there were a few little ones. What are you, like a slime family? I didn't wait for an answer. Can slimes even talk? I immediately threw my trident at the big slime. When it hit the slime, 2 medium slimes appeared. Wait, what? I thought I was going to get rid of you. Now I just have more slimes to deal with. I kept attacking the medium slimes, and they turned into smaller slimes. This was turning out to be a much bigger project than I planned. Finally, I was left with nothing but slime balls, so I collected all of them. I also spotted some materials that I knew would be perfect for my statue, so I grabbed some of those too before going back to my witchy fortress. Thanks a lot, Batty. You could have warned me that hurting slimes makes more slimes.
Oh yeah, I forgot about that.
Batty, we need to work on your memory. Seems like you forget a lot of things. Every single one of his bat family members agreed with me, rolling their eyes at Batty. On days 36 to 39, it was time to farm. Now that Batty's whole family was back, we needed some serious food. I went back to the clearing to plant some seeds. Hello, any more slimes out there? I didn't see a single green slime, so I decided it was safe to start planting.
Hi there.
I spun around and saw a little bat.
I'm Batty's little sister. I wanted to come talk to you away from Batty because I don't want to hurt his feelings, but his bad memory is becoming a real problem.
Yeah, I'm starting to notice that.
But he's forgetting some really important things. Like when we flew around collecting seeds, we saw and heard a lot. The crazy trader has been hunting down a lot more supernatural creatures, including a lot who are actually good.
Since when are so many creatures good?
They just are. But it's hard to tell because the evil ones give everyone a bad reputation. But it's starting to get really serious. His crazy brain is telling him that even regular creatures are evil, even bats. Pretty soon, no one will be safe.
Wow, you aren't kidding. Batty's memory is really bad.
We need you to take down the crazy trader before you can do any more damage. Can you do it?
I thought about how much stronger I had gotten. I think I can. I'll do it. But first, I need to grow this food so I have enough energy to fight. I kept planting until all of the seeds were planted. Then I went back to the fortress where I did some more work on the statue before calling it a night. On days 40 to 43, Batty and his family came back from the big forest and told us about animals acting strangely.
Zozo, you won't believe it. Normally when we fly through the trees, the squirrels and rabbits say hello to us. Today they all tried to attack us. We had to fly high above them to stay away. What is going on?
The bats were describing the same weird things I had noticed before, but I had forgotten all about them in the other chaos. Maybe I should go investigate in case there's something serious going on. I decided to swim over to the forest and take another look. I walked down to the lake and dove in. As soon as I walked onto the beach, something didn't feel right. A bunch of crabs dug out from the sand, surrounding me. I don't think I can take on this many. Suddenly, a potion landed on some of them, clearing away. I turned around and saw Batty and his family. They swooped in and started fighting the crabs while Batty himself approached me.
We'll keep fighting off the crabs so you can get to the forest. Just keep going.
Batty went back to join his family as I ran as fast as I could into the forest. On days 44 to 49, I explored the forest looking for animals. I didn't want to be attacked, but I needed to figure out what was going on, especially if Batty and his family were now in danger too. I searched through the trees, but couldn't find a single animal. This was even more more confusing. The forest is always filled with animals. Where did they all go? I kept walking until I reached the fields and still didn't see a single animal. This was so suspicious. Eventually, I turned around and went back to the lake. This time, there were no crabs anywhere. I swam across easily. When I reached the island, I saw my frog friend. Hey buddy, long time no see. How's it going? My frog friend didn't answer me. In fact, he didn't move at all. Hey, are you okay? What's going on? I walked closer to get a better look. The frog turned to look at me and his eyes were bright red.
Stop investigating the animals, witch. They're under my control, and if you interfere with my plans, I'll take you down.
The frog was under some kind of spell, and he was on my island. The danger was getting too close to home, and I was so worried about my frog friend. Before I could do anything else, he jumped into the water and swam away. I could only hope he would be safe. I went back to the fortress to talk to Batty. This was really serious. On days 50 to 53, Batty suggested that I should keep reading the Witch Diary to see if it could tell us anything about what was going on. I turned to the second page. Before you turn any more pages, I just want to say that I hope you're subscribing to this channel and enjoying more videos. Okay, the witch was really into subscriptions. Moving on, I got to page 3. I'm keeping this diary after the traitor made me run from my home. I need to write down the true story in case I can never tell anyone in person. Everyone believes that the traitor went crazy after a witch stole his son. This is not the truth. Before he went crazy, he traveled far into the mountains and met an old wizard who cast a spell on him. The wizard wanted to keep his son as an apprentice, so he made the traitor go crazy, believing a witch had stolen his son. The wizard is the true enemy. Destroy him and break his spell. Okay, this was getting really crazy, but it also made sense. I wondered if the wizard was also controlling the animals, but I realized I was too hungry to keep reading. I had to go see if my crops were ready. On days 54 to 57, I went back to my farm. There were so many vegetables. I gathered as many as I could carry to bring home. When I got back, Batty was surprised at how much food I had. Batty, things are getting really scary out there. I want to make sure I have enough food in case we need to hide out, and I want to take care of you and your family. I also wanted to build up our defenses. I decided to build a tower so that I could see everything around us and see if danger was coming. I also decided to build a potion launcher in case we needed to defend inside the walls. Once it was built, I needed to see if it worked. I flipped the switch and fired off some potions. Wow, those went really far. I think this will work perfectly. I had some time, so I also decided to work on the statue. It's really coming along nicely. Can you tell what it is now? On days 58 to 62, I woke up to the sound of screeching. It was Batty and his family, sounding the alarm.
The traitor is coming! The traitor is coming!
Oh no, now that I knew why he was crazy, I didn't want to hurt him either. I ran up to the tower and saw the traitor flying towards me. However this guy was flying, I wanted to learn how to do it. Hey man, stop attacking me! I don't want to hurt you. I know the wizard cast a spell on you. The traitor swooped towards me, and I noticed for the first time his red, glowing eyes, just like my frog friend.
I'm not here to attack you this time, at least not right this second.
Huh? What did he mean by that? Suddenly, he pulled out a bottle and threw it at me. I can't see anything. What was that potion you threw at me?
Haha, a blindness potion. Two can play at the potion game, witch, and now you can't see what I'm doing next.
He was right. I couldn't see anything. I had to get back downstairs to get some milk, which Batty had told me would give me my vision back. I stumbled down the stairs and drank some milk, but it took me so long, I was worried about what the traitor did while I was blind. I was so exhausted from the ordeal, I decided to get some sleep. On days 63 to 66, I woke up and went back to the witch diary. I had stopped reading before, but now I knew I had to keep going and figure out what was going on with the animals and how to defeat the wizard. I opened the diary where I stopped reading before. Before I keep telling the sad story, I really hope that you're enjoying the video so far. If you like it, why don't you subscribe to our channel for more? I wasn't even going to try to understand that one. A warning for you, the wizard has been growing stronger every year. Soon, he'll be too powerful to defeat. You will know that his power is becoming too strong when he takes control of all good creatures in this land. Even the nicest animals will turn on you. This is a sign that you must defeat the wizard now. If you wait, it will be too late. My heart sank. Now I knew why the animals were acting crazy, and it meant that the wizard was growing too powerful to stop. On days 67 to 70, I knew I had to find the wizard and stop him before he took over the world. Unfortunately, I had no idea where he was. I didn't even know where the traitor was hiding. I started gathering supplies when suddenly I heard a familiar voice behind me.
What are you doing?
I turned around. Hi, Batty, where have you been? I haven't seen you since the traitor was here. I looked at Batty and gasped. His eyes were glowing red. Oh no, Batty, are you under the wizard's control too?
The wizard is my master now, thanks to the traitor who cast the wizard spell on me. He sent me here to tell you should give up now, because you will never find the wizard. He's hidden where no one will ever find him.
Batty flew away. I was so sad. My closest friend was under an evil spell.
Psst, Zozo, over here.
Batty's sister flew into the room.
I followed the traitor when he took Batty, and I know where he is hiding. Maybe if you go to his base, you can find out where the wizard is hiding. He's in a bunker underneath the farm that you first stole vegetables from.
So that's why the traitor came back, to kidnap Batty and turn him into a messenger. And no wonder the traitor kept coming. He was so close. Before I left, I made sure I still had the witch diary on me. I hadn't finished reading it yet, and it might have more important information. On day 71 to 74, I made my way back to the farm where I first stole vegetables. I didn't want to run into the farmer again, so before I actually entered his land, I had to make a plan. Batty's sister said the trader was hiding in a bunker under the farm. If the trader is hiding underground, he must have a secret entrance to get down there. I started walking around the farm looking for anything unusual. I spotted a huge rock that looked really out of place on a farm. Was this his secret entrance? Suddenly, a side of the rock slid open. It was a door. I was right. I looked around but didn't see the trader, so why was the door opening? Then I saw Batty flying towards the rock. He was going into the trader's base. Oh no, Batty, you really are under their control. The door slid closed. I waited a while to make sure nothing was happening, and then I snuck over to the rock. I didn't see any sign of a door. How do you open this door? I know there must be a way. I kept looking but couldn't figure out a way to open the door. I got frustrated and punched the door. Alarms started going off. Oh no, that was so stupid of me. I should have known they would have had defenses. I dove into some nearby plants and hid right before strange creatures started swarming around the door. They were birds, all of them with glowing red eyes. I stayed down while the birds flew around and they didn't see me. Then the door slid open.
Who's out there? No one? Birds! Pay closer attention next time. Whoever was at the door must have gotten away.
The trader closed the door again, and I knew I would have to find another way to his base. It was obvious. I would have to dig a tunnel to reach him. I was close enough that I decided to start digging right there. I knew the base was under the house, so I kept digging in that direction. On days 75 to 78, I was digging a tunnel to reach the trader's base. I knew I was getting close to the house, and the base had to be close by. I dug and dug until I saw a wooden wall. I had reached the base. I stopped to organize my inventory before I broke through the wall with my axe.
How did you find me, evil witch?
Hey man, I had to find you because you stole my friend Batty, but I don't want to fight you. I know that you're under the spell of the evil wizard. This isn't really you.
What are you talking about, witch? There is no wizard. I am going to destroy all creatures responsible for taking my son away from me.
He came rushing at me with his giant sword. I was scared, but I knew how much bigger and stronger I was since our first fight and all the special potions I had brewed. He swung a sword at me and I fought back, throwing potions, drinking healing potions, and stabbing at him with my trident.
Evil witch, you will not stop me.
I really wish this guy would stop calling me evil witch. He spun around and punched a wall and ran down another tunnel. I went to run after him, but he threw another blindness potion at me. So annoying. I put down my bag. Fortunately, I brought milk, so I drank it quickly, but not fast enough to see where he went. There was a fork where two tunnels went in different directions. I ate some of my food before I looked down both tunnels. To the right, I saw a red glow. It was his eyes. I took off running down the right tunnel, eating some more to make sure I was at full health. Soon, I reached another room. There, the trader had grabbed a giant shield in addition to his sword. This was it. I was going to have to throw everything at him and hope I could defeat him. I threw every potion I had, hitting him with one right after the other. I hadn't thought about what might happen if all the potions mixed. The trader had been knocked to the ground, and suddenly there was a black puff of smoke. When the smoke cleared, his eyes were normal.
What happened? Where am I?
Had my potion somehow broken the wizard's spell? You're in a bunker underground. You've been hunting down creatures because you thought a witch stole your son.
No, I remember everything. I know a witch didn't steal my son. It was the wizard. He took my son and cast a spell on me so that I would think a witch had done it.
He looked so sad.
I think the wizard's spell was the only thing keeping me going all this time. Without the spell, I'm dying.
No, let's go destroy the wizard and save your son.
It's too late, but please, go defeat the wizard for me.
With that, the trader disappeared. On days 79 to 84, I took one final look at the room we fought in, then went back through the tunnels of the trader's bunker. I stopped there to rest for a minute. While I was there, I decided to eat something and keep reading the witch diary. The end of this story is sad and shocking. I have been exploring the mountains where I now hide, and I discovered where the wizard lives. I snuck closer to his hideout, and there I saw something terrible. The wizard was not the wizard I knew from before. Instead, the wizard was the trader's son. He had become the wizard. Oh man, maybe it's a good thing the trader disappeared. He would be so upset to learn his son had turned into the wizard. It is hard to say, but you still must find the wizard and destroy him, no matter who he is. If his power is this strong, there is no way to make him good again. I drew a map to where the wizard is hiding in the mountains. It is buried under my house on the island. Find the map, find the wizard, and destroy him. I guessed it was time to go back to the base. On days 85 to 89, I went back to the island. It was so lonely without Frog and Batty, but it was probably also good they were gone. If they were under the wizard's spell, I couldn't safely dig up the map. I went back to the house and started digging into the floor. I saw a glowing light. I kept digging until I found a secret room under the house. The room glowed with potions I had never seen before. There was a folded paper on a table, and in the corner was the trader's sword. What was it doing here? I picked up the paper and noticed a map placed next to it. Take this map and find the wizard, use his sword, which I stole, and defeat him with it. Wow, so the witch had stolen the sword, but somehow the trader got it. When he disappeared, I guess the sword came back here. I picked it up. It was huge. Can I even swing this thing? It was too heavy for me, but that's when I spotted something. There was a chest on the table where the note was. I opened it up and saw several potions and rare items in there. The purple potion in the middle catching my eye. I picked it up. A power-up potion. I wonder what this does. The description said, drink me, as well as that it had been brewed at the peak of witching hour. That sounded amazing, so I decided to listen to the potion and give it a try. I drank the potion down and immediately felt it start to change something inside of me. I started to grow in size, gaining hearts, and felt much stronger. Strong enough to swing a sword? I tried it, and now I could swing the sword easily. So I grabbed the map, sword, and a few of the strange glowing potions. In the other corner of the room, I spotted something interesting. Is that what I think it is? That clearly looked like a witch's broom. I think I found my way of reaching the wizard now. I took out my pickaxe and dug through the collapsed door, entering a cave which led me back out. On days 90 to 94, I used the map to figure out where the wizard was hiding. Sure enough, he was in the mountains near where I had met the other witch. I needed to prepare for this battle. I looked at the glowing potions. One was a potion of invisibility, which sounded pretty useful. Another said potion of disintegration. What was that? Its label read, do not drink me. I didn't want to use a potion that I didn't understand, so I went back to the diary. I flipped to the back of the book where the witch had made a list of all the potions and their uses. Looks like this is one of the strongest potions out there. I better use it carefully. I grabbed the bag and a bite to eat as I left my house. But before I went to confront the wizard, there was one more thing to do. Finish my statue. Batty and his family weren't around to help me this time, but I still managed to finish it. There, I think it looks pretty good. But what do you think? With everything prepared, I placed down the broom in the courtyard and climbed on, soaring up into the air and over the tree line. I flew across the lake, over the forest, over a pumpkin grove, and over the fields. Then I saw the mountains getting closer. I saw the witch's hut, but I went past it. I didn't have any time to spare. I flew and flew up the mountainside until everything on the ground was barely visible. Looking at the edge of a steep cliff, I saw it, a great black castle. That must be where the wizard lives. I'm getting so close. Maybe I should take this invisibility potion so he doesn't see me coming. I drank the potion and turned invisible. Feeling safer, I flew up to his castle. The gate was wide open. Wow, this guy must feel pretty safe up here in the clouds to just leave his gate open. I peeked inside. On days 95 to 98, I snuck inside the wizard's castle. Even though I was invisible, I knew I had to be quiet and careful or he would realize I was there. The castle was huge. There were so many hallways and stairs, I didn't know where to start. I had to find the wizard though, so I started walking down the darkest, scariest looking hallway. I figured that was my best shot. As I walked down the hall, I started hearing whispering voices. It was hard to understand what they were saying, but one thing I did hear.
You've reached the wizard's lair, and the final battle approaches. Only the strongest warrior dares to fight the wizard. If you've enjoyed this journey, prove it by liking this video and subscribing to our channel.
On day 99, I kept following the voices until I reached a solid wall, blocking the rest of the hallway. Had I reached a dead end? Suddenly, I heard a voice calling out.
Zozo? Zozo, where are you?
It was Batty's sister again. I didn't know how she had followed me or escaped evil spells, but I was so happy to see her. Hey, I'm over here. I turned off my invisibility so that she could see me.
Oh, there you are, Zozo. I came to tell you it's not a dead end. Don't worry. I've been following Batty, and I know how to get in. This wall is a door. Punch the bottom right brick, and you can open it.
I walked towards the wall and punched a brick on the side. The wall lifted upwards, revealing a new hallway. Thanks, but now you should really get out of here. Things are about to get really crazy.
Good luck, Zozo. I'll see you back at base.
I went down the hallway, which ended with a staircase. At the top of the stairs, there was a big open room. Right next to the window was a huge throne, and in the throne sat the wizard.
So you found me, but you still have to defeat me, and you never will.
The wizard stood up and raised his hands to cast a spell. This was the moment to throw my potion of disintegration. It exploded around him, but didn't do anything.
You thought you could use a potion against me? You silly witch. I am invincible to all magic except my own.
What did that mean? How could he not be invincible to his own magic? Then I realized something. I had his sword. I pulled out the sword and it started glowing. It was a magical sword, and it was the wizard's sword. Did this mean I could destroy him with it?
Where did you get that sword? That was my master's sword that he gave me when I became the wizard, but another witch stole it from me. How do you have it?
Doesn't matter how I got it, buddy. What matters is that I'm going to use it to destroy you. Before I could attack him though, I felt some of the sword's power start to enter me. I grew to be even bigger with even more hearts, and now I had a cool magical effect surrounding me. I ran towards the wizard, but as soon as I got close to him, he teleported behind me. That's not good. I charged at him again, only for him to teleport away, but I could tell he was getting tired. He summoned ice spheres that circled around him as I rushed at him again. He didn't have time to teleport away, but he snared me instead, landing more firebolts on me before teleporting away again.
No, how are you still standing? My spell should have taken you down.
I don't know, dude, but take this! Before he could do anything else, I swung the sword as hard as I could and hit the wizard. He screamed as his magic started to seep out of him. I backed away right before he vanished in a white explosion. I had defeated the wizard. Time to get out of here! I rode my broom all the way back to the base, drinking healing potions to recover on the way. As I flew over the forest, I wondered what I would find. As soon as I passed over the forest, I heard cheering. All the rabbits and squirrels had come out to welcome me home, and not a single one of them attacked me. I was so relieved and excited to get back to base. I glided across the lake and saw the crabs celebrating my return. I got to the island, and right there in front of me were Frog, Batty, and Batty's entire family. All their eyes were normal, and they were cheering.
You did it, Zozo! You defeated the wizard!
Batty, it's so good to see you again. I'm so happy you're free of the evil spell. Now I'm going to go inside, eat a nice big meal, and go to sleep. If another evil wizard comes back, you know where I'll be.
On day 1, I spawned in as Monkey D. Luffy, the rubber boy with a straw hat. Yo ho ho, I'm going to be the future king of the pirates. But it looks like I'm just a little kid for right now. At least my dreams are big. I gotta go find some good food to eat so I can grow up to be super strong. But there's nothing around this village but coconut trees. Whoa, a storm is rolling in. I better take cover. Is that a lightning bolt or a person?
That's ye straw hat, Zozo. I be Captain O'Kilowatt, and you've had the misfortune of washing ashore of me island. Here you will be doomed to wander the many dangerous terrains in search of me greatest buried treasure. If ye succeed within 100 days, ye may keep what ye find. But if ye fail, ye will never be allowed to leave.
Buried treasure? Well, Monkey D. Luffy is a pirate, so that treasure is as good as found.
Ye had better hope that you find it, or ye will never voyage on the sea again.
Challenge accepted, you stormy scallywag.
Good luck, Zozo. You'll need it.
Captain O'Kilowatt laughed evilly and rained down lightning on the village, so I ran for cover. He attacked several houses and even wiped out the villagers. Talk about no mercy. I have no idea how big this island is, but I'm going to scour every block of it until I find that buried treasure. The dangers ahead are completely unknown, but I will face them with a bravery suited for the future king of the pirates. On day 2, I started to explore the nearby tropical forest. I have 6 hearts right now, so I need to stay in the least dangerous areas for right now. Who knows, maybe the buried treasure is in the easiest place to find it. That would be one crazy trick, wouldn't it? Oops, did I say this forest wasn't dangerous? What I meant to say was, it's filled with ghosts. Somehow, they kinda look familiar. Are you guys the ghosts of the villagers from back there?
Yes, we are. Why couldn't you have been hit by that lightning instead of us?
Just lucky, I guess?
Not for long, Zozo, because we ghosts are going to haunt you.
Oh no, I can't punch ghosts, and I don't have any weapons that can affect them. I gotta run to safety. Ah, get away from me! All of a sudden, I saw something swoop down from above. It picked me up and carried me away from the ghosts. When I got my bearings, I saw that I was at the top of a tall tree. There was a bird with a colorful beak in front of me. Were you the one who saved me?
Yes, sir. I'm Stan. Stan the Toucan. And whenever there's someone in trouble in this tropical forest, I come to the rescue.
That's cool, man. I'm Zozo. Want to join my pirate crew?
Sure can, man. Every great pirate needs a bird sidekick after all.
I'm looking for the buried treasure of Captain O'Kilowatt. Do you know anyone who can help?
I just might. Follow me.
On day 3, Stan the Toucan took me to a small workshop among the trees.
Wait until you meet my friend, Titus the Armorer. He makes all sorts of useful items.
Sweet! An armorer could be useful to have on my pirate crew. He could make me items and gear fit for a pirate king. I looked around and saw lots of really awesome armor. Did you make these all by yourself?
Sorta kinda, my good pirate. I do the crafting, but it takes brave adventurers like yourself to gather materials for me. I've had loot brought to me from all the terrain on this island, and I always take what I'm given and make it into something better.
Neat! I've accepted Captain O'Kilowatt's challenge, so I'll be visiting all of the terrains myself. What can you tell me about them?
Well, the main ones are the ancient ruins, the Cloud City, and the Misty Maze. Nobody who has looked for Captain O'Kilowatt's treasure has ever found it. But there's plenty of rare items I can make for you, if you bring me back stuff from each of them.
So, you're saying I should visit each of those 3 terrains in the next 97 days if I want to have a chance at winning?
Pretty much.
I set off for the terrains without a moment's delay. Luffy never passes up a chance to adventure. He also never travels without his crew, so I took Stan the Toucan with me. On days 4 to 5, I was still in the tropical forest, so I made sure to gather wood from the trees. Once I had enough, I made my first set of tools. The wooden pickaxe will serve me well in gathering stone, but I won't be needing them for long.
because I'm gonna use that stone to craft myself a set of stone tools. Alright, time to build a base for the brand new Straw Hat Pirate crew. I laid a bunch of wood blocks for the foundation and made sure to give lots of space for all the new friends I'm going to recruit. I get the captain's quarters, of course, and Stan gets a birdhouse all to himself.
I too can believe this base is wonderful, Captain Zozo.
Oh, I get it. Two can. Well, two can play that game, Stan.
Very funny, but leave the puns to me, won't ya?
Gotta put a kitchen in here, too. I may not have a chef on my crew yet, but I am starting to get really hungry. While I was placing down the chests, I saw a strange item fall out of a tree. Say, isn't that the gum gum fruit? It is! Not only did it fill up my hunger bar, it also made me stretch out like a crazy rubber boy, and I grew to the size of regular Luffy. I've got 9 hearts now. With that much health, I'll be able to last much longer in a fight with mobs now. I'm that much closer to becoming the king of the pirates. Yo-ho-ho! On days 6 to 8, I was on my way to the ancient ruins when I saw a flock of giant penguins. How adorable! Except, they didn't seem friendly at all, because they were chasing someone down, and it looks like another human. And look, they're wearing an enormous chef's hat. Well, now I gotta help. I was so mad that I started smoking, and my skin turned red with anger. Now my fists are stronger than my sword. Looks like the gum gum fruit I ate earlier gives my punches extra knockback, and I'm going to need it because these penguins totally outnumber me. I need to hit them quickly and then dodge. If they surround me, I'm dinner. With a gum gum powered punch, I took down the biggest one and the others retreated. March back home, penguins. Don't mess with the future king of the pirates. You okay, chef?
Thanks to you, I am. But how did you know I was a chef?
Just a lucky guess, based on the fact that you are wearing this slightly oversized chef's hat and a chef's apron.
You got me. I am a chef, named Skylar. I'm going to the ancient ruins to find a spice that can really cook my cooking up another notch. Wanna come with? I could really use a bodyguard.
Sure, I'm headed there myself, looking for treasure.
Personally, I think food is the greatest treasure of all.
I like both treasure and food, for different reasons, of course. I can't eat gold. Or can I?
You really shouldn't try to eat gold. It's not food.
I'll take your word for it. You are the chef, after all. On days 9 to 10, I arrived at the ancient ruins, the first of the dangerous terrains that I must explore to complete the challenge. Before going any further, I decided to consult my loyal crew. So, Stan, Skylar, are you excited to explore the ruins?
You know it, Captain Zozo.
Excited? No. Eager to find the ingredients? Yes. Remember, this place is dangerous.
What are you so worried about?
It starts with that giant dinosaur right behind you.
I thought these guys went extinct years ago, but it seems like I might be the extinct one if I don't get out of here. Ouch! That bite took away a lot of hearts. If only I knew how to use all of my different gum gum powers. Skylar has a weapon, but even together we're no match for this dinosaur. We've got to run away and fight another day. My crew and I ran away from the ancient ruins. Captain O'Kilowatt wasn't kidding around when he said these terrains were dangerous. And this one was only the first one.
That was pretty brave back there, Zozo. Even if you didn't win.
My hunger meter was getting low again, so I decided to go back home and grab a bite to eat, which would be a lot easier now that I had a chef on my pirate crew. On days 11 to 12, I made sure that Skylar felt right at home as the head chef of the new Straw Hat crew. I built her a small house and made the food preparation area even bigger. To make sure we had plenty of ingredients, I also constructed an outdoor farm and a flower garden where we could grow plants and made pens where we could keep animals for meat. Of course, no pirate base would be complete without a flag to tell intruders who we are. The skull and crossbones mean business. Yarr! We'll be heading back to the ancient ruins in a few days. Anything else I should know about that place?
I heard that Captain O'Kilowatt has members of his own pirate crew guarding each of the terrains.
No way! He has a crew of his own?
Yes, and you are going to become a part of it if you fail the challenge. At least, that's what happened to all the other ones who tried it before.
He forces people to join his crew? That's terrible. I can't let that happen to me.
Just be careful, Zozo. The other pirates thought that way too, before he got them.
Don't worry about it. I'm not like those other pirates. I'm gonna be king of the pirates. I can talk big, but these former challengers would all be strong opponents. I had to get in gear to face them. I decided to train my battle skills by fighting some cave centipedes underground. I gave their legs to Titus the craftsman, and he was able to make me a special suit of armor that could climb walls. That'll come in handy later. On days 13 to 15, I was in the tropical woods when I realized I needed a new way to train. Stan, what should I do in order to get stronger? I need to become powerful enough to take on the dinosaur in the ancient ruins.
Have you thought of going to one of the other dangerous terrains first? Maybe you'll be able to find something to help you there.
That's a good point.
Might I recommend the Cloud City? With your new climbing ability, you should be able to get up there through the mountains.
I'll leave right away. I set off for the highest point on the map, climbing the walls with my centipede leggings until I reached the top. At the top of the mountain, it started to snow and visibility decreased. But wow, this place is amazing! There was a bridge connecting the Cloud City to the top of the mountain. Who knew there were materials that could be used to build buildings on top of clouds? I'm definitely gonna have to take some of these special blocks back with me. I better grab them fast because I can hear something inside the city. It looks like I've got company. An ice gas is flying towards me.
So you must be Captain Zozo. I'm afraid you won't find any treasure here.
Are you a member of the Kilowatt crew?
Yes, I am Ghastly Gust, the keeper of Cloud City. My wind powers will blow you away.
I could feel Ghastly Gust attempt to launch me off of the mountain, but I didn't give in. This was a fight I had to win if I was going to complete the challenge. The Ghast had ice ball firing abilities, which trapped me in ice and slowed me down, while also hurting me. With my Gum Gum abilities, I was able to stretch upwards and reach the gas. This way with my punches, I pummeled Ghastly Gust. When I took him down, he dropped some sort of weird key. I wonder what this opens. During the fight, it seemed like I had achieved a new level of strength. I decided to return to the base and placed one of the cloud blocks on the ground. Nothing happened. Oh, this thing is broken. I want a refund. I started jumping on it, and I suddenly leveled up. Sure enough, I was faster, stronger, and could jump 2 blocks higher. Whoa, I've gone to second gear. In this most powerful form, I have 21 hearts. The training was a success. On days 16 to 19, I went to explore the Misty Maze. Since I had defeated a member of Captain O'Kilowatt's crew at Cloud City, I figured I could do the same here. True to its name, the Misty Maze was easy to get lost in. There were also skeletons everywhere, which is never a good sign. Speaking of signs, I found a mysterious note inside of the treasure chest along with another key. The note said, "I have searched throughout every corner of the Misty Maze, and there is no trace of Captain O'Kilowatt's buried treasure. I did find this key though, so whoever finds this treasure chest might have a chance to use it." What were these keys? It looked just like the one the Ghastly Gust dropped. Suddenly, I was attacked by the skeletons. They must have been guarding this treasure chest for Captain O'Kilowatt. Take this! You can't stop second gear. I found my way out of the maze with the key in hand. On days 20 to 22, I went to the beach on the edge of the island and fought some aggressive walruses. They weren't that tough now that I had gotten stronger, so I was able to gather their tusks as material. I mined some pearl blocks so I could trade it to the craftsman in exchange for a better helmet and boots.
Here you are, Zozo. New and improved armor for a pirate captain.
Thanks, Titus. With stronger defenses, I went back to the ancient ruins. I had the feeling that I could find a third key there. The dinosaur last time was still roaming around, but I was geared up in more ways than one. I made short work of it. Wow, I really have gotten stronger.
But not strong enough.
Who are you?
I am Anubis, the true guardian of the ancient ruins. I've been sent by Captain O'Kilowatt to defeat you here and now.
He must really want to protect that buried treasure. Let me guess, it's here, in the ruins?
You wish. The treasure is in a place where you'll never reach.
Was the buried treasure not in any of the terrains I'd been to so far? Just then, Anubis was struck by a lightning bolt. It was Captain O'Kilowatt. But why did he attack his own crewmate?
You were a fool to give away clues so easily, Anubis. I have no room on my crew for fools.
I was tempted to fight him then and there, but I knew I wasn't strong enough. So I just grabbed the key he dropped and ran away. On the way out of the ruins, I grabbed some spice from the ground. Just what Skylar was looking for. On days 23 to 26, I returned to the base with all 3 keys and also the spice for Skylar.
Thanks, Zozo. Now I can complete my ultimate recipes.
Let me know if you make anything with meat in it.
You still have to catch some animals if you want a meal to happen.
Well, you're the boss, Skylar.
No, I am the chef. You're the boss.
I thought I was the captain. With the previous dangerous terrains unguarded, I could now gather materials from all of them. But first, I went into the cave to mine some iron ore so I could upgrade my stone tools to iron ones. That way I could mine even deeper. Just because I know there isn't treasure doesn't mean I shouldn't dig. I decided to go back to the ancient ruins where there are stone brick blocks. These are perfect for building a sturdier wall. And now, I was even able to build floating buildings just like in Cloud City. Borrowing some of the designs I saw in the Misty Maze, I created a series of secret passages that could be used to mislead any enemy pirates who tried to sneak into the base. Skylar came out of the house to give us a leash to help with the animals. I could use it for capturing animals, and I made sure to gather up some of the tastiest creatures I could find. I buffed up my defense by building a wall out of the strong blocks I had found. Even though the base was coming along great, I still wondered what to do with the 3 keys that I had gotten from fighting Captain O'Kilowatt's crew. I'd have to explore the island tomorrow and see if there was a way I could use them. On days 27 to 31, I traveled to a part of the island I had never been to before. It was a valley covered in smog. I wonder where it's all coming from. Even though it was hard to see, I could sense somebody sneaking up on me. Who's there? A pirate I had never seen before stepped out of the smog.
Oh no, I've been found! Forgive me, Captain.
It's okay. I'm not going to hurt you. Probably. Who are you?
My name is Jovi the Ice Pirate. I'm a member of O'Kilowatt's crew, but I can't stand by and let him imprison other pirates anymore.
You should come back to base with me. It's much safer out there than hiding in this smoke cloud.
Okay, I'll bring my special materials as well. They can only be found in this valley.
Jovi went to mine some of the material, and I left the smog valley with him to return to the base. His special material, bronze dragon scales, were perfect for crafting an even stronger suit of armor. In the meantime, I added another tower to the base, and of course, more pirate flags. I also gave the outside of the wall a decorative wooden layer to make it look more like a pirate ship on land. Wow, that's perfect! Then Jovi came walking up to me and gave me a few samples of the bronze dragon scales. Now to go see Titus about that armor. I went to visit the craftsman and showed him the special materials. It seemed like they brought back memories for him.
These materials come from an island far away from here. They're from a suit of armor I made back when I was undertaking the challenge.
Wait, these are your materials?
Yes, and the armor I built using them was one of my best. It belonged to a very dear crewmate who is sadly no longer here.
I'm so sorry, Titus. Do you think we'd be able to rebuild the armor?
We have to go back to that valley. The rest of it could still be down there.
On days 32 to 35, Titus and I went to the Smog Valley and searched for the remaining pieces of the armor. The smog was so thick that it made it difficult to find anything, but it turned out that it was coming from some kind of huge factory. I noticed there was a door on the side of the factory with 3 keyholes. Those must be where the 3 keys go. Just then, we were ambushed by several giant trolls from the smog. There's so many, how can we stand a chance?
Captain Zozo, you must unlock the door. I'll hold them off.
But Titus, you're not strong enough.
Who do you think I am, Captain? I am the craftsman, and these are my crafts.
Just then, Titus equipped a really cool set of armor I'd never seen before.
Now go, find out what's in there.
I ran to the door and unlocked it, knowing that I may never see Titus again. His armor could survive the attacks of those giants, but not for long. Using the time Titus bought me, I put all 3 keys into the door and it began to open. Yes. Titus, come on! It's not too late! But it was. I turned and saw him fall to the ground after an extremely hard hit from the giants. Titus! I ran in and knocked down one of the giants, surprised at my own strength. But the next one hit me and took away most of my hearts.
Captain, I've done all I can. Equip my armor. It's the only way.
Okay. With Titus's enchanted armor, I fought back against the giants, fueled by the rage at what they did to my friend. When they were all defeated, the armor vanished into thin air. It was gone, and so was Titus. On days 36 to 39, I went through the large door that led to the factory. It was dark inside, but I soon found a light switch. I flipped it on and saw this place was up to something really sinister. Giants, like the ones outside, were being modified on a conveyor belt to become tricked-out cyborgs. These must be Captain O'Kilowatt's secret weapons. What is he planning to use them for?
Beep boop. Intruder alert.
Uh-oh, an evil robot. Time to show no mercy. I hit the mechanical menace hard, and he was launched back. Yes. I was ready to go for round 2 when the robot seemed to stop fighting.
Where am I?
Where's the rest of my crew? Where's Titus?
You knew Titus, Mr. Robot Man?
Yes, we were members of the same pirate crew. I was captured here and turned into a cyborg.
No way! That's terrible! I wondered if O'Kilowatt would do the same to me and the rest of my friends if he captured me.
Captain O'Kilowatt's first mate did this to me with his powers. He's a man named Retro Gary who ate the Borg fruit. He has my real body. We have to get it back.
Don't worry, we will! For Titus.
Thank you!
It seems like I was able to snap Titus's old friend out of his cyborg mind control. Sometimes you gotta beat the mob inside to save yourself. On days 40 to 43, I built a memorial to Titus on the front of my base. Rest in peace, legendary craftsman.
You did everything you could, Zozo.
Thanks, Stan.
This base is the safest place on the island now. We should let some of the good people from Cloud City live here.
Good idea! I built some more floating dwellings inside the walls of the base. That way, the Cloud villagers could live the way they were used to. We went to the Cloud City to invite the friendly Cloud villagers to come live with us, and they agreed. There are so many people living at the base now, and all of them are counting on me to find the treasure. I can't let anybody down. I promise I'll become the king of the pirates.
I believe you can do it, Zozo.
Oh, hi, Jovi. How are you liking the base?
I'm really grateful for the fact you took me in. I also thought I should tell you where you can find more of those materials I brought with me.
You mean the pieces of Titus's armor?
Yeah, there's more of it at my old hideout near the Smog Valley. It's in a badland where Captain O'Kilowatt tests his lightning powers.
Sounds like I'll need to be careful, but it means getting the rest of those materials. I have to do it. For Titus! If I could complete that armor, I'd be able to face Captain O'Kilowatt and his secret weapons with my friend's ultimate work. I prepared for a journey to the Badlands. On days 44 to 49, I traveled to the Badlands. Lightning strikes had destroyed this place. There were no mobs anywhere, not even friendly ones. But there was Captain O'Kilowatt. He was practicing his lightning strikes, just like Jovi said.
I see you there, Zozo. You're almost halfway out of days to complete my challenge. Are you sure you want to take me on now and cut it short?
I'm only here for the rest of Titus's armor, O'Kilowatt. I'll deal with you later.
Oh, how brave. But I'm afraid you have misunderstood whose armor it is. I am the one who controls the island, so everything on it is mine. I have already gotten those materials for myself, and I'm going to use them for my secret weapons.
You mean those cyborg giants?
Yes. In fact, I have a prototype for you to play with right now. Enjoy, Straw Hat Zozo.
Captain O'Kilowatt disappeared by summoning lightning on himself, and one of those giant cyborgs showed up, armed with special futuristic enchantments. I was not going to back down. The cyborg was big and had a huge reach, but I was quick and ran around to avoid its attacks. I launched a barrage of second-gear punches at the cyborg, toppling it over. Some secret weapon you are, you belong in the recycle. But even that wasn't enough. The giant cyborg started chasing me towards a rock wall. On days 50 to 53, I was backed into a corner. The giant cyborg was still attacking me in a canyon. I climbed up the wall with my centipede leggings and dropped down to strike from above. Gum Gum Battle Axe! That one looked like it did some real damage. I had to keep going while I had the advantage. The mob was really strong, but I managed to knock it out with some more punches. Man, that was just one of those secret weapons. If more were unleashed, I don't know how I could win. I need to go home and eat some good food. I couldn't worry about that now though, because the giant had dropped some of Titus's armor pieces. When I touched them, I could see Titus and his crewmates in the past. I could see them exploring all of the Misty Maze, Cloud City, and the ancient ruins. All of them were wearing powerful suits of armor. In the ancient ruins, Titus even knocked down a tree with only one swing. That's how strong he was. It seemed like they almost defeated Captain O'Kilowatt back in the day, but Retro Gary helped out and turned Titus's friend into a robot. He destroyed the armor, and using a slingshot, he scattered the pieces of it throughout the Badlands in the valley. I had no idea Titus had been holding on to so much sadness. I'll make sure to complete the challenge so that nobody will ever have to face a defeat like that here again. On days 54 to 57, I made my way back to the factory to see if I could learn any more from Titus's robot crewmate. When I arrived on the inside and flipped the switch, I saw that a bunch of the giants had broken the conveyor belt and started to run free. This is probably bad for Captain O'Kilowatt in the long run, but it's bad for me right now.
Those giants seemed really angry.
Looks like you could use some help.
Thanks, Robo-Man.
A friend of Titus is a friend of mine.
Working together, we managed to defeat the ordinary giants. They dropped some kind of giant power-up too. I suddenly grew bigger and became Luffy, 3rd gear. Yo-ho-ho! It looked like I arrived at the factory just in time too, because the conveyor belt was filled with the rest of the armor shards.
I wore these once, when I was fully human. They belong to you now.
Thanks, Robo-Man. I promised to get your body back. When I finally made it back to the base, I went to Titus's chest and picked up the last armor pieces I needed. In the chest, I also found Titus's hammer. I went to the crafting table, and doing the best I could, I put the special armor back together. Somehow, it felt like Titus was watching over me, guiding me through the crafting process. I swung the hammer over the pieces on the crafting table, and the recipe was complete. I equipped the armor, and it looked like it would protect me really well. Almost a bit too much. The helmet provided so much protection, I could barely see out of it. Maybe for now I'll take the helmet off. I like being able to see where I'm going. Now that I had put on the restored suit of armor, I saw another vision of the past. Titus was digging into the ground at the tropical forest. What did this mean? Should I try to search for treasure there? On days 58 to 62, I stocked the animal pens and loaded up the farm with all the delicious ingredients I found while exploring. Onions, rutabaga, sweet berries, and beetroot. Now the meals for my crew would be the tastiest of all time. Skylar made a big meal for everyone at the base. We set up a large picnic table, and for once, things were peaceful around here.
Bon appetit. Enjoy your feast.
Oh boy, there's meat, veggie, all of the food groups. This is the best. After dinner, I decided to mine so that I could have powerful tools to match my new set of powerful armor. Since one of my moves is called Gum Gum Battle Axe, I figured along with the rest of the tools, I could craft a diamond battle axe to use for chopping wood and enemies alike. They'll never see this coming. I decided to have the inside of the base look like a pirate ship to match the outside, and lined all the inner walls with dark wood. I made sure to keep lots of chests around to fill with gold. Can't have a pirate base without any treasure of our own. When all of this is over, I'll have O'Kilowatt's treasure in here too. On days 63 to 66, I went back to the tropical forest with Stan to see if maybe we could find the spot where Titus had been digging in the flashback. I don't see anything that looks like that place. What about you, Stan?
Why are you asking me? I didn't see the flashback.
Oh, yeah, right.
You did say he was digging, so maybe you should try that hole over there.
This looks a little deeper than the… Whoa, I'm falling in! I tumbled down into the shaft, leading deep down below the ground. If I hadn't caught myself with my wall climbing, that might have been it. But look at this place. There's a huge, empty chamber lit by torchlight. That's weird. It feels like there should be something in here. I dug around on the floor and found an unusual sarcophagus hidden among the rocks. It flung itself open, and out came a mummy. Back off, you gift-wrapped meanie!
Thank you for setting me free. I've been trapped inside that box ever since my captain lost this island's challenge.
Oh, sorry. I thought you were going to attack me. Say, what was your captain's name?
His name was Captain Anubis. I was the most loyal member of his crew. Is he okay?
No, I'm sorry. But I'm putting together a crew to stand up to Captain O'Kilowatt. Do you want in?
Of course. I don't like that guy at all. Also, this place was supposed to be where his treasure was, but he only put me here.
Where do you think the rest of it is?
I don't know, but first things first, you've gotta help me get out of here.
Oh, we can just climb out. Oh, right. Only I can do that. On days 67 to 70, I used the diamond tools I crafted to dig a tunnel leading back above ground. I broke open some of the blocks, and a devourer jumped into our path. It growled and hissed. Please tell me you're friendly too. It definitely wasn't, because it tried to devour me. I guess that's where the name comes from.
If we don't defeat that devourer, we'll never get out of here.
Don't worry, Mummy. I'm your captain now, and I won't let anything bad happen to you. I meant those words too. All the other pirates who came to this island before me may have lost their way, but I made a vow that I'd keep everyone safe. That's how I'd become the king of the pirates, and no devourer would stop me. After I finished it off, the mummy and I continued our progress towards the surface. No other mobs showed up to attack us, so the rest of the journey was easy. Before I knew it, we were back near the top of the hole inside the tropical forest. Stan was waiting for us, and he seemed happy to see that I survived.
Great to see you, Captain Zozo. Well, who's that mummy guy with you?
I was once part of the crew of Anubis. But after seeing the bravery of Zozo, I've decided to join up with you guys.
Well, the more the merrier.
We all went back to the base together and had another delicious dinner to celebrate our crew getting even bigger. It was great to see so many people joining the team. I couldn't help but feel like we were all becoming one big happy family. On days 71 to 74, I was in the Badlands when I saw smog was everywhere again. I decided to take a look around. It's kinda hard to breathe in here, but this looks just like the smog in the valley where I found that factory. That must be important. But what's even more important is that you find more of my adventures by searching ZOZO in the YouTube search bar. I walked for a long time before I saw exactly what I expected. Another factory for making those cyborg giants. I might have stolen back the armor pieces, but it seems like Captain O'Kilowatt still hadn't given up on his plan. And there he is. I'll have to take him on.
Foolish pirate! Have you forgotten that I train here? Taste me lightning!
He started hitting me with lightning bolts. The armor was helping me avoid the worst of it, but he was too fast for me to get a lot of hits in. I realized I was still too weak to beat him, so I hightailed it out of there. I'll have to return to that factory later, but until then, the Badlands are off limits. That terrain is too dangerous to take lightly. On days 75 to 78, I was back at my base and doing some more work on the interior, mostly by making the dining room bigger and more decorated. This is the place where everyone eats together, so it's gotta look nice. While I was thinking about all the friends that were already here to stay, I was surprised to get a visit from the robot.
Zozo, I've come to help you unlock the full power of the armor you are wearing.
This armor can become even more powerful?
Do you remember back when Titus wore his own special armor? How it made him way stronger than usual, while also granting him protection.
Yeah, I saw both of you use that armor power in the flashback too.
You can use it too. It was powered by the friendship between Titus and myself. That's our secret weapon.
But how do I do it? I became friends with Titus while he was alive, but now he's gone.
But I'm still here, Zozo, and I've come to give you what you are missing. I'm going to give you my friendship.
Right. We fought together at that factory. We're definitely friends now. I accepted his friendship, and the power of the armor began to awaken. At the same time, so did my own power. I grew again, becoming Luffy 4th gear. Now I have 45 hearts. I'm almost strong enough to defeat Captain O'Kilowatt now. I can feel it. On days 79 to 84, I decided to destroy the new factory with my 4th gear strength and supreme armor. For Titus, of course. And also because now, I actually could probably do it. There are a bunch of those cyborg giants, but they were incomplete without the armor pieces that now made up my armor. You're no match for the power of friendship. My crew gives me strength. It was amazing to see how much stronger that I had become. These giants that were once going to be an unstoppable army were now completely unable to beat me. I feel like I can unleash even more strength. Gum Gum Super Jump! I grew massively, so I jumped on top of the factory, breaking through the roof. There were more robots inside the factory too.
Look, he wears the captain's armor.
Were these guys part of Titus's crew as well?
Yes, we were captured and made into robotic servants by Retro Gary. Our real bodies are with him.
Wow, I really need to do something about him. It seems like he's inconvenienced just about everyone.
And how? Also, each of us kept a little bit more special material hidden away, in case the captain ever came back for it.
Excellent! I could use that to make some tools out of it. Goodbye, diamond tools. Hello, special material tools. Now I've got a full set of armor and everything made of a material that gets stronger with friendship. I might as well call this stuff friend metal. On days 85 to 89, I got back to base, only to find that there were mechanized mobs attacking. Could there have been more cyborgs? No way, I thought I got rid of them all. Don't worry everyone, the captain is here to help. These cyborgs were made from the Devourers rather than the Giants. It seems like Captain O'Kilowatt had branched out and started making minions out of other things. They started retreating, but I'm gonna follow them back to the source. You won't get away that easily. I ran as fast as I could until I bumped into someone. It was another human, and they appeared to be carrying a bow and arrow.
You can call me Sharpshooter. I came here from the Island of Snipers in search of buried treasure. I was challenged by a pirate captain who controlled lightning, that if I didn't—
Sorry to interrupt, but I'll need to stop you right there. I'm actually on that quest right now.
Oh, having any luck?
Luck? Not exactly, but I'm doing pretty well at this point.
Well, let me know how it goes if you manage to get the treasure.
Thanks? Personally, I think it has been more trouble than it's worth. The real treasure has been the friends I've made along the way. On days 90 to 94, I found that the cyborgs had gone back to a third factory. Man, how quickly can they build these things? This one was the biggest factory of all, and I could tell why. Because Retro Gary was right there, ready to fight with me.
Well, how do you do, Straw Hat Zozo? Your crew has become quite the source of trouble for my boss, so I'm gonna make sure that you're no longer a threat.
You can't beat me, Gary. I've got the power of friendship on my side.
Your power of friendship is no match for the power of my Borborg fruit. Cyborg Devourers, combine with me and go into Super Mecha Retro Gary mode.
Retro Gary combined with all of the minions to become one super powerful cyborg. This would be a tough fight for sure, but if I won, I'd be able to get all of Titus's crew's bodies back. I swung my special material axe at Retro Gary, and it seemed to do a little bit of damage. He can be hurt, which means that I can win. His attacks were really strong, but so was my armor. I stood my ground and continued to hit him over and over again. On days 95 to 97, Retro Gary still hadn't admitted defeat, but then again, neither had I.
Borborg Blaster!
Gum Gum Mallet! We traded attacks until I noticed some of the cyborg parts were starting to fall off of him. He was getting smaller with each attack. Soon he'd be back to normal, and that's when I could take him out.
Captain O'Kilowatt and I are going to create an army of invincible cyborgs created from the world's strongest pirates. And both you and that armor are going to be our finest work yet.
Me? Become a cyborg? You're dreaming, Gary. But here's a better dream. I'm gonna be king of the pirates. And with one final punch, I smashed his robotic body into pieces. Before his power faded away, Gary laughed maniacally. Apparently, he had one more secret left to reveal.
Zozo, there is no treasure. It was just a story we came up with to lure pirates here to this island. The whole time, our plan was just to gather the raw material of our cyborg project. The other pirates were too weak, so they just became those low-level servants. If only I won against you, we'd finally have a perfect subject.
With that, his power reached 0. Could it be true? Was there really no treasure? Either way, I'd have to take down Captain O'Kilowatt to protect my friends, my crew, and the world from his evil plan. On day 98, I returned to the base and told everyone what happened. To my great delight, all the members of Titus's crew had gotten their bodies back when I defeated Retro Gary.
It seems our friendship with Titus was strong enough to grant you victory in this battle.
It's not over yet. I've still got O'Kilowatt to take care of.
We'll be right behind you.
I stopped by the house to visit Skylar, who had been preparing a welcome back meal for me ever since I left to go fight Gary.
Here you go, Captain. This has all of the best ingredients. It was made as a sign of my loyalty to this crew, and also our friendship.
Thank you, Skylar. I don't know where I'd be without you, and I'd definitely be going hungry. Just then, Jovi and the mummy approached.
It seems you made good use of all that special material.
It wasn't the material, Jovi. Captain Zozo's courage is what allowed him to defeat Retro Gary.
If I'm being honest, I think it was a little bit of both of you guys.
It was material.
No, it was courage.
Material.
Courage.
Okay, guys. I get it. Just stop fighting. I was so thankful to see that everybody was safe and sound after the cyborg attack on the base. Well, almost everybody. There was still one important friend that I had to go see. On day 99, I headed back towards the destroyed village where everything had begun almost 100 days ago. That was the place where Captain O'Kilowatt had challenged me, but now it would be the place that I would challenge him. But before that could happen, I remembered to walk through the tropical forest and say hello to Stan.
Hey, Zozo, it's your toucan man, Stan. It's hard to believe how much we've been through to get here.
You're telling me, friend, but treasure or no treasure, we're gonna see this through until the end.
Somehow I knew you'd be the pirate to save us all. I knew it from the moment you set foot on this island.
Stan and I walked together to the starting point and saw that Captain O'Kilowatt hadn't shown up alone.
Your time is almost up, Zozo. You may have defeated Gary, but I still have a few more giant cyborgs left. And once I juice them up with my full lightning power, they will be invincible.
Yeah, right.
That was Skylar's voice. She was here, and so was the rest of the crew.
We've got this, Captain. We'll take on the giants while you settle things with Captain O'Kilowatt.
My crew sprung into action. I was so grateful and proud of all of them, but now I had to do my part. I was going to send Captain O'Kilowatt flying once and for all. He flew away into the clouds. By grabbing onto Stan, the two of us flew upward into his last retreat. On day 100, I landed on the Cloud City Island and came face to face with Captain O'Kilowatt. You shouldn't have lied about the treasure, or turned people into cyborgs, or destroyed Anubis, or all the other evil things you did. You're a really bad captain, you know that?
Oh, spare me. We're pirates. We're supposed to be the bad guys. We steal things. We're selfish. And we don't let something like friendship stop us from reaching our goals.
That's where you're wrong, O'Kilowatt. I won't even call you a captain anymore. You're just the guy I need to beat before I become the king of the pirates.
King of the pirates? Ha! Keep dreaming.
I will. I'll never stop dreaming. I'll never give up. And I'll never let you hurt anyone else. We charged at each other and began our greatest battle yet. His lightning bolts were as potent as ever, but with my courage to guide me, I pushed through. I channeled my inner anger and suddenly grew in size. Then I landed a 4-gear punch on him. He looked like that really hurt. Guess he wasn't as tough as I thought. He was just really good at dodging. He was at the edge of the cloud, and I punched him super hard, sending him flying to another smaller cloud. I used my Gum Gum super jump ability to get to him. One more attack like that, and you're done.
You'll never hit me again. I'm going to destroy this cloud with me lightning powers. Feel the storm.
Sure enough, the clouds began to fall away beneath me. You can't make me fall. Too bad I had nowhere else to jump. This left me as an open target, and O'Kilowatt launched everything he had at me.
This be the end, Zozo.
No, it's the beginning of my dinner. I pulled out Skylar's welcome back meal and ate it. My health and hunger were instantly restored. Yummy!
What?
Good food from a good friend can weather any storm.
You still can't hit me.
Over here, Zappy.
Stan flapped around near the bad guy's head. That was the only chance I needed. I jumped off my platform and smacked him in the face. Bye-bye, Gum Gum Fist! That did it! O'Kilowatt was sent flying into the distance, never to be seen again. As I fell back towards the ground, I smiled, because I knew there was no way this was the end. My entire crew sat on a trampoline made of cloud blocks to catch me. I landed safely among all my friends. They were the real treasure, one that could never be buried. And as Pirate King, I treasure them always. On day 1, I spawned in as a mutant dragon. Whoa, I'm a dragon, but it looks like I'm a mutant one. I had spawned deep underground in a mine shaft, and I noticed I had an iron pickaxe equipped already. Looks like there's one thing to do: dig. I figured every good dragon needed a treasure hoard, and since I was a mutant dragon, I needed to find some uranium to fill my lair. Most dragons would prefer gold or silver, but uranium is perfect for me. As I was digging, I stumbled on some ore, but a bar guest showed up and attacked me. Wait, I'm just a kid. I was so afraid that I dropped my pickaxe as I ran for it. If I was a full-grown dragon, I could have handled him no problem. But because my mutation was still weak, the only way I could survive was by running. I'm just a hatchling for now, and I only have 4 hearts. I tried to make my way to the surface, but I was intercepted by another bar guest. Oh no, I guess there was more than one. I was boxed in on all sides with no escape.
Ha ha ha! I've got you! Now I can eat this dragon and absorb his mutagens to become unstoppable.
Well, this isn't good. I was dragged away and thrown into a cage. On day 2, the bar guest brought in another prisoner who had also planned on eating. At first, I thought he was a normal rooster, but when I looked again, I realized that he was a cockatrice.
Dinner! Meet the appetizer! We hope you two can get along.
When the bar guests left us alone together inside of the prison, the cockatrice ran around the cage in fear.
Ah! Don't eat me!
It's alright. I might be a little mutated, but I'm a dragon just like you. That means I'm a friend. Call me Zozo.
Oh, thank goodness! Another dragon! I thought I was gonna become a chicken dinner. My name's Rusty.
Nice to meet you. I bet if we work together, we could break out of this place.
Well, I do have the ability to chew through stone,
All cockatrices do.
Perfect! Let's do that! Rusty ate through the stone floor of the prison, and we were able to make our escape. But we were soon interrupted by a huge pit with lava at the bottom.
Oh no! We can't go any further!
Don't worry, Rusty. I've got abilities too. I had Rusty get on top of my back, and together we jumped out into the pit. I used my mutant wings to glide slowly towards the opposite side. And just like that, we had made it past the lava pit.
That was impressive, Zozo.
Thanks, Rusty. We stayed underground for a little while longer before Rusty dug us a path back to the surface. We decided to split up for now so that the bar guests would have to do the same to catch us. On day 3, I found myself inside of a strange forest that I didn't recognize. I wasn't sure if I was still in Barghest territory, so I wanted to lay low, but my hunger meter had other plans. I have to eat something, fast! I skulked around the woods and ambushed some cows for meat. It seemed like I was the only mutant animal around, so all the other ones were scared of me. I had to be extra careful if I wanted to hunt successfully. I also picked up some fruits and vegetables because dragons are omnivores. We'll eat anything. Just then, I noticed there was a bizarre creature approaching me.
Greetings.
Who are you?
What? You don't recognize a fellow mutant when you see one?
I'm a mutant dragon. What are you a mutant of?
I am half mutant crab and half mutant brain. Call me Dr. Invertebrain.
I don't get it, but that's okay. I'm Zozo.
You need to listen to me, Zozo. There are a lot of enemies after us mutants right now, and I've got some knowledge that can keep us safe.
How do I know I can trust you?
Because I'm a brain. It's my job to be smart and think of things, so you just leave that part to me. This way.
Then Dr. Invertebrain crab walked deeper into the forest. I wasn't sure if I should follow him, but I felt like I'd be in more danger if I didn't. On days 4 to 5, I caught up with Dr. Invertebrain, and he told me more about the enemies that were coming after mutants like me.
You've probably caught on a little bit, but there are creatures out there that think they can steal our mutant powers by eating us. We mutants can unlock special abilities that no one else has, and because we are so rare, the ones who want our powers will stop at nothing to capture and consume us.
That doesn't sound fun. I'm happy with being a mutant and having unique abilities, but being attacked because of it is going to make my life so much harder.
Mine too. I suggest you try to awaken your greater mutant powers as soon as you can. Those will help protect you against the enemies.
Thanks for the tip, Doc.
One more thing. Here are some stone tools to replace the pickaxe you lost. Another way to keep safe is to make a base where they can't get to you.
With the new set of stone tools that Dr. Invertebrain had given me in hand, I set off in search of a safe area to build my base. It had to be a place where I could keep a nice treasure hoard, as well as store all the food I had gathered up in the strange forest. I reached a small valley between 2 hills and decided that it would work. I began working on my base straight away, and it was coming together nicely. Eventually, I'll have a nice big lair where I can store all of my belongings. I had barely started when the same Barghest from before showed up again.
You won't escape this time, Zozo.
Suddenly, he attacked with full force, trying to capture me again. I drew my stone sword and tried to fight back, but he was too strong. That's when I remembered what Dr. Invertebrain said to me back in the forest. I have to unlock my greater mutant powers. I concentrated, and seconds later, I was able to use a breath weapon of green energy that blasted the Barghest back. It wasn't fire like you might expect for most dragons, but I wasn't most dragons. I was a mutant dragon, and the Barghest was done for. Suddenly, I felt my dragon powers tingling, and I started to get bigger. And whoa, I've gained 6 more hearts. I felt stronger than ever before. Maybe I could do this after all. On days 6 to 8, I left the base to go search for Rusty. I figured since the Barghest wouldn't be bothering me anymore, he would also want to know. I had a feeling that my problems as a mutant were far from over, but at least I could tell my fellow dragon friend that he was safe. I wonder what Invertebrain really meant about enemies. It couldn't have been just the Barghest, because they were pushovers once I activated my real powers. This thought stayed with me until I met up with Rusty next to the strange woods. Hey, Rusty!
Zozo!
I took care of those guys that were trying to eat us. We should be safe now.
That's great news, but you should still be careful, Zozo. I've heard that there's a bad guy on the loose who is trying to gain mutant powers the same way that those Barghests wanted to.
Sounds bad. I'll keep my eyes out. Thanks, Rusty. When I got back to my base, Dr. Invertebrain was waiting there. I told him that it was true that there was still a bad guy out there hunting mutants, and he agreed to tell me more.
I too know about this evil hunter of mutants. In fact, I once had to deal with him face to death. His name is Zed. and he is the Duke of Dragons.
The Duke of Dragons? You mean the ruler of dragonkind is after me? Even though I'm a dragon?
It makes no difference to Duke Zed whether you are a dragon or not. As long as you are a mutant, he will try to steal your powers. From now on, you must be wary of every dragon you meet.
Did that also include Rusty? I was starting to get worried about our friendship. There has to be a way I can go live with other dragons, even though I've been mutated.
There is one way. If you find a way to pass your mutant powers on to someone else, then Zed would have no reason to come after you.
That might work. Do you have anyone in mind?
I just might. But in order to do it, we need a power transfer stone, which can only be found on Sunny Mountain.
In that case, I'm off to get the stone. On days 9 to 10, I made the trip out to Sunny Mountain to seek out the power transfer stone that Dr. Invertebrain had told me about. I had to find a way to become a normal dragon so I wouldn't have to worry about people trying to steal my mutant powers. The path up the mountain had no trees, so the sun was beating down directly on me. Now I know where the name comes from. Farther along, I noticed a ruined set of standing stones, and I thought that maybe that was where the power transfer stone was. I went over to investigate, and a Geonock appeared.
So, another mutant has come to claim the power transfer stone. Dream on! I am the stone's protector, and you should turn back now.
No way! Getting that stone is super important to me. If I have to fight you for it, then consider this battle begun. I unleashed my breath attack, but the Geonock seemed resilient to my mutant powers. I realized I would have to use my sword for this, but it was stone against stone, so it wasn't doing anything either.
Will you not turn back, even though it is futile?
Of course not. I will never give up.
Then perish.
You first.
Right when I needed help the most, a sunbird swooped down and gave the Geonock the hot foot with its fire breath. The Geonock's outer layer started to weaken, so I hit him with my sword until the battle was over. I went to retrieve the power transfer stone from the standing rock formation, and then I thanked the sunbird that had helped me. We flew down the mountain together, stopping at the bottom of it for a quick chat. Thanks for the help. I'm Zozo.
I am Tibernius, the winged warrior, and I am on a quest to find the next Duke of the Dragons. I saw that you were a dragon in danger, so I dove in to rescue you.
That was very nice of you, but I've got nothing to do with any Duke of Dragons. That's by choice. Anyway, I need to get this power transfer stone back to an ally of mine. Don't tell anyone I was here. On days 11 to 12, I found that Dr. Invertebrain was still living at my base, which was what I was hoping for since I planned to give him the power transfer stone. I retrieved the stone, Doc.
Ah, perfect. My plan is going perfectly. By that I mean our plan is going perfectly.
I didn't think it was that funny. But anyway, what else do I need to do in order to transfer my powers away?
Eager to get to the next phase, are we? Well then, pay attention, because this is where things are really going to get challenging.
I'm listening.
You must place the power transfer stone within the mouth of a magic idol that sits on a nearby island. I'll show you how to get there.
Excellent! I can't wait to be free of my powers.
I can't wait either.
I still didn't know what Dr. Invertebrain was laughing about, but I figured he was just remembering an inside joke. On my way to Idle Island, I stopped by an open cave to dig for iron ore. A strong suit of armor should protect me in case anyone working for Duke Zed tries to capture me. Unfortunately, the cave was full of hyenas, so I needed to do multiple sweeps with my green energy breath weapon to clear them out. Once I had cleared the cave of the hyenas, I collected the iron ore. Then I went back outside and flew off towards Idle Island. On days 13 to 15, I came ashore on the island and saw the idol waiting for me to place the power transfer stone in its mouth. There were signs all over the place with messages that said, "Here's Zozo," and "Transfer your power here." I want to feel welcome, but I'm starting to just feel creeped out instead. Was Dr. Invertebrain not telling me something about the idol? Maybe he had been planning to do something with the power transfer stone for longer than I thought. But then again, he'd still have to have known my name, and we didn't meet that long ago. This was getting too weird. So instead of placing the stone inside the idol, I jumped back into the air and flew back towards my base. I needed answers about all of this, and I was convinced that only the good doctor could give them to me. On days 16 to 19, I was surprised to run into Dr. Invertebrain in the field while I was still on my way to the base. He noticed that I still had the power transfer stone in my possession.
Why didn't you put the stone in the idol's mouth like I asked?
I'm sorry, I didn't mean to not listen to you, but that place was really weird, and I have some questions about what has been going on.
Questions for me? Well, I am a brain, so I should be smart enough to give some good answers.
First, why hasn't Zed sent any minions after me? You said he would, but I haven't seen any signs of it. Second, why did it seem like you had been to that island and knew my name before you met me?
You should ask better questions, Zozo. Those will get us nowhere. Just leave the rest of the thinking to me, will you?
Alright, but I'm still confused. When I made it back to the base, I was startled to see Tibernius the Sunbird there waiting for me.
It is you! You're the one I've been looking for! We need your help quickly! The Duchy of Dragons is under attack!
The Duchy of Dragons? Isn't that the place ruled by Duke Zed of the Dragons? Wait, did you say I was…
There's no time! You're the only one who can stop that madman Dr. Invertebrain!
What? It couldn't be true. I followed Tibernius, and the two of us hurried to the Duchy of Dragons. Once we got there, I saw that it was being attacked by Dr. Invertebrain. He was using mutant powers to destroy the buildings. Invertebrain, stop this! What are you doing?
I tried to do this the nice way, but you chose to defy me. Now, because of you, your people will suffer.
I don't understand. You said the dragons wanted my powers.
No, you fool! I want your powers so I can become the most powerful mutant who ever lived, and I would have had them too if you had just placed the stone in the idol.
I'm not doing that. I'm not listening to you anymore. You're going down. I charged in and prepared to use my powers, but he hit me with a mutant energy attack before I could. Due to the power of it, I was knocked out cold. On days 20 to 22, I woke up and saw that the Duchy of Dragons had been completely destroyed. There was no sign of Dr. Invertebrain anywhere. What was even worse was that the power transfer stone was gone from my inventory. He must have stolen it from me after I was knocked out.
You're awake! I guess Invertebrain still needs you alive.
Tibernius, I'm so sorry. I was too weak to stop him.
Don't worry, Zozo. I've gathered the remaining dragons and told them that you could make it up to them by giving them a new home in your base.
You did? Well, how can I say no? It seems like everyone got in a whole bunch of trouble because of me.
Nothing of the sort. There is still hope because of you.
The faces of many dragons looked at me, and they didn't seem upset. It was like they saw me as one of their own, and not a mutant. I promise, I'll do everything I can to keep you safe at my base, or my name isn't Zozo, the Mutant Dragon. I spent the rest of the days gathering materials and expanding the base outward so it looked like the new Duchy of Dragons. I added a bunch of houses for the dragons and a bridge to connect them all. I wanted to make it feel like the home they lost and provide a safe space for them. On days 23 to 26, I was searching a nearby mountain for some gold that normal dragons really like and found a hidden canyon with loads of it. The canyon seemed to be crawling with aggressive macas, which seemed to be very territorial and seems like they could deal a lot of damage. I better go out of my way to avoid a fight. I went deeper into the canyon undetected, but it turned out that some of the others weren't so lucky. I saw a zombie getting attacked by the macas. He looked like a mutant too, just like me, and was punching them with his green fists. Hey, fellow mutant, we should work together. I can help you.
No way. You're just gonna try and steal my powers, aren't you? Just like Invertebrain.
I promise I won't. He tried to do that to me too.
It sounds like we've got a common enemy then. Okay, I'll accept a hand.
I jumped in to help and used my energy blast to scatter the macas so the mutant zombies could take them out one by one with his punches. Together, we defeated all of them with ease.
Thanks for the assist. I had almost given up on my fellow mutant. Here's a tip about unlocking your powers as a reward.
The mutant zombie showed me how to focus my energy into my limbs like he did. Thanks to his demonstration, I could jump super high with an energy-powered wing boost. Thank you. I'll make sure to put this power to good use.
If you see Dr. Invertebrain, give him the old one too for me.
On days 27 to 31, I found some sheep wandering through a burnt plain.
Meh. So hungry.
What happened to all the grass here, guys?
There was some kind of evil energy blast, and all the grass got burned up. We used to graze here all the time, but now it's gone.
Don't worry, the grass is always greener on the other side of the valley. And by that I mean, my base has some grass you can eat.
Bah. Thank you.
The sheep and I returned to my base. I then built them an enclosure around a grassy field where they could live and eat peacefully. After that, I went to see Tibernius and noticed he had created a training area where everyone could practice sword skills.
We need to be ready in case of another attack, especially because Duke Zed and his noble guard have gone missing.
That's right, I almost forgot. There are still some dragons that fled the city during Dr. Invertebrain's attack. We've got to make sure to find them.
I'm sure they'll turn up, but for now, we should prepare for Invertebrain Invertebrane's next move?
Meanwhile, unknown to myself and Tibernius, the evil doctor had been growing more powerful. He had captured that mutant zombie I had met in the hidden canyon and was using the power transfer stone and the island idol to drain the zombie's powers and add them to his own.
You'll never get away with this, Invertebrane.
Oh, but I already have. And I'll keep transferring the powers of every other mutant to myself until I'm all powerful!
On days 32 to 35, I was mining for more materials when I encountered a group of fire dragons. Are you refugees from the duchy?
It's one of them mutants that destroyed the duchy. Get him!
Uh-oh, they must think I'm working with Invertebrane. I used my mutant wings and glided to the other side of the group of dragons. I didn't want to attack them, so I tried a diplomatic approach. I promise that I'm the good guy.
Don't lie to us, dragons. We've been deceived before.
Just when I thought nothing could work, a bigger dragon appeared who looked like he was their leader.
Stop this at once. Do not attack Zozo anymore. He has fought bravely to protect his fellow dragons, as I knew he would.
You know my name?
I know a great many things about you, young dragon, for I am Duke Zed, the Duke of all dragons.
You're Duke Zed? I was told you would try to steal my powers, but I'm guessing that was another one of Dr. Invertebrane's lies.
Indeed it was. He tried to turn us against each other, but the truth is that we share a strong bond.
A strong bond? What did he mean by that? I had never met this dragon before in my life, but somehow what he was saying felt like it was true in my heart. I had to know more. Duke Zed, please return to my base and tell me everything. I need to know about Invertebrane and why I've always had these mutant powers.
No, I cannot. It is too risky for myself and the rest of these dragons to be out in the open, but if you need my help, you can find me in the underground.
Well, that's good enough for me. For now, I'm going to let Tibernius know that you're okay, but I'll be back soon to hear more of the truth.
I will be looking forward to it, young dragon.
On days 36 to 39, I decided to get prepared for the next battle by getting my armor to iron. I crafted an entire set from the iron I had collected a while ago. Not too shabby if I do say so myself. I also wanted to upgrade my tools. Since I had access to several caves with iron ore deposits in them, I started from there and kept digging until I had enough iron. Wow, these are some awesome mines. I should look to see if I can find even more cool stuff. Further down in the cave, I found a treasure chest, and inside was a unique weapon, an enchanted crossbow that could fire endurophage rockets at enemies. These rockets are made of parts that you can only get in the end. The explosions caused by these rockets can be useful later down the line. I went back to the base in order to show Tibernius the cool weapon that I found. When I arrived, there was another guest inside of the training area, a warped toad. Tibernius was standing by, so I knew it was okay.
Hello, I'm Warpo. It is riveting to meet you.
I'm Zozo.
Oh, I'm well aware. Every mutant has heard of you now. You're the mutant dragon who defied Dr. Invertebrane.
You're a mutant too, Warpo?
Why, yes I am. There's somebody I need to take you to see. It's an old friend who has some important news about the battle between good mutants and evil mutants.
You should go, Zozo. Don't worry about the base. I will defend it for you. Thanks, Tibernius. That makes me feel a lot more secure.
It'll be a few days' journey, but I promise you that what they have to say is worth the journey.
All right then, Warpo. Let's get a move on. On days 40 to 43, I traveled with Warpo until we arrived at the home of the person he wanted me to talk to. It turned out to be none other than the mutant zombie that I had helped before. He was now just a normal zombie because Dr. Invertebrane had drained his mutant powers. He told me everything about the power transfer stone and the island's idol. So that's what would have happened to me if I had gone through with it. Glad I avoided that.
Us too. You're the only mutant whose powers come close to matching Dr. Invertebrane's. That's why he wants your powers most of all.
That might be true, but how can I become more powerful than him? The last time we fought, he knocked me out easily.
That's why we're here. I managed to steal back the power transfer stone while Invertebrane wasn't looking. Now we can transfer Warpo's mutant powers to you and make you stronger.
Are you okay with that, Warpo?
That I am. Dr. Invertebrane must be stopped, and I'm willing to give up my own powers if it means you can take him down.
Then let's get to it.
That's what I like to hear. Go ahead and place your hands on the stone.
Just then, a giant crab burst into the house and attacked us.
Hand over my brother's power transfer stone, or I'll put the squeeze on you with my claws.
Your brother? Do you mean Dr. Invertebrane?
Yeah, I'm Herma. his non-mutant crab brother. Even though my brother is evil and a mutant, I'm as loyal as they come.
So am I, you crusty crab. Zozo, Warpo, I'll hold this guy off. Make the transfer, and hurry!
And with that, the zombie who used to be a mutant pulled out a sword and started fighting with Herma. I turned to Warpo, and the two of us used the power transfer stone to give his powers to me.
It worked. Now run for it.
We all split up, and Herma didn't know which one of us had the stone, so he kept rampaging and wrecking the zombie's house. I was the one who had it though, and as I retreated back to my base, I could feel the strength that Warpo had given me running through my veins. I could tell I was closer than before to being strong enough to defeat Dr. Invertebrate. On days 44 to 49, Zed showed up at the base with the remaining dragons. I did my best to make sure they felt welcome. After that, I made sure no one was coming towards the base by checking the surrounding area. Once I knew everyone was safe, I met with Zed alone. I thought you were going to stay in hiding.
I was, but learning of a certain powerful item changed all of that. I think that my subjects and I have discovered the key to defeating Invertebrate.
Go on.
We have reason to believe that there is a way to build an idol just like Invertebrate's. An idol that can amplify the power transfer stone and allow you to take his mutant powers before he takes yours.
You mean I could defeat him by giving him a taste of his own power-stealing medicine?
Exactly, Zozo. But it will require you to build the idol in a particular shape before you switch the power on.
Whatever must be done, I'll do it. Thanks, Zed. You're actually a really cool guy. I began to build the specific structure needed to house the idol. It was important that I get this right, because I was up against one of the most powerful brains in the world. When it was prepared, I left the base in search of the rest of the idol. On days 50 to 53, I went to a village that Zed said would be able to give me information about building the idol. It was an island village of crafters who specialized in building powerful idols like the one I found on the island so many days ago. They might have accidentally helped Invertebrate in the past, but today they would be able to help me. I asked the village blacksmith for information, and he turned out to be just as willing to help as I hoped.
The secret to the island's power is in the crystal eyes. The more pure the crystal is, the more it can amplify the energy of the stone that is placed inside of it.
I see. Do you know where I can find these crystal eyes?
They are extremely rare. Almost as rare in this world as, well, mutant are. I can't tell you anything more concrete than that. Sorry.
That's okay. Thank you anyway. I left the Idol Crafter's village and decided to return to base. I was going back the way I came when I saw a mutant spider pig being attacked by a Pterodon, a fellow mutant. Hey, do you need help? Before I even managed to get close, the spider pig used a blast of mutant green energy to take down the Pterodon. Oh wow, it looks like you handled it just fine. Your powers are really strong. Do you want to lend them to me? The spider pig just shook its head and left. It didn't seem interested in sharing its power. So that's how it is. Every mutant for himself, I suppose. On days 54 to 57, I was still on my way home when Herma ambushed me out of the blue.
You thought you could escape, Zozo? Give me the power transfer stone.
Never, Herma. You'll just give it to your brother, Dr. Invertebrate, and he'll use it to take my powers away.
That is the plan.
His pincer attack hit me in the side, and it really hurt. I had taken a lot of damage, but fortunately, I was regenerating a lot faster than normal. This must be the power I got from Warpo, mutant regeneration.
So what if you can survive more of my attacks? I'll still cut you down to size.
Herma was a tough opponent, and even my mutant green energy blast wasn't able to scratch his powerful crab shell.
My brother used to practice his mutant powers on me all the time, so I've become resistant to it. You're nowhere near as strong as he is.
I only had one weapon left, and I needed to use it as a distraction. I blasted him with an Endurophage rocket. It didn't beat him, but it hurt him enough that I had time to escape. Meanwhile, Dr. Invertebrate was fighting a bunch of Geonox in a place that I had never been before. It turned out there was more than one power transfer stone in the world, and he was going to get the other one.
I should have done this a long time ago. Once I acquire the second power transfer stone, I'll outfit my idol with even greater crystal eyes, so I can transfer power from anywhere.
On days 58 to 62, I returned to find out that my base now looked almost exactly like the old Duchy of Dragons. The fire dragons in Tibernius had been rebuilding it into a brand new capital city for the dragons, since the previous one was destroyed.
I decided to join in and build a statue that would make this new home even more special for all the dragons living here. It would surely be the talk of the base when it was complete. For now, it didn't look much like it would turn out to be. I also decided to place a bunch of fire pits to keep the base well lit, even when it was dark outside. That way, no one could get lost in the dark. I went to the training area and saw that it needed more weapons, so I built a bunch of iron swords for everyone to use and handed them over to Tibernius.
These are some exceptional swords, Zozo. I will make sure that they are in the hands of exceptional warriors. Back to training, everyone!
After all that crafting, I was running low on iron, so I returned to the mines and went searching for some more. While I was at it, I also mined for diamonds. The diamond ore was less common than the iron ore, but with enough effort, I was able to find some. At the end of the day, I had enough diamonds to craft a diamond helmet and diamond chestplate. On days 63 to 66, the blacksmith from the Idolmaker's village showed up at my base. Welcome to the new dragon base, blacksmith. I hope you have some good news to share with me.
I don't just have good news, I have great news. The village has located another source of crystal eyes, and these might be the purest form that we have ever found.
No way, that's incredible! If we can get those, then I'll be able to transfer Dr. Invertebrain's evil mutant powers to me and use them for good.
That's why I told you first. You were so nice when you came to visit the village. I thought we would lend you a hand in your quest.
Thank you so much. Will you lead me to where I can find the crystal eyes?
Of course, Zozo. Follow me.
We traveled away from the base for a couple days until we found the entrance to the crystal mine. The crystal eyes that we needed for the idol would be inside there, but it looked like it was guarded by some really big Geonox. Oh man, these guys guard everything cool. And if I remember right, they don't take much damage from mutant energy attacks.
Well, at least you know where it is now. We can come back when you are ready to take them on.
You're right. For now, we should be grateful that Dr. Invertebrain doesn't know where this is. On days 67 to 70, an old dragon friend came to see me at the base. It was Rusty. After all this time, he hadn't forgotten how we worked together to escape from those evil bar guests.
Zozo, it looks like you've gotten even more powerful since the last time I saw you.
You're looking very well too, Rusty.
I came by because another enemy is giving me trouble. I was hoping you could stand up to the mob so I could be safe. You know, like the last time we worked together.
Sure, Rusty. Anything for a friend. I followed Rusty back home to his farm, where a tremor elemental was destroying the fields.
That's the guy, Zozo. Go get him.
All right, Rusty, you wait inside. I'll handle this. I approached the tremor and tried a diplomatic approach to hopefully resolve the situation. But the tremor didn't listen. It just started attacking me instead.
Have it your way then.
I shot a blast of green energy at the tremor, stunning him in place. It seemed like my powers were growing even stronger. The tremor was helpless, so instead of defeating him, I spared him. You're not going to cause my friend Rusty any more trouble, but I do have a job for you, since you are an Earth Elemental. If you can talk to the big Geonox and have them let me into the Crystal Eye Mines, I'll treat you like a friend from now on. The tremor agreed, and because of that, I had a way into the Crystal Eye Mines when the time came, and that time would be arriving sooner than expected. On days 71 to 74, Herma had made his way to the base and was smashing down the dragon's houses. It was like the destruction of the duchy all over again. I can't let this happen to my dragon friends. Herma, you've gone too far.
Ooh, I'm shaking. Actually, no, I'm dancing. I'm dancing with joy because it's so much fun to stomp on you dragons.
My mutant powers wouldn't be that effective, so I focused on hitting it with my sword attacks and dodging his pincers using my wing boost. I had my regeneration, but even that wouldn't let me stay in the fight for long.
Nice try, Zozo, but you're not even half of the mutant my brother is. If I wanted to, I could end this right here, but instead, I'll just take your little power transfer stone.
With that, he hit me again and took the power transfer stone right out of my inventory. Give that back, Herma!
Oh, what are you gonna do about it? See you later, Zozo. My brother sends his regards.
Herma Crab walked out of the base and was gone. The feeling of defeat almost broke my heart, but I decided not to give up hope. I built back the parts of the base Herma destroyed and equipped the walls with cannons in case he returned. The time would soon arrive when the dragons would have to face not just Herma, but our real enemy, the evil mutant Dr. Invertebrain. Speaking of that dastardly villain, he had found the village of the Idolcrafters and was using his greater mutant powers to threaten them into revealing the location of the pure crystal eyes.
By now, my brother has successfully taken the first of the power transfer stones from Zozo. Once I get the purest crystal eyes, my idol will be able to take the power not only from Zozo, but from every mutant in the world. I will become the ultimate mutant just as I had planned to!
On days 75 to 78, Duke Zed announced that he and the Fire Dragon would be leaving to go back into hiding. I tried to persuade him to stay at the base where it was safe. Why do you have to leave, Zed? This base could be a new home for all dragonkind. Everyone worked so hard on it.
There is no point in staying here when Dr. Invertebrate could show up and destroy it, just like he did to our original home. Now that his brother Herma has the other power transfer stone, it is only a matter of time before he steals your power and becomes too powerful to stop.
What if I could take the stone back from Herma before he gives it to the doctor? I know that I failed before, but I refuse to give up when everybody needs me.
Very well, young dragon. I had always had high hopes for you and your courage has inspired me. Take this dragon orb. It will enhance your powers enough that you might be able to take the power transfer stone back.
Duke handed me a dragon orb, and I could feel the magic giving me a new level of power. But it didn't feel the same as my mutant powers. When you said powers, did you mean my mutant powers?
I mean your dragon powers. You were born to be the next Duke of Dragons. Hibernius saw that potential in you, and I am choosing to believe in it again. Go now and fight to save dragonkind.
I will, Duke Zed. Thank you for giving me the strength to fight. I left the base with the dragon orb and followed the tracks that Herma left behind. On days 79 to 84, I found Herma's base. It looked like a coliseum, and from the looks of things, Dr. Invertebrate hadn't shown up here yet, so there was still a chance that I could take back the power transfer stone. Yes. Herma, I'm here to fight you and take back the power transfer stone.
Haven't you learned your lesson? Like I said before, you're not half the mutant my brother is.
That may be true, but I'm more of a dragon than either of you, and Duke Zed gave me the dragon orb so I could win.
So that was Zed's plan. Let's see how it goes.
Even with the power of the dragon orb, Herma was incredibly tough. My attacks could damage him, but I still couldn't rely on my mutant powers. I flew up and dive-bombed him from above, but it was no use. Even if I had more anti-aerophage rockets, the battle was still going against me.
Time to call it quits, Zozo.
Herma swung its pincer at me. My regeneration wasn't fast enough. It looked like it was going to be lights out.
Not so fast.
When all hope was lost, Tibernius showed up and covered the arena in smoke. Thanks to that, we were able to sneak away. But Herma managed to hit Tibernius in the smoke. Tibernius, you're hurt.
Don't worry about me, Zozo. I have something you might want.
He gave me a power transfer stone.
I've always wondered what would happen if a non-mutant tried to transfer power through it. What do you say, Zozo? Will you accept my fire powers?
Of course! Let's fry this crab! I used the power transfer stone and sent all of the fire powers of a sunbird into me. Now I could breathe fire just like a dragon. I was now larger, stronger, and capable of shooting strong flames. My heart's even doubled. You're toast, Herma.
Brother, I have failed you. No!
With Tibernius's powers, I defeated the crab and was able to keep the stone. On days 85 to 89, I collected more materials on the way back to the base. I could use these to complete the statue that I was planning to build for the dragons. I made it home and immediately put the finishing touches on it. It was a statue of a mighty fire dragon, a sign of strength, and a show of respect for all of the fire dragons that had moved on from this world so far. Of course, there was still the matter of defeating Invertebrate. With the help of the Tremor Elemental, I was able to talk my way past the giant Geonox and enter the mine with the crystal eyes. I went deep into the mine shaft where the villagers told me the purest crystal eye could be found. This mine was deeper and shinier than any I had ever been in, but because the crystal eyes were inside, I bravely made my way further in. When I made it to the chamber of the crystal eyes, I found a chest guarded by a giant lurker. The powerful enemy ran at me on sight and tried to bite me, but I was in my most powerful form now. I defeated it with a single blast from my fire breath and claimed the crystal eyes for myself. As I grabbed it though, I was temporarily poisoned due to the chest being trapped. On days 90 to 94, I returned to the entrance of the Crystal Eye mine and found that Dr. Invertebrain was waiting for me. Of course, you were after the Crystal Eyes too. I should have known.
And thanks to you, I don't have to bother getting past those Geonoc Guardians. Seems like you are helping me again, Zozo. Just like old times.
I will never help you again, Dr. Invertebrain. You betrayed me. I got those crystal eyes for one reason, to defeat you and save the dragons from your reign of destruction.
It wasn't me who betrayed you. You were the one who betrayed me. All you had to do was give up your mutant powers and you could live freely. But you sided with the dragons instead. And then you destroyed my brother. This is a warning, Zozo. Hand over the crystal eyes, and I will spare you after I take your powers. Disobey me, and I will wipe out both you and all the dragons, including Duke Zed.
I'm not afraid of you. I may not be as mutated as you, but I have Tibernius's fire powers and the dragon orb. I am everything that my friends made me. I will win.
So be it. This is your destruction!
Invertebrain used his strongest mutant powers against me, and it was even more than the level of power he was using when he destroyed the Duchy of Dragons. Back then, a single attack would have knocked me out in one hit, and even though I was stronger, the damage was still too much to handle. He knocked me down with a blast of mutant energy, and while I was stunned, took the crystal eyes away from me. How can you still be this strong?
How can you still be that weak? Whoa! Pitiful dragon, you will soon know what it means to be the only one of your kind, after I steal your mutant powers, that is.
Dr. Invertebrain got away with the crystal eyes. Even now, I was powerless to stop him. The hole he left behind was giant. On days 95 to 97, I was able to call upon enough mutant power to fly out of the hole that Dr. Invertebrain had trapped me in. Yes. Since I still had my powers, I knew that there was time to warn the others. Instead of heading to the base, I remembered what Zed told me and went to the underground to find him. If anyone could back me up in my next fight against the evil doctor, it had to be the Duke of Dragons. When I made it to where the fire dragons had been hiding out, I saw that I had been too late. Dr. Invertebrain had already found the dragon's secret base and attacked them. The dragons were injured, and it looked like many of them wouldn't make it.
Zozo, is that you? Zed is over that way, and he doesn't have much time either. You must talk to him before he goes.
I nodded and made my way to where Zed was lying down, dying. It was a sad sight to see the Duke of Dragons like that. Zed, I'm here. I'm so sorry. If you had the dragon orb, maybe this wouldn't have—
It's okay, young dragon. I always knew you were the only one who could stop our greatest nemesis, Invertebrain. He always planned to use the mutant power inside of you to conquer the world. And that is why he stole your egg from us before you hatched.
How do you know that, Zed? I didn't know where I came from before I hatched.
I remember your egg, a mutant dragon egg. It was different from the others, but still a dragon. Still my son, the next Duke of Dragons.
Zed, you're my dad?
Yes, young dragon. And when I'm gone, you will be crowned the Duke of Dragons. Take care of them, my son.
Zed was gone. I now knew everything. Invertebrain tried to raise me as his own, so he could someday take my powers away. But everything he tried had failed. The mutant he tried to steal would now become the dragon who defeated him. On day 98, I made it back to the base and found it in ruins. It seemed that Dr. Invertebrain had kept his wicked promise and wiped out the dragons. The fire dragons, the ones from the Duchy, and even Rusty. Every last one of them had been destroyed. It was horrible. On some level, I felt like it was all my fault, and the guilt of not being able to save them weighed heavily on me. Was this your plan, Invertebrain? To take everyone I cared about away, so I wouldn't have anything left to fight for? It was only a matter of time until my powers were transferred to Dr. Invertebrain. He would get to that island with the idol, and then I wouldn't stand a chance against him. This is hopeless.
There is always hope, Zozo. Your father believed this.
Tibernius!
Look at me, Zozo. I gave my fire powers to you because I believed in you. And even in my powerless form, I still believe in you.
What can we do? He was always stronger than me, and even if I win, I can't bring everyone back.
Perhaps you can. Remember what powers you have now. If you have the pure crystal eyes, you'll be able to transfer power into yourself, but also to others.
Of course. If I transfer your firepower to the dragons, along with my regeneration, the combined power could revive them.
There's only one way to find out. Let's take those crystal eyes back.
Together, Tibernius and I vowed to do just that. On day 99, I raced to the Idle Island to confront Dr. Invertebrain. The 2 power transfer stones and crystal eyes were floating next to the idol, and he was about to combine them. I dive bombed over and grabbed the crystal eyes and power stones from the magic stones they were on.
Zozo, you dare disobey me again?
I dare. You thought you could crush my spirit, but like I've said time and time again, I don't give up.
You're not thinking straight, that's why. Only I have the brains to rule this world. You should have just let me do the thinking.
Your thinking stinks, Doc. I'm going to fix the damage you've done. I flew high into the sky with the crystal eyes and power transfer stones, then glided over the water to land on the mainland shore. There was no way that crab could catch up to me now. I zoomed back to the base and placed those pure crystal eyes next to the idol that I had built many days ago. Then I flipped a switch to combine them. Please work, please work! I let my powers go, and they flowed into the machine to be given to all of my fallen dragon friends. The fires within the dragons began to reignite, and they regenerated back to life. Rusty was the first to show up. He ran over to me and jumped for joy.
I'm saved. You did it, Zozo. Giving us your mutant regeneration power saved us.
Don't forget the firepower too, courtesy of Tibernius.
You better believe I won't forget it. I feel all warm inside and fired up. Put an end to that Dr. Invertebrain once and for all.
Thanks, Rusty. I'll make sure to defeat that Brainiac once and for all, and make the land safe for all mutants and dragons alike. On day 100, Dr. Invertebrain looked up to the sky and saw me flying towards him.
What? What are you doing back here?
After saving all of the dragons by sharing my power with them, I've come back to finish this. You're going down, Brainiac.
Curse you, Zozo! If you think you can beat me now, I promise you that you are still too weak.
Maybe alone I was, but not with everyone having my back. All of my friends believe in me, and I refuse to give up or let them down. I attacked and blasted Dr. Invertebrain with my flame. That wore him down enough that I could face him in close quarter combat. We battled, mutant against mutant, hitting each other with all we had. He was strong and evil, but I didn't let up for even a moment. You tried to control me, to take everything from me. But now, I will defy you again, and it'll be the last time you order me around.
Zozo! Think about what you are doing!
I fired up one final blast of my remaining fire mutant energy and destroyed him!
No!
The battle was over. Now the rebuilding of the Dragon Duchy could begin, and all mutant and dragon kind could finally live in peace and harmony. I may have been born a mutant, but because of my heart, everyone was now free to be who they truly are. On day 1, I spawned in as a Lego man. Looks like I'm a baby Lego man. Figures. Wait, it looks like the whole Minecraft world is made out of Lego. That's amazing. I looked around the desert I'd spawned into and saw other Lego people walking around. All villagers, by the looks of it. I've never seen anything like this. What's going on here?
Allow me to explain, Lego Zozo.
I turned and saw a more sinister Lego man with a scary-looking helmet and a business suit. He didn't look friendly.
I'm Lord Business, soon to be the new manager of this Lego world. I'm gonna keep things clean, orderly, and most importantly, profitable.
That doesn't sound so bad.
Oh, and I almost forgot to mention, to make profits, you need to cut costs. And I'm gonna cut costs by destroying all those who oppose me. Starting here!
He swung his hammer, and suddenly the desert was filled with explosions, tearing into the ground and blowing up all the Lego villagers around me. Just like that, I was all alone. I'm not gonna let you get away with this, Lord Business. I will defeat you. Lord Business just laughed and stomped over towards me.
I've got a tight business plan, Zozo. I'll have control of this entire world in 100 days. And unless you become a master builder, you'd have no hope of stopping me. And it's not like that's gonna happen.
I wanted to fight back and defend myself, but I was just a baby and I didn't have any weapons. That's when a swarm of soul vultures appeared and started chasing me. All I could do was run. There's only one way out of this. I need to figure out what exactly a master builder is and become one in 100 days so I can defeat Lord Business and stop him from taking over the world. On day 2, after running for hours and hours, I ended up leaving the desert and entering the savannah. I may not have any weapons yet, but at least I'm tough. 5 Lego hearts? Even my health and hunger bar look like Lego pieces. And I'd need those Lego hearts because I still hadn't lost Lord Business's gang of nasty soul vultures. They were tough and fast, and I still didn't have any gear to fight them off with. Don't you guys have something better to do than hassle a baby Lego man? As the soul vultures got closer, I could feel my energy depleting. It was almost nightfall, and now I was really in trouble. Then, flaming arrows went flying through the sky. Someone was shooting at the soul vultures. The flames scared them, and the flock retreated. Someone had saved my life. That's when I saw a Lego villager hiding behind some cover. Thanks for saving my life, man.
No problem. Name's Bruce. I'm part of the resistance against Lord Business and his evil plans.
Wait, there's a resistance? Please let me in on it. I want to help defeat Lord Business too.
Then you better follow me. It's dangerous to be around here at nightfall.
Before we go, do you perhaps have any food? My Lego belly is starting to rumble.
No problem, little man. Here are some cooked mutton Lego bricks.
On day 3, Bruce and I went to a village in the middle of the savannah.
The village provides cover for the resistance. All the key members are hiding out here. None of us want Lord Business to turn this world into his personal piggy bank.
Bruce took me to a secret building in the middle of town where he wanted me to meet the resistance leader, an Egyptian illager named Osiris, sitting in a chair in his private library. Everyone was gathered around the table, so I sat behind it as well. It's nice to meet you, Mr. Osiris. I'm Zozo. Bruce told me you're the leader of the resistance against Lord Business.
This is true. Bruce told me you wish to join us.
That's also true. Lord Business attacked me when I first spawned, and he told me he's gonna take over the world in the next 100 days. I could only stop him if I became something called a Master Builder. Osiris seemed shocked. He stood up and came walking towards me.
A Master Builder? He said those exact words? Master Builder?
Yeah, but I have no idea what it means. Do you know anything about Master Builders, Osiris?
Legends tell of the Master Builders. They're Lego men who have mastered the sacred art of construction. Through training and special techniques, they can build anything. Some say they're so good at building, they don't even need to use weapons to fight. They can use building itself as a weapon.
I jumped with excitement. Oh my gosh, that sounds incredible! How can I become one?
It won't be easy, but it's possible. It will take training in the art of building, of course, but most importantly of all, you must be taught the secret techniques by the 4 Master Builders hidden across the world. And if we are to have any hope of stopping Lord Business, you'll need to do all of this in less than 100 days.
I waved goodbye and exited the secret building. On days 4 to 5, I began my first pieces of work and training. After all, I couldn't even think about seeking the other Master Builders until I'd completed some basic training. Tools! First, I gotta make myself some tools. So I went over to the nearby trees and started gathering up some wood. It wasn't easy to punch through the trees, but soon enough, I had enough wood to make a crafting bench, and then my first set of wooden tools. These look pretty cool, but a Master Builder needs better than wooden tools. Using my wooden shovel and pickaxe, I started digging into the ground until I hit stone and collected enough blocks to build myself a full set of stone gear, including tools and a sword. Because I was now an official part of the resistance, Osiris said I was allowed to build my base on the edge of the village, so I started using my spare wood and stone blocks to build the foundations of my base. The first step was building rooms for myself and Bruce, the Lego villager who'd saved my life in the desert. It's always nice to have a friend living with you. Bruce hurried towards me, looking frantic.
Zozo, the building is gonna have to wait. I can see a bunch of zombies creeping towards us out of the savannah. We need to stop them.
Luckily, I had my new stone sword, so I pulled it out and ran in, ready to kick some moldy zombie booty. You're messing with a future Master Builder here. You're gonna regret this. And they did, because it didn't take me long to defeat the zombies and return to my base, glowing with victory. That's when I started to change. I upgraded, getting bigger and gaining 2 hearts. 7 hearts? This is awesome! On days 6 through 8, I was wandering through the savannah until I reached a forest. I was collecting more wood for my base when I saw a wooden villager being attacked by this big and ugly-looking bug called a sectoid. But the wooden villager was fighting back, building walls between him and the attacking sectoid. I've never seen anyone fight like this before. Maybe That's when the wooden villager noticed me.
Are you gonna stand there all day, son? Or are you gonna give me a hand with this thing?
Oh, right, sorry. I ran in with my stone sword and joined the fight. The sectoid was tough, but with me and the wooden villager working together, we had a chance. Every time the sectoid tried to attack me, the wooden villager quickly built a little wall between us. Soon enough, the sectoid was exhausted and confused, and I was able to defeat it with my stone sword. He dropped some string. I guess it makes sense. He did look a bit like a spider. All that was left was me and the wooden villager. I wanted to know more about his special fighting skills.
Thanks for the assist, kid. Who are you?
I'm Zozo, and who are you?
I'm Master Red.
Wait, Master? As in Master Builder? Can you help me learn to be like you?
Sure thing, kid. Your training starts now. You're gonna help me chase a soul eater out of a cave near here.
Sounds like a plan, Master. Let's go! On days 9 to 10, Master Ren and I made our way through the forest until we found the cave he told me about. Before we go in, Master Ren, what's the first lesson? How can I fight like a master builder?
The first technique is the one you saw me using in the woods, kid. When your opponent tries to attack you, you build a wall between you and them.
Okay, I think I'm ready. Let's do this! I followed Master Ren into the cave, where the Soul Eater was waiting. It was even bigger and scarier than I thought it'd be, and the second it saw us, it flew towards us.
Now is the time, Zozo. Try out the technique I taught you.
But with the Soul Eater charging towards me, I panicked. I couldn't help it. I tried to build the wall between us as quickly as I could, but the Soul Eater just flew over the tiny barricade and started attacking me. In one strike, I lost a bunch of hearts. Uh-oh, I need to get out of here. I ran out of the cave and Master Ren followed me. Felt so embarrassed to lose in front of him like that, but he didn't seem to mind.
Perhaps I will need to train you more cautiously, young Zozo.
How about you come stay at my base? You can train me more there.
That sounds like a good idea to me.
On days 11 to 12, I returned back to my base with Master Ren and started adding another floor to the base. This way, he can have his own room. I hope this is to your liking, Master Ren.
Well, it's clear you have much to learn in the way of building. But thank you, Zozo. It'll do.
While Master Ren was resting up, I decided to put my building skills to good use. I created a custom crafting room where I could perfect my crafting skills and store my creations. By the time I was done, I saw that Osiris had arrived at my base, and he had something to tell me.
How's the training going, Zozo?
It's, going. What's up?
I figured it was finally time for me to tell you about what's really going on and why Lord Business is doing everything he's doing. You see, creativity is a wonderful thing, and it's a skill that all master builders are required to develop. But the purest kind of creativity is the kind used to make people happy. The darkest kind is the one that Lord Business has fallen prey to. Creativity to satisfy greed. All he cares about is money, and everything that people create, he seeks to own, and he's willing to destroy anyone who gets in the way of his bottom line.
After hearing this story, I went out into the forest and gathered more sticks and wooden blocks. I made a little fenced-up area in the backyard of my base and herded some cows into it, as well as making a small wheat farm alongside it. If I'm gonna become a master builder, I need to be able to build everything. On days 13 to 15, I approached Ren, who was practicing in an archery range I had built for him on the other side of the base. Hey Ren, I was wondering, do you know other ways I can improve my building abilities?
Well, I suppose there is this handy tool I usually use. It's called a builder's wand, and it lets you build much faster by extending connected block faces.
What? You didn't think to mention this before in the cave?
Well, I have been known to be a bit forgetful here and there. Here, have one.
Ren tossed out the wand for me. Thanks. Well, hopefully you can remember anything about master builders since, you are one of them. Osiris said something about there being 4 master builders out there, and I've only found you.
Perhaps your best bet is searching the snowy tundra. I've heard tales of mysterious buildings popping up there, It could be the work of a master builder.
Then I guess the snowy tundra is exactly where I'm heading.
Word of advice, Zozo. Build yourself a bow first. You never know when it'll come in handy for you.
Before setting off for the snowy tundra, I tested out the builder's wand, and sure enough, it makes building walls much easier. This tool is really useful. I also followed Ren's advice and made myself a bow, just in case. All I needed were some feathers, and luckily there were a few chickens around, so I could craft the arrows as well. Better to have a bow and not need it, right? I made my way across the map to the snowy tundra. Part of me hoped I'd find the next master builder waiting for me, but it turned out that the snowy tundra was huge. It'd take me forever to find someone here. But it didn't take long for a mutant snow golem to find me and start attacking. You must work for Lord Business. Jeez, is there anyone outside the village who doesn't work for that guy? I tried my best to use Master Ren's technique, building walls in front of the attacking snow golem, but he was still too fast for me, even with the builder's wand. In the end, I kept my distance and finished him off with the bow. I don't know if I'm ever gonna be good enough to be a master builder at this rate. But the mutant snow golem did drop something, a builder's potion, which helps the speed of my mining and building. Just what the doctor ordered. I returned to my base and took the potion, practicing by digging a huge hole near my base and collecting a bunch of stone blocks. It was a good exercise because soon enough, I leveled up and gained 2 more hearts. 9 hearts? This is rad! On days 16 to 19, I continued exploring, hoping I might find another master builder hiding inside some ancient ruins. This place is so old and spooky. It seems just like the kind of place an old master would hang out. But I was half right. I didn't find a master builder here, but I did find an ancient sign that might lead me to one. It read, "He who seeks to reach the peak of skill must climb to the peak itself. A master dwells where the air is thin." Thin air. Peaks? That sounds like a mountain. I know where I need to go now. But I couldn't celebrate too quickly. A group of Barakoa ancient people sent by Lord Business had cornered me. I needed to think fast. What would a master builder do? That's when I had an idea. Using all the stone I'd mined in the days before, I quickly ran around the group of Barakoa, building a wall around them that boxed them all in. It was quite tricky because they were surprisingly fast for their short stature. Eventually, I did succeed in boxing them in though. Before any of them had a chance to escape, I fled the ancient ruins, safe to fight another day. Master Ren is gonna be so proud of me. On days 20 through 22, I was making my way through the forest, gathering up materials to prepare for my journey into the mountains. These mountains are treacherous. I should really upgrade my gear before I go. While I was in the forest, some spiders attacked me. I was low on stone at the time, so I decided to defeat them with my stone sword instead of doing it the Master Builder way. Variety is the spice of life. Once the spiders were dealt with, I mined until I stumbled into a small cave system. I found some iron deposits. It took a while to mine all of it, but in no time I had enough to smelt and craft into a set of iron armor and tools. It made me feel so cool and powerful. Maybe it's time for me to pay my old enemy a visit. With my new tools and my new power, I went back to the cave where I'd almost been defeated by the Soul Eater. But this time, it was going to happen the other way around. Come get me, Soul Eater. I'll give you something to chew on. I decided to go for a mix of standard and master builder tactics. As the Soul Eater flew towards me, I used my skill to quickly build a wall around the Soul Eater, trapping him in place. But there was no time to waste. I pulled out my new iron sword and one-shotted the Soul Eater right in the head. How do you like me now, you cave-dwelling meanie?
Having fun, Zozo?
I turned and saw Lord Business standing at the cave entrance and staring at me. Lord Business, what are you doing here?
Watching your pathetic attempt to become a master builder. You really think you can make a difference? You're not special, Zozo. And believe me, when my factories are complete, we'll never need people like you to make anything ever again.
And with that, he disappeared. Factories? That doesn't sound good. On days 23 to 26, I returned to my base, eager to tell Master Ren that I'd used my new skills to take down the Soul Eater.
This is an amazing development, Zozo. I'm proud of you.
Thanks, Master Ren. I couldn't have done it without your help.
I have a reward for you, a special schematic for a new tool I've built. I think you'll find it quite useful.
Master Ren gave me a book full of instructions, and I went into the crafting room to begin building. By the time I was done, I had a multi-tool. One tool that can be a pickaxe, a shovel, an axe, a sword, and a hoe. all in one. This is a perfect tool for a master builder. I then used my new iron multi-tool to clear the mess we did outside the base. I also used it to gather some more food. I then took some time to build a wall around my base. Now nobody with bad intentions could get in. On days 27 to 31, I decided to finally follow the instructions I saw in the ancient ruins. As I arrived at the ruins, I saw the Barracoa were gone, so I made my way up into the mountains. It was dark, cold, and difficult to climb, but it was worth it if it'd make me be a better builder. I couldn't see any mobs, thankfully, but I was so high up that if I fell, I probably would have been done for anyway. Then, without warning, an Iceman landed on the ground next to me.
Who goes there?
What? Where did you come from?
That doesn't matter. Why are you invading my domain, stranger?
I'm Zozo, and I swear I didn't mean to intrude. I just came here to look for a master builder.
Then you found him. I'm Master Frost, the master builder of the mountains.
That's when I saw how Master Frost had gotten the jump on me. He'd immediately built a staircase behind me and used it to attack me from above. He really was a master builder. Want to come back to my base, Master Frost? I'd love to learn from you. I can even make you your own room.
Sure, why not? It's been a while since I've taught a young whippersnapper in the tricks.
While we made our way back to my base, we came across a rainbow tree. Frost built some stairs so I could reach the top, and I mined some unique material with my multi-tool. Super colorful rainbow grass blocks. I returned to my base afterwards and built a new room for Master Frost, even giving him a window made from rainbow glass blocks. It was almost done when Bruce approached me in a panic.
Zozo! Lord Business has sent some minions to attack the village. We need your help immediately.
On days 32 to 35, I rushed into the village with Bruce, ready to defend it from whatever attack Lord Business had unleashed on us. But I wasn't expecting to see a gang of ender creepers crawling all over the village. The whole village was completely overrun by creepers. They were chasing innocent villagers all around the village. Oh no! Looks like Lord Business really took his evil up a notch. Knowing it was dangerous to take on the ender creepers up close, Bruce and I pulled out our bows and started shooting the ender creepers, trying to take them out before they exploded. We had to be extra careful, but with the help of Bruce, we managed to get a lot of them. A few unfortunately slipped through the net, with awful consequences. Bruce suddenly looked towards Osiris's secret base.
Zozo, look! They're cornering Osiris!
Bruce was right! Osiris was being cornered by an ender creeper, slowly creeping towards him. We heard him beg for mercy.
No! No, please don't do this!
Before we could get close enough to save the Resistance beloved leader, we heard it! A Lego boom! The ender creeper exploded, setting off a chain reaction that blew up a bunch of the other houses. The whole village was in ruins! We rushed to check out Osiris's secret base, but all we saw was smoke rolling out. He was gone! Osiris, no! There was so much left unsaid between us!
Come on, Zozo, we can mourn later. We need to stop these heavy creepers before they can do any more damage.
It didn't take us long to defeat the rest of the ender creepers, but with Osiris gone, our morale had taken a serious hit. On days 36 to 39, I decided I needed to search further if I wanted to find the third and fourth master builder. That's why I traveled all the way to the Ice Spikes, a scary and desolate land even further away than the snowy tundra. Master builder! Is there a master builder anywhere? I soon came across a Viking villager named Olaf. He was camping in one of the Ice Spikes, eating a Lego apple. He looked exhausted. You okay there, buddy?
Oh yes, just taking a breather.
You wouldn't happen to be a master builder, would you?
No, afraid not. I'm just a Viking. But I can tell you where to find a master builder if you help me deal with a little problem I'm having.
That sounds awesome. What do you need?
There's a bad snowman around here I've been trying to destroy, but I'm having an off day. If you can take care of him for me, I'll give you the information you need.
Deal. I wandered around the Ice Spikes until I found the bad snowman that Olaf had warned me about. Thankfully, I still had plenty of energy, so I pulled out my multi-tool sword and took him by surprise. Don't mess with this, Lego man. That's no joke. He even left a few carrots and snowballs in his chest. Maybe the Viking will want to play a snowball fight with me. I returned to the Viking and told him the good news. The bad snowman had been defeated.
Finally! I thought I'd never get to leave this stinking place.
Yeah, the snowman even left a few snowballs behind. Wanna play a snowball fight?
No thanks. I'm too old and tired for such games.
Oh, okay. So how about the Master Builder? Where can I find the next one?
I heard there's one of them hiding out in the swamp, but he likes his privacy. No offense, but you should probably get better before you go see him. If you're not experienced enough, he'll think you're just wasting his time.
On days 40 through 43, I returned to the base. Walking through the rubble the creepers left behind reminded me of the loss of our great Osiris leader. This is no time for sadness. I'm ready to practice and improve my building skills, so one day I can have my vengeance. I added some new furniture to the base, along with some bookcases that helped me study the craft of master building. Master Ren approached me midway through my renovations with a new request.
Zozo, my student, Lord Business's latest creeper attack on the village has destroyed many homes and left many LEGO villagers homeless. You should do them a kindness and make room in your base for them to live in the meantime.
Master Ren made a good point. I invited in the homeless LEGO villagers and started building another level to my base, complete with beds for them all to sleep in. Just as I finished, Master Frost came to me with an urgent message.
I'm sorry to interrupt you, Zozo, but I've received some vital information. Some of my allies have followed up on the lead for one of Lord Business's factories. I need you to investigate and find out what's going on. It's also the perfect time for you to test out my attack from above technique.
Of course, Master Frost, I won't let you down. On days 44 to 49, I followed Master Frost's instructions until I reached the factory. It was a spooky looking building, so harsh and out of place in this fun LEGO world. I need to stop this madness as soon as possible before it ruins the whole world. I crept inside, trying to stay hidden. But while I may have gotten really good at building, I was kind of terrible at creeping because Lord Business noticed me immediately.
This is private property, Zozo. Did none of your masters ever teach you not to trespass? It's rude.
It's also rude to be an evil overlord. What's your endgame, Lord Business? What's the big plan here?
Well, since you'll never leave this place alive, I guess I can tell you. You see this factory? I'm going to cover the whole world in thousands like it and fill it with builders like you. You'll all either work for me or be destroyed, endlessly building products that I can sell for a massive profit. All for me!
You'll never get away with this! I won't let you!
You don't have a choice. Remember the golden rule. He who has the gold makes the rules. Speaking of which, meet a friend of mine, the Gold Warrior.
A Gold Warrior stepped out from the darkness, ready to fight.
Get rid of him. I'm a little too busy to stick around and watch.
Lord Business disappeared again, and the Gold Warrior charged at me. On days 50 through 53, I tried to use my skills to fend off the Gold Warrior. He was the strongest enemy I'd ever faced, and he wasn't giving up easy. No matter how fast I tried to run away from him, he caught up to me. Can't we just talk this out, Mr. Gold Warrior? He didn't seem to think so. Instead, he kept trying to jab me with his lethal spiky club. I kept building walls between us, but every time, he'd effortlessly get around them. I was in real trouble. I tried taking him down with a bow, but he used his shield to stop the arrows. I got one shot in, but that was about it. This is not effective. I need to change tactics. I pulled out my multi-tool and activated the sword. I couldn't stop him with my master builder techniques or my bow, so I was going to have to fight him directly instead. It was a tough battle, and I lost quite a few hearts along the way. I even got down to half a heart. Luckily, I was able to build my way to safety and eat to regain my health. Phew, this is getting intense. But alright, here goes round 2. After a lot of fighting, I was finally able to defeat him. When he went down, he dropped his gold shield and a golden key. Oh, I wonder what this unlocks. I better keep it in my inventory. You never know when you need a key. On days 54 to 57, I left Lord Business's spooky factory and made my way outside onto the plains. But something was already out there waiting for me. A powerful earth elemental, ready to battle. The earth elemental started walking towards me, but out here in the open, I could use my master building skills. I quickly started using the Master Frost technique, building stairs so I could run up them and attack from above. It's over, I have the high ground. I leaped down onto the earth elemental and destroyed him in one direct strike to the head. He dropped a powerful Protection 3 enchantment book too. This will make me a lot more resistant to damage when I apply it to my armor. But I should probably wait until I get better armor and apply it then. With my mission complete, I returned to my base to tell Master Frost. I found him sitting on a bench by the lake as he made ice around him freeze up. I told him about Lord Business's evil plan and about my mastery of his technique.
Excellent work, Zozo! Despite the frightening news, Go see Bruce in a few days. He'll have something valuable for you to do then.
Will do. Just make sure that all the fish don't freeze. On days 58 to 62, I decided that my base needed a little tender love and care, so I decided to expand the farm to also include chickens. Anyone else want a fried egg? But my base was only one half of my defenses. I needed to get myself better armor and tools too. That's why I used my multi-tool to dig into a mine behind my base, going deeper and deeper until I finally found some diamonds. Even though they look like Lego pieces, diamonds are still a master builder's best friend. I took the diamonds back into my crafting room and built myself a full set of diamond gear, weapons, tools, and armor. Then I crafted myself an anvil and applied the Protection 3 book to my diamond chestplate. Now I finally have some proper protection. Wait, what is this? I don't have a full armor bar. I guess Lego diamonds aren't quite as tough as real diamonds. After all that hard work, I built and added a new floor with a lounge and a small terrace to my base, so I could finally put my feet up and relax. I just knew it wouldn't last for long. On days 63 to 66, I approached Bruce the Lego villager and asked him what he had for me.
I've been closely observing your progress, Zozo, and I believe you finally have what it takes to meet the next master builder. I've marked out the swamp where he lives on your map. Seek him out and learn his teachings.
Thank you, Bruce. Wish me luck. Over the next couple days, I made the long journey to the swamp. It was a dark and humid place with a strong, musty smell. I really didn't want to spend too long here. Even less so when I saw a huge Polypham running towards me, ready to fight.
Get out of my swamp, intruder!
The Polypham was twice the size of me. I'd never stand a chance against him in a fight. I tried to run away, but he was way ahead of me. The Polypham mined into the ground and rapidly tunneled below me before popping back up out of the ground right in front of me. Please, I don't want any trouble. I'm just looking for the master builder. The Polypham immediately stopped.
Oh, why didn't you say so? Nice to meet you. I'm Master Tony, the master builder of the swamp.
Master Tony, I'm so pleased to see you. I was told you didn't like visitors.
Normally I don't, but today I need a hand. I've got a monstrous swamp leech infestation. If you help me with that, I'll teach you a thing or two.
On day 67 to 70, I followed Master Tony deeper into the swamp to help him take on his monstrous swamp leech problem.
Being a master builder, I'm pretty strong, but leeches have always squicked me out, so I appreciate your help on this.
It didn't take us long to find the leech infestation. I didn't want to get too close either. They looked pretty freaky, so I pulled out my bow and picked them all off at a distance, one arrow at a time. Leeches, be gone! Whoa, I should have been a pest controller.
Great job, Zozo. I'm glad I don't need to look at those nasty things anymore.
Happy to help. Now, how about that technique? Master Tony was a man of his word. He showed me how he'd mastered the combat tunneling technique, how you could use your pickaxe to dig into the ground to escape, or create pits for enemies to fall into. This is awesome! I only need to learn from one more master, and I'll be a master builder myself! On days 71 through 74, while searching the plains, I found an entrance leading to some kind of bunker. What could have been inside? And if you like crazy mysteries and wild adventures, you should search for more Zozo videos by typing ZO into your search bar. I prepared my diamond sword and climbed down through the door. It looked like some kind of secret bunker underneath, filled with bookshelves and books all marked factory plans. Wait, this place must be owned by Lord Business!
Clever observation, Zozo!
Lord Business suddenly came out of the secret bookshelf entrance and swung at me with his netherite sword. I barely dodged in time.
I made a mistake, sending my minions to destroy you before. I should just get it over with and destroy you myself.
I tried to fight back, swinging my sword at him, but every time he blocked my strike and fought back, knocking off a few of my hearts.
You're no master builder, Zozo. You're weak and pathetic.
As Lord Business tried to finish me off, all I could do was escape. In a frantic panic, I built a wall between him and myself and made my way out of the bunker while he broke through it. I wasn't strong enough to beat him. All I could do was run, but at least I escaped. This time anyway. On days 75 through 78, I continued making improvements on my base. It was one of the tallest and most impressive bases I've ever made, so I decided to build downwards too. That's why I made a cozy basement to hold extra supplies. I even installed a few beds just in case. Just as I was finishing up, Master Frost approached me with a gift.
Zozo, I just wanted to tell you, I'm so proud of all the work you're doing. Nobody is fighting back against Lord Business as hard as you. I wanted to give you a gift as a token of my thanks. It's a potion of strength I brewed for you.
Wow, thanks, Master Frost. I can't wait to try it. I drank the potion and felt myself getting bigger and stronger by the second. By the time the transformation was done, I was a full-grown Lego man with 12 hearts. Let's see Lord Business try to take me on now. On days 79 through 84, I decided to travel for a bit to flex my new strength and Master Builder abilities by taking on some bad guys in the forest. Lucky for me, a gang of bad guys weren't hard to find, as when things got dark, the woods soon became filled with angry skeletons. You guys have got to go down, no bones about it. They didn't appreciate my bad pun. Instead, they attacked me. I decided to put all my Master Builder skills to use in stopping them. First, I used Master Frost's technique. I quickly made a stairway and climbed to the top to get away from them. Can't get me up here. Then, I used Master Tony's special technique. I leaped down onto the ground from above and started digging until I formed a big, square hole in the ground. It didn't take long for the skeletons to follow me and fall in as I climbed back out. Then I capped it off with Master Ren's technique and built a roof over the pit where all the skeletons were trapped, sealing them away forever. Wow, I'm almost a Master Builder.
It's true, and I like your style, Zozo.
I turned and saw that an Egyptian jackal had been standing there and watching me the whole time. He seemed impressed.
I'm Master Joey, the final Master Builder. I hear you've been looking for me.
You heard correctly, Master Joey. Can you teach me your special technique so I can finally become a true Master Builder?
I won't give you a technique, Zozo, but I will give you a tool. The hammer. When you need it to destroy blocks in a hurry, you just can't beat it. Congratulations, you're a Master Builder now!
On days 85 through 89, I came back to my base with new tools and new knowledge, only to find that we were under attack from a horde of spider creepers. They were crawling all across the village and exploding, destroying chunks of the buildings. I was terrified they would go for my base and the people inside. I can't let you do this. One of the spiders came crawling towards me. Fortunately, Bruce came out of one of the buildings with his bow, helping me fight back.
Don't worry, Zozo. You won't need to fight alone. I've got your back.
So we fought together, taking on and taking out most of the spider creepers until the rest ran out into the savannah. I've got to go get them. I can't let them get away this time. But as I tried to chase the fleeing group, I saw a baby Lego villager being chased by a spider creeper. I needed to save him. Don't worry, baby, I'll save you. I pulled out my diamond sword, charged in, and defeated the spider creeper.
Thank you, Zozo. You saved my life.
On days 90 to 94, after saving the Lego villager baby, I ran into the forest to chase the fleeing gang of spider creepers. You creeps are gonna pay for what you did to the village. I chased them until I saw that they were trying to hide in a nearby cave, but it was too late. I already saw them. I ran in, ready to fight with my diamond sword, until I noticed that I'd been lured into a trap. There was an ender creeper waiting for me, and he was wearing a name tag. It read, Vice President to Lord Business. Uh-oh, I guess you're not gonna be easy to fight then, are you? The ender creeper, VP, didn't even reply. He just came running at me, and I began to panic. Better use my Master Builder skills. I couldn't make a staircase in the cave, but I could still use Master Ren's technique and make a wall. I quickly built one up between us, but VP teleported right through it and hit me, knocking off a few hearts. Looks like this is gonna be my hardest battle yet. On days 95 through 97, the battle raged on. VP truly was the toughest enemy I'd ever fought, and often when I tried to hit him, he teleported out of the way. Why won't you stay still and fight fair, VP? You're the VP of being a lousy cheater. Being an ender creeper, he also had the ability to teleport lit TNT right on top of my head. Oh man, I've got to be careful and dodge his falling TNT. That's when I figured out the perfect method of stopping him. I used Master Tony's technique and created a hole, tricking the ender creeper into falling into it. After that, All it took was one strike from above to destroy the Ender Creeper. He even dropped a banana waba brick, one of the strongest unbreakable pickaxes in the world. So of course, I grabbed it. In that moment, I had a vision, revealing the truth about Lord Business. Once, he also wanted to be a master builder, and he sought out the secrets to learn the knowledge and the techniques. But in the end, it was never meant to be. He was too greedy and impatient to truly learn. So instead, he decided he'd make others do the work for him and just take all the money. If Lord Business never even fully gained his master builder skills, maybe I really will be able to finally defeat him. On day 98, I prepared for the final battle, mining to gather extra blocks that I could use in the fight. Before I could leave, each of my friends came to offer words of encouragement. First, Bruce, the Lego villager.
You're one of the strongest fighters the Resistance has ever had, Zozo. I just want you to know, no matter how this ends, it's been an honor serving with you.
Then came Master Ren.
You have learned the ways of the Master Builder, Zozo. Remember them and use them wisely. And even Lord Business won't be able to defeat you.
And finally, Master Frost.
Be creative, Zozo. That's the most important thing. And it's something you're brilliant at. Lord Business will never be able to take that away from you.
Hearing all of this made me finally feel ready to take on the evil mastermind behind it all. On day 99, I made my way to Lord Business's business base, where I was sure to find him. On the way there, I saw a Lego kid playing in the savannah.
I believe in you, Zozo! You're my hero!
Thanks, kid. I'm gonna try my best. But when I arrived outside the business base, I noticed that it was heavily guarded by a gang of soul vultures. Oh no, how can I fight all of these, then take on Lord Business? I'll be outmatched. That's when Master Tony the Polypham suddenly appeared.
Don't you worry, buddy. I'll take care of the soul vultures. You get in there and take that businessman down.
Thank you, Master Tony. I couldn't do this without you. Master Tony ran in and started fighting the soul vultures. And while he was distracted, I ran right past him and used the key, dropped by the gold warrior, to enter the business base. I knew that key would come in handy. On day 100, with my tools gathered and my master builder status secured, I entered the inner sanctum of Lord Business's business base. The place was huge, with tall walls and a massive fountain in the middle. I proceeded forward through a treasure room filled with gold piles. He was waiting for me on the other side of the room, sitting in his giant golden throne, laughing evilly.
So you're finally here, Zozo, but I'm afraid you're already too late.
It's never too late.
Ha! That's what you think! My forces are ready to roll out, and they follow only my command. This whole world will be turned into one giant corporation, and I will be the CEO. Only a master builder could stop me now.
That's the thing, Lord Business. I am a master builder. I pulled out my hammer and prepared to battle the evil businessman for the sake of the world. He jumped off his chair, wielding a netherite sword, and tried to attack me. I quickly built a wall between us, and anytime he knocked the wall down, I built another.
Aren't you even going to fight back, Zozo? This is pathetic.
I am fighting. I'm fighting like a master builder. I blocked myself into the treasure room while Lord Business was breaking down my wall. I quickly started building a staircase. As he broke through, I leapt down onto him and hit him.
No, no fair!
You'd know these techniques if you ever bothered to learn them, Lord Business.
And you'd know this technique if you had money! Ender Creepers, attack!
Lord Business pulled a dirty trick. Doors around the room opened and heavy creepers started piling in. He was going to blow me sky high.
Face it, Zozo, you're outnumbered and outgunned. I've won!
Not yet, you haven't. It was time to put all my training to good use for one last move. While the heavy creepers chased me, I mined a huge hole into the ground with my hammer. I pushed Lord Business into the hole. I looked at the creepers and they followed me as I jumped into the hole.
Zozo, what are you doing?
Finishing this! As Lord Business and the heavy creepers scrambled around, trying to grab me, I placed down the ladders and climbed out of the hole.
Zozo, you fool! Let me out of this pit! The heavy creepers will explode! It'll destroy us both!
Not quite, Lord Business. Boom! They all exploded, destroying Lord Business with them as I ran from the room. It was finally over. I'd become a master builder and saved the whole world. On day 1, I spawned into a beautiful cherry blossom forest as a creeper. Oh, wait! Why does my stomach hurt? I guess I must be a hungry creeper, and a baby hungry creeper at that. Lucky for me, there seem to be lots of apples laying around the forest. That must be why there are so many capuchin monkeys hanging around. Would you guys mind sharing some of your apples with a hungry creeper like me? I'd really appreciate it. That's when I saw a big, scary Skeleking striding towards me out of the trees, and he looked like he really meant business.
Not so fast, kid. These apples don't belong to these goofy little monkeys. They belong to me, Skeleking of the Overworld.
Oh, well, can I please have some apples, Your Highness? My name's Zozo, and I'm so hungry.
Sure, if you can pay up some emeralds, nothing in this world is for free, kid.
I don't have any emeralds.
Then we have nothing to say to each other. I'm sick of all you freeloaders thinking you can enjoy my food for nothing. Within 100 days, I'll make sure that nobody can get a single morsel without paying through the nose for it.
I'll never let you get away with that. It's not fair on all the hungry people who don't have emeralds.
Well, I guess I'll just have to destroy you then. Sorry, kid. Gotta make an example out of people sometimes.
The Skeleking unleashed an energy blast. I ran away as fast as I could, but it was already too late for the monkeys and the apples. The blast took them all out. The blast also took me down to 2 hearts. I ran as fast as I could. I needed to defeat the Skeleking within 100 days, or everyone would go hungry. On day 2, I reached the Sika Woods and stopped for a minute to catch my breath. I could still feel my stomach growling. I wish I'd been able to eat at least one of those apples. But while I was still catching my breath, I got ambushed by some armored skeletons, and something told me that they probably wouldn't have any food for me.
Hey, it's that freeloader the Skeleking told us about, boys. We'll teach him to try scrumping our Supreme Ruler's produce. Attack!
The armored skeletons ran towards me, and all I could do was run away. It's not like I had a weapon, and even if I did, I probably would have been too hungry to fight. Eventually, I managed to lose them. Being in this world was already exhausting. And if I don't find a snack soon, I think I'm gonna pass out. That's when a cassowary approached me. From how slowly she walked over, it seemed like she was nervous.
You're not with the Skeleking, are you?
Gosh, no! I was just running away from him and his minions. I'm Zozo. What's your name?
That's a relief. I'm Cassie the Cassowary. You look hungry. Come with me. I know someone who can fix you up some free grub.
Thank you. That's the best news I've heard all day. On day 3, Cassie the Cassowary took me to a cozy little cabin in the middle of Sika Woods. That's where I met the cabin's owner, a friendly straw golem named Stefan.
My word, you poor little creeper. You're all skin and bones. How about I give you some of this nice bread? It's fresh out of the oven.
Stefan gave me some tasty bread, and it helped fill up my hunger bar. A little bit anyway. Seems I really was a hungry creeper through and through. Thank you, Stefan. I really needed that. I don't understand why the Skeleking doesn't just let people eat when they're hungry. He'd make a lot more friends that way.
Ah, Zozo. But you see, the Skeleking doesn't care about friends. All he cares about are jewels and riches. As a skeleton, he doesn't even need food. He just hoards it for his own benefit.
That's awful. How can we stop him?
We can stop him by fighting back and making sure all the hungry are fed without having to give in to the Skeleking's evil demands. Making a base would be a good start.
Good idea. Thank you again, Stefan. We said our goodbyes to Stefan, and then Cassie and I set off deeper into the Sika Woods. It was time to start building a base. From day 4 to day 5, we started the construction project. Of course, before we could do anything else, we needed tools. That's why I broke down a tree and made myself a wooden pickaxe, which is good for only one thing, mining enough stone to make myself a full set of stone gear, including a stone pickaxe and a stone sword. Finally, I can deal some damage and start building a cool base. I used my pickaxe to harvest more stone and used a stone axe to chop down some more trees, giving me more wood to build with and more space for the foundation of my base. Looks like I'm getting the hang of this. Using all the materials I gathered, I started building a pretty basic starter base with a room for me, a room for Cassie, and a common area to hang out together. When it was done, Cassie and I took a second to appreciate it together. It's not much, but it's a start.
I think it looks awesome, Zozo.
But as you can probably expect, all this building worked up a real hunger. I did some more exploring until I found myself some delicious carrots to eat.
What's up, Doc?
And as soon as I ate the carrots, something amazing happened. I leveled up, getting bigger, stronger, and getting 9 hearts. Looks like I power up by eating. That must be why I'm so hungry. From day 6 to day 8, I decided I needed a change of scenery and traveled out to the Mojave Desert to search for more food. Suddenly, some text appeared. It was my stomach. You have generated 1 gunpowder? Well, would you look at that? I now actually have 1 gunpowder in my inventory. I guess it makes sense. I am a creeper after all. I explored for a bit until I was surrounded with hot desert sand all around. Las Vegas should be around here somewhere, and I've heard they have amazing all-you-can-eat buffets. I'm sure my stomach would like that. But I never found Las Vegas or any buffets. Instead, I found a little goblin named Goblo running towards me in a panic.
Stranger, you have to help me. I'm being chased by a desert mummy.
Oh no, don't worry, Goblo. Zozo's the name, and helping people is my game. Stand back! I charged in, leaving Goblo behind, while I searched for the desert mummy. It didn't take long for me to find him. He was running around the desert, trying to find Goblo. Instead, he found me. Let's battle, mummy. You should at least be picking on someone my size. The desert mummy attacked. He was one tough cookie, but thankfully, with my stone sword, I was able to get the edge. He dropped a cookie. Well, don't mind if I do. When the desert mummy was defeated, I returned to Goblo.
Thank you, Zozo. You're a lifesaver.
No problem, Goblo. Why was that desert mummy chasing you in the first place?
Because I owed his boss, the skeleton jackal, some money. When he finds out you defeated the desert mummy, he'll probably just send another.
Then we better go have a chat with this skeleton jackal personally. And I'm gonna need to break for lunch. From day 9 to day 10, I followed Goblo into the Red Rock Mountains, where he told me the skeleton jackal was waiting. You hang back, Goblo. I'll take care of this guy myself, then come back.
Okay, Zozo. Here, take this slingshot. Maybe you can fling some stuff at the skeleton jackal. I wish you luck.
I kept going until I found the skeleton jackal waiting for me. If you're not gonna forgive Goblo's debt, then I guess we're gonna have to fight. I loaded my slingshot with gunpowder and flinged it at him. To my disappointment, nothing happened. Oh well, I guess a good old stone sword will have to do. I charged in with my stone sword, expecting this to be an easy fight, like my battle with the desert mummy. But I was so wrong. It seemed like my attacks were barely doing any damage to the skeleton jackal. He was just too fast and strong. And to make things worse, he started throwing his javelins at me. Ouch, that hurts. I needed to get out of there. So I just turned and ran. I ran until the skeleton jackal was out of sight, then made my way back to Goblo, feeling hungry and ashamed. I'm so sorry, Goblo. I don't think I'm strong enough to take on the skeleton jackal yet. How about you come to my base to lay low? We'll figure something out.
That sounds like a good idea, Zozo. Thank you for helping me.
From day 11 to day 12, I returned to my base with Goblo. Seeing as only Cassie and I had bedrooms at the moment, I needed to expand my base. I started adding a whole new room for Goblo to sleep in, connected to the common area. After building the room, I furnished it with a bed so Goblo could finally relax. How do you like your new room, Goblo?
It's amazing. Thank you, Zozo. I feel safe from the skeleton jackal and his goons here.
Great. Hopefully it'll keep us safe from the Skeleking and his goons, too.
Oh no, the Skeleking? He's like 100 times worse than the skeleton jackal. I've heard his troops have been going to anywhere that can produce and store food and trying to take it all over.
But why?
Almost everyone needs food, Zozo. So whoever controls the food controls the world.
Then we better start producing and storing our own food, just to be safe. With that idea in mind, I started adding a new room to the base, just for storage. Once I built the room, I installed a few chests so we could store as much as possible. I also started mining around my base, finding some iron ore deposits that I could later smelt into ingots. But I was still hungry, and I couldn't just eat iron. So I started adding another new feature to my base, a little chicken farm, filled with some chickens I found around the Sika Woods. The chickens would lay eggs and give me a steady supply of ingredients for cooking projects. My mouth is watering just thinking about it. From day 13 to day 15, I returned to my base and decided to have a much-needed chat with Cassie the cassowary. Cassie, I need your advice. How do you think I should go about getting strong enough to take on the Skeleking?
Well, you told me that eating helps you grow and level up. Maybe you need to venture out further and try more exciting foods. The tropical rainforest might have what you're after.
That's an amazing idea, Cassie! I took her advice and traveled out to the tropical rainforest. The journey actually made me even hungrier, but lucky for me, I was able to find some sweet berries that reduced my hunger a little bit. But this was immediately followed by a sudden ambush from the Spider Queen.
Well, if it isn't Zozo, the hungry creeper. I expected you to be bigger.
I'm working on it.
It doesn't matter. The Skelly King sent me to eliminate you. And believe me, no matter how hungry you are, I'm hungrier. The Spider Queen will eat you alive.
Without another word, the Spider Queen attacked me. It was a tough battle, but lucky for me, I was able to hold my own and turn the tables on the evil Spider Queen. When she was defeated, she dropped some cotton candy onto the ground. That is sweet! Get it? Because it's candy? Sorry, that is a bad joke. I ate the cotton candy and immediately felt myself growing again, just like Cassie had told me. I was bigger, stronger, and now I had 14 hearts. From day 16 to day 19, needing a break from all the dense woods and forests, I decided to take a stroll through the beautiful rose fields. While exploring, I got hungry and decided to eat some bread from Stefan the straw golem that I'd kept in my inventory. When you're going on a long journey, you should always bring snacks, especially when you're a hungry creeper. A little less hungry now, I continued my search through the rose fields until I found a mysterious old chest just sitting around in the middle of the field. Oh, I wonder what's inside. I took a peek and found a book titled Mysteries of the Weeping Witch Forest. Most of the pages were blank, but one of them had the words, "A man who once walked the Weeping Witch Forest with evil thoughts, found his mind and body twisted, always desiring but never hungry, forever unsatisfied, a creature less than human." Wait, that sounds a lot like the Skelly King. Does this mean he has something to do with the Weeping Witch Forest? Before I could finish my thought, a bunch of armored skeletons turned up, looking for a fight.
Look, we found the freeloader again. Let's destroy him for good this time. Maybe the Skelly King will give us a raise.
The armored skeletons attacked me, but I wasn't a little baby hungry creeper anymore. With my new size, skills, and my stone sword, I was able to defeat every last one of them. Seems like all my hard work is paying off. Now I'm hungry again though, running out of food, fast. From day 20 to day 22, I continued through the rose fields. I found a few spiders along the way, but after defeating the Spider Queen, they were nothing. I think I've earned myself some upgraded equipment after all this. I continued mining into the ground until I found some more iron ore. I then built myself a little furnace out in the field to smelt the ore into ingots, then turned the ingots into a full set of iron gear. First and foremost, an iron sword and an iron pickaxe. I think I'm finally strong enough to settle an old score now. With Goblo's debts in mind and my hunger nagging at me again, I made my journey back to the Red Rock Mountains, where the skeleton jackal was once again waiting for me. Ready for a rematch, friendo? The skeleton jackal attacked, but this time I was a lot bigger, stronger, and faster than before, and I had way better weapons. It didn't take me long to defeat the monster, and in doing so, clear all of Goblo's debts. It feels good to help. Now if only it made me less hungry. While I was feeling sorry for myself, the Skelly King himself suddenly appeared, walking right up to me. With him there, I certainly didn't feel as confident as I did before.
Been enjoying all the free snacks, you sad little mooch? You've been eating on borrowed time, Zozo. You owe me, and I always collect on what I'm owed.
I don't understand you, Skelly King. I read that you were a person once, before you lost your humanity. Why do you want all this money if you don't even need to buy food with it?
To need is weak, and to want is powerful, Zozo. What you have is hunger. It's a sign of your low status. What I have is ambition. Perhaps someday you'll understand that, but I don't expect you to live that long. Mark my words, your days are numbered.
And with that, the Skelly King disappeared, and I was alone in the Red Rock Mountains with a grumbling stomach once again. From day 23 to day 26, I tried to ignore my grumbling stomach as I returned to my base. I really wanted a snack, but first I had to give Goblo the good news. I found him chilling at the fireplace. Hey, Goblo, guess what?
What is it, Zozo?
I took care of that skeleton jackal, so he won't be sending his goons after you anymore.
That's amazing. Thank you so much for your help.
No problem. Now we don't have to worry about any more of those creeps coming after you. Next, I decided to gather materials that would help me improve my base. Also, I wanted to see if I could rustle up another snack. Some stone blocks. I can use these to build a stone wall around the base and keep the bad guys out. I gathered the stone, as well as some coal which I unearthed, and got to work building a wall around my base. That looks great! Super secure. But I want to make sure I can see what's going on out here while I'm inside. I know, I'll add some windows. After carrying all that stone, putting in a few windows was a snap. Phew, that really made me work up an appetite. I wandered out into the woods to see what I could find, and suddenly I spotted a tree filled with what I like to call yellow gold. Bananas! This is the best day I've had so far. I picked up as many bananas as I could find and made sure to eat a few to help fill up my rumbling stomach. After that, I could think much more clearly. As much as I wanted to eat all the bananas, I realized I could use some of them to help upgrade one of my weapons. I know, I'll fuse these with my sword and make a banana sword. No, a banana katana. Hey, that's pretty good. Maybe once the Skeleton King is defeated, I'll get into comedy. It tastes delicious. I just gotta make sure I don't cut my tongue while eating my katana. From day 27 to day 31, I was getting restless hanging around the base. Having no more bananas to eat, it was time to head out and explore a new area to see what snacks I could find. My journey took me all the way out to the ice spikes. I wish I'd worn a coat, but I've got my sense of adventure to keep me warm. Plus, it was pretty hard to focus on being cold when I was so hungry. As I was walking, I came across some diamonds. Whoa, I can't believe these are out here. I'll grab them and take them home with me. Then, I saw something amongst the ice and the bushes and rushed toward it. Maybe it's something I can eat. But as I got closer, I realized it was just a mungus. Oh, sorry to bother you.
No bother at all. I was hoping someone would come along to help me. I took a stroll away from my home in the mushroom fields, and I'm afraid I'm hopelessly lost and getting colder by the second.
Well, you can warm up at my base if you want. Follow me there.
Oh, thank you. Please take these cookies as a token of my thanks.
Sweet.
Yes, exactly.
I showed the mungus the way back to my base, but we were both still shivering from the cold. We need a bigger fireplace. I quickly upgraded our existing one, and before long we were warming ourselves up by the fire and munching on cookies. This is the good life. Just then, Cassie the cassowary approached us.
Zozo, I need your help. It's Stefan. He's in trouble. We have to go now.
From day 32 to day 35, Cassie and I headed to Stefan's cabin in the Sika Woods to see what was going down. Cassie sounded pretty upset, so I knew it was probably pretty bad. When we arrived, I saw why Cassie was so freaked out. The place was swarming with armored skeletons.
Zozo, thank goodness you're here. These brutes have been tearing my cabin apart.
Don't worry, we'll stop them. I drew my banana katana. I've got my banana katana, so you guys better split. I didn't have time to laugh at my super funny joke. I had to get to work fighting these guys off.
There's so many of them. What do we do?
We do our best. One of the armored skeletons came at me, but I managed to get in a good hit with my weapon before he could get me. We were so caught up in the fight, we didn't notice the two skeletons that knocked Stefan to the ground. Oh no! I tried to help him, but it was too late. Stefan was gone. You'll pay for this! My anger gave me the strength I needed to finish the fight, and with Cassie offering moral support, we defeated the rest of the armored skeletons. I sadly approached the remains of the straw golem. This is all my fault. I bet these guys were working for the Skeleton King.
It's not your fault, Zozo. It's the bad guys who should be blamed.
You're right, Cassie. I need to focus on what matters, stopping the Skeleton King from taking everyone's food. Speaking of food, I'm getting hungry again. I explored the golem's house for some food, but instead found a crafting table with items placed on top. Of course, it's the crafting recipe for TNT. I bet shooting TNT with my slingshot will work way better than shooting with gunpowder. From day 36 to day 39, I set off in search of something else to eat. Cassie and I split up so we could cover more ground. I also needed to keep looking for additional ways to defeat the Skeleton King, but I was pretty sure I could do both at the same time. I couldn't help it. I was just a very hungry creeper. Cassie told me she heard there was food in the Badlands, so that was where I decided to go. But I didn't see any snacks anywhere, just rocks, sand, cacti, and other non-food plants.
Aw man, nothing to eat here. As I was talking to myself, a coyote came up to me. He told me that he needed help finding aloe vera to treat his sunburns. He had spent too much time in the sun without applying sunscreen, and now he had sunburns all over his skin. Sure, I'll help you. Maybe if I found it quick enough, he'd give me a snack in return. No, I shouldn't think that. You shouldn't do good deeds just in case someone gives you a gift. You should do them just because it's good to be kind and help others. I spotted the aloe plant, but when I ran over to pick it up, someone jumped out from behind a rock.
I am the Desert Lord.
Dessert Lord? What kind of desserts do you have?
Not dessert, you fool! Desert! This is my domain, and everything in it belongs to me, including that aloe plant. Begone!
No can do, buddy. That aloe is required by someone else.
Then you must duel me for it.
Works for me. I ran toward the Desert Lord and fought him with my banana katana. The duel didn't take very long because my katana broke. What was I thinking? It's made from bananas. Of course the durability is non-existent. I used my axe instead, before he fell down and gave up. Then I grabbed the Zimbabwe aloe saplings and took them back to the coyote. He didn't have any snacks for me, but that was okay. It was still nice to help out. Before I left the Badlands, I made sure to stock up on some sand so I can craft more TNT when I get home. From day 40 to day 43, I returned to my base to check things out. This place is missing something. I know, we need some banners and some bookcases. I quickly got to work adding them. When I was done, I took a look at my new and improved base. Much better. That's when Goblo approached me.
Zozo, could I ask for a favor?
Sure thing, Goblo. What's up?
I'm pretty lonely here without any other goblins. Think I could invite some of my gob friends to stay with us for a while?
Sure, let me just make them some rooms. I added some extra rooms to the base so Goblo's buddies would have somewhere to stay. It was starting to look like a hotel. All done, go ahead and invite your friends. While Goblo and the Gobs settled in, I crafted as much TNT as I could. I have enough gunpowder for only 3? Come on, Stomach, you can do better than that. Start making more gunpowder. At least I could craft myself a diamond sword to replace the good old banana katana. My thoughts turned to food again, but my thoughts were interrupted by one of my latest guests, the Mungus, coming over to me with a quest.
Hey, Zozo, I have a quest for you.
Sure, what is it?
I need you to go to the underground mine for me. There is an Anubis there who has been terrorizing my family and keeping them from mining there.
I don't like bullies. You've got it, Mungus. I'll make sure he leaves your family alone. From day 44 to day 49, I traveled to the location of the underground mine to look for that Anubis who was giving Mungus so much trouble. I spotted a crane in the distance. This must be it. It was an entire mining site. I headed down into the mine and started to look around. I have to admit, I was also kind of hoping I'd find something to eat too, but the chests there were filled with rubbish. Mostly I was focused on my quest, but I'll never turn down a snack. I ventured deeper, but I didn't see Anubis anywhere. But what I did see was the Skeleking lurking in the mine.
Hey, you've gotten bigger since I last saw you. What did I tell you before, Zozo? No more free snacks. This is the end of that line, kid. You're toast, and you'll never eat toast again without paying me for it first.
You're terrible. You let your greed consume everything you do, and then you act like we're all greedy for wanting the smallest things. It's not fair.
Life isn't fair. You're either a winner or a loser. Get used to it. And speaking of losing, get ready to lose a fight with one of my best minions. Ha 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 ha!
He let out an evil laugh, then ran out of the mine, leaving a terrifying ghost miner behind. I had to be brave, even if I was scared. Whatever, I ain't afraid of no ghost. But when he rushed at me, I could tell he was really strong, and this wasn't going to be an easy fight. From day 50 to day 53, I worked hard to bust the ghost miner and get out of the underground mine alive. I was a little bit worried because I couldn't damage him. My punches went straight through him. And his pickaxe did loads of damage. But it dawned on me, I should blast him away with my TNT. I loaded up my slingshot and kaboom! The ghost was literally blown away. Haha! I managed to win after all.
As I was looking around the mine after the fight, I saw a chest in the distance. I checked inside. A golden apple? Can I eat this? Only one way to find out. Turns out, I could eat it. And not only was it tasty and gave me some nice buffs, but it gave me some secret knowledge. Suddenly, I knew something else about the Skeleking. So he's hiding all the food he takes in chests at his base. If only I knew where his base was, I could return all the food to the people that need it. That's great! Now I just have to find out where he's hiding and get big and strong enough to stand a chance in a fight with him too. From day 54 to day 57, I climbed deeper into the mine. I couldn't go back to my base until I found that Anubis. After all, I gave Mungus my word that I would complete his quest. Well, all of a sudden, it looked like I would still get the chance because a great big tough Anubis came bolting out at me. Ah, bad dog, bad dog! He knocked into me and it hurt, but I was still alive and I was still strong enough to fight back. I ran back at him and managed to defeat him, even though he was bigger and badder than me. Oh hey, he dropped something. Suspicious stew. Awesome! I didn't care how suspicious it was. I was starving. I slurped it up and felt myself grow bigger and stronger with 18 hearts now. With my quest complete, I headed back to the base to give Mungus the good news.
Thank you so much, Zozo. I have some good news of my own. I heard a rumor that the Skeleking's base is in the Weeping Witch Forest. When you feel strong and ready enough, you should be able to find him there.
From day 58 to day 62, I was thinking about food again. I wish I had some more eggs, then we could make all kinds of snacks here at the base. Wait a second, if we had some more chickens, we could have more eggs. I went out and found some chickens, then herded them back to the base and put them in the coop with the others. Make friends, little chickens. Then I decided to see if I could upgrade my gear. I went down into the mine and found some more diamonds. Perfect! I used the diamonds to craft a shiny new pair of diamond boots and pants. I feel tougher already. From day 63 to day 66, I tried to come up with a plan for what to do next. I wasn't ready to try and take on the Skeleking on his own turf. I needed to get stronger first. Then Goblo came to me with an idea.
Say, Zozo, are you still hungry?
I'm always hungry.
Well, I heard there's some yummy fish to be found in the bayou. Might be a good idea to check it out and see if you can find some.
That's a great idea. Thanks to Goblo's tip, I left my base and traveled to the bayou. I was wandering around when an ogre came stomping up to me. I was pretty nervous and got ready for a fight, but he gave me a friendly growl instead.
Hi, sorry to bother you, but I could use a little help. You see, there are a bunch of gnarly swamp spiders infesting my house and trying to bite me every time I go inside. Could you get rid of them for me?
Sure. After the kind of enemies I've fought lately, I can definitely squash a few spiders. From day 67 to day 70, I followed the ogre to his house, and sure enough, it was crawling with swamp spiders. Yikes! I get why you asked for help. These weren't any ordinary spiders. They were meaner and much more dangerous. But I'd already fought the Spider Queen, so I knew I could take them. It didn't take long before I defeated every single one of those spiders.
Thank you. I couldn't have done it without your help.
All done. Your house should be safe now.
Yeah, take this as a thank you.
He handed me some raw salmon. Hey, it's true. There really is fish here. I gobbled up the salmon, and it really hit the spot. Yes. We said our goodbyes, and the ogre went back to cleaning up and living in his house. From day 71 to day 74, I took a walk through the Black Forest on my way back to my base. As I was looking around, I found a note on the ground. Make sure to like and subscribe if you want to see more adventures like this one, and be sure to search Zozo to find more awesome videos. After looking at the note, I went back to hunting for something else to eat. I've heard people talk about Black Forest cake before. Maybe I can find some of that here if I'm lucky. But I didn't find any cake. All I found was the Skeleking lying in wait for me.
There's no more cake left in this forest, Zozo, but I'll give you a slice if you bring me some diamonds first.
Never!
Then perish.
He started throwing bone blocks at me. I tried to dodge them, but a few got me anyway. Ouch! That really hurt! He's still a lot stronger than me. I don't want to run away, but I'd better get out of here if I want to survive. So I ran out of there as fast as I could before he could do any more damage.
Next time I see him, I'll make sure I'm ready! From day 75 to day 78, I ran all the way back to my base. Thankfully, the Skeleking wasn't able to follow me there. I need to do something to take my mind off of that disaster. I looked around and my eyes settled on the garden. Some flowers would make me feel better. So I planted some flowers in the garden and it really cheered me up. Look at all those beautiful flowers. As I was finishing up with the garden, one of the gobs that Goblo invited to the base came over. He thanked me for giving him and the others a place to stay and handed me a steaming hot bowl of mushroom stew as a thank you gift. Yum, this smells great. I quickly ate the stew and grew larger, gaining 4 more hearts. Wow, I feel so much stronger now. Thanks, Gob. That's a pretty powerful stew. From day 79 to day 84, I headed to the apple orchard to gather some fruit and look for some mobs I could test out my new strength on. I found plenty of both. There were a lot of apples, and there was also the Golden Devourer. They were hungry little guys trying to eat all the apples for themselves. Leave some for the rest of us. I taught them a lesson and beat them quickly. I really am stronger. A giant came up to me and told me he saw what I did. He'd been trying to clear those pests out of the apple orchard for days now, and now he and the other people living nearby could finally get some of the apples. I helped him pick some to take back home, and he gave me a piece of mutton in return. I ate the mutton and it tasted great and helped me grow even stronger. From day 85 to day 89, I took a leisurely walk back to my base. But when I got there, I was shocked at what I found. There was a big, nasty sectoid queen attacking my base and scaring all of my friends. Hey, you get out of here! But before I could attack, the sectoid queen scuttled off into the woods. Oh, no you don't! I ran after her, but I lost track of her. I saw a bull looking around and thought maybe he could help me. Have you seen a sectoid queen?
Yes! If I tell you where she went, will you help me get my cat out of that tree?
Sure. Here, kitty kitty. I don't know why, but the cat listened to me and climbed down out of the tree. I guess it could tell I just wanted to help.
Thank you! She went that way!
He pointed me in the right direction, and I headed off to track down the sectoid queen. From day 90 to day 94, I found the sectoid queen deep in the Sika woods. There you are! Why were you attacking my base?
Just following orders from the Skeleking. He sent me after a little mooch who's been hoarding snacks without paying for them. When I couldn't find you, I decided to tear apart your house to teach you a lesson.
You shouldn't have done that. Now, I'll teach you a lesson.
You can try.
I attacked with my sword, but it was a much harder fight than I expected. Uh-oh, she's really strong. This isn't gonna be easy. The queen seemed to back off and started digging a tunnel into the mountain. I was hurting, so I didn't follow her immediately. Instead, I gathered some berries to replenish my hunger and health before continuing the fight. From day 95 to day 97, I went into the tunnel which led to a dripstone cave where the queen was waiting. I charged her and kept on fighting the sectoid queen. She started spawning regular-sized ants around her. Sure, they were small, but they still bite. I was getting pretty tired, and I was worried I might not make it out of this one.
Might as well give up now. You'll never be a match for the Skeleking.
That taunt gave me the inspiration I needed to finish up the fight. That is it. No more playing around. Taste the power of TNT. I shot a TNT charge up into the dripstone, and it fell right on the sectoid queen. She was done for. Wow, that was a tough one. I saw that the sectoid queen had dropped a throwing axe, and I picked it up. Wow, this is a great weapon. It'll help me a lot. There was an inscription on the handle reading, "Property of the Skeleking." I guess this used to be his throwing axe. Well, he took a lot of things from people who need them, and then he was careless with his own weapon? Finders keepers, I guess. I'll use this to defeat him once and for all. Before I left, I made sure to mine up all the diamonds that were in this cave. This will be just enough diamonds to finish my diamond armor set. On day 98, I took my new throwing axe back home to my base, and to my surprise, my friends fixed up the house back to the way it was before. I started preparing for the final battle. First, I made the rest of my diamond armor. There, now I am well protected. Next, I crafted as much TNT as I could. Thank you, stomach. This gunpowder will be used for good. Now I finally felt ready to take on the Skeleking and return the food to the hungry masses. But first, Cassie approached me.
Zozo, I'm glad I caught you. I brought you this pineapple to help you get your strength up before your battle.
I ate the pie and changed my form into a mutant creeper. Now I look really mighty. I gained even more hearts, up to 40 now. What was in that pineapple?
I don't know, but now you can definitely defeat the Skeleking.
Then came Goblo.
Yeah, thank you for saving my life, Zozo. You've done so much to help so many people, and I just know you'll be the one to free us from the Skeleking.
Thank you, that means a lot. Of course, the Mungus had something to say.
Zozo, I may just be a simple mungus from mushroom fields, but I think you're a really fun guy.
Thanks! And even the other gobs wanted to encourage me.
Since you liked it so much before, here's some more mushroom stew. Eat up before you leave.
I stored the stew for later, and I felt prepared to head out and take back what was rightfully ours. On day 99, I started on my trek to the Weeping Witch Forest, where the Skeleking's base was. At first, I wasn't sure where exactly his lair might be, but a bubble parasite pointed me in the right direction.
You can do it, Zozo!
Thanks, pal! When I arrived at the base, I saw an armored pillager guarding the entrance. How am I gonna get past him? For a second, I thought my plans were doomed, until the ogre came running out of the woods.
Let me handle him. You take on the Skeleking.
Ogre, you're here!
You didn't think I'd leave you without any backup, did ya? I can handle the zombie. You head on inside.
On day 100, I ran straight into the Skeleking's base. With no more minions to protect him, he would have to fight me himself, one-on-one. Come on out and face me. It's time for you to be the one who pays. He emerged from his lair at the sound of my taunts.
I'm not paying for a thing. You don't know what you're messing with, little creeper.
I'm not so little anymore.
No, I guess not. You've gotten strong on stolen snacks. Snacks you should have given me emeralds in exchange for.
You can't make people pay you for food. It belongs to everyone.
Enough talk. I've had enough of your chatter. I'll shut you up once and for all.
You know what? I'm still hungry, and there's only one thing that would hit the spot right now. Justice. And with that, I sprang into action and charged at the Skeleking, dealing him a powerful blow. But he was not taking any damage. He had some sort of purple magic protecting him. That's when I noticed purple crystals in the watchtowers. That must be what is protecting him. Just like when you fight the Ender Dragon, I needed to get closer to them. I managed to sprint into his house. I searched for a lever to deactivate the towers, but saw nothing, just his bed and his throne. He did have TNT on display. That is it. Who needs a lever? I can just shoot TNT at the crystals. I had no time to waste. The Skeleking came into the house and landed some good hits on me. I ran to the first tower and launched TNT right into the crystal. The Skeleking didn't seem to like that explosion. I ran to the next tower while Skeleking chased me. Soon the second tower was also down. Just one more. The Skeleking almost caught up to me, but he was too late. I successfully destroyed all the crystals and his magical protection had disappeared. He stepped back, injured.
No, you're weak. You're tiny. I own you. I own everyone. Everything.
Maybe you did own everything, but I'm here to take it all back. I threw my throwing axe as hard as I could, and it hit, knocking him out. And that was that. The Skeleking had been dethroned. Time to take all of this food and get it back to the people who need it. In that moment, I didn't feel hungry anymore, and I knew that as long as I had anything to say about it, no one in the world would ever go hungry again.